One.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the FanDuel Thunderdome on this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. This sports show starts right now.
Football!
Wrapped up its 14th weekend just last night. 18 weekends on the year. Obviously, this weekend it kicks off Saturday games. There's 3 of them on. They shall be riveting, and Sunday has a full slate as well, and that'll be week 15. That kicks off on Thursday, okay, in Seattle. Then there'll be week 16. Then there'll be week 17.
Okay.
Then there'll be week 18.
What?
And then it's playoffs. Teams are getting eliminated there.
Jeez. Oh, no.
4 more. Hey,
Sheesh.
4 more. Let's enjoy these, okay?
count. Take it in.
Even whenever games are kind of looking a little ugly or slow, like most of them have on primetime. Last night, the New England Patriots get a massive win over the Arizona Cardinals in the desert, covering while being favored on the road. A couple backup running backs that we didn't even know really existed shined for the New England Patriots. Uche and obviously Judon got pressure on Colt McCoy, who was playing in place. That's Harris, I believe. Harris is the one, and then the other one was Pierre Strong Jr., who is like the fastest running back coming out of the last class or whatever. He put on a show with the Patriots. Obviously, we know those two are going to do their thing. Yeah. We knew that going in. That's classic Patriots. Kyler Murray, though, tears ACL and is out for rest of year after first series drive where he's running in the open field. Makes a cut on grass. We have to add in this entire conversation. On grass, an incredibly unfortunate event. Tears his ACL right there on non-contact. Judon sees his face as he goes down, immediately calls for help. The amount of pain and excruciation that happens right there. That one. Ooh. I don't know what it is. I honestly have no idea, because I think a lot of people can initially say like, oh, is he not used to running or cutting? Is he not? That's not true. He runs and cuts literally all the time. His body was built for it. Is it on a super firm surface? No, it's on grass, actually really cool grass that rolls outside, gets some sun from the desert, and then comes right back inside, and then it waters itself. Yeah. So like the grass is that super grass that people have been looking for. It's fantastic. Sometimes you just get incredibly unlucky, and it feels like that's what happened here for Kyler Murray, who is now going to miss the rest of the season for the Arizona Cardinals. What a weird year.
Wild.
What a weird year for Kyler Murray, who just signed a massive contract, a contract that's so large that the GM who signed him to the contract actually joked about an entire baseball team's payroll versus what he's making with the Cardinals, because Kyler was potentially going to be an MLB player getting drafted in the top 10 in that sport as well. But immediately upon signing the massive deal where you get paid, the thing you've been working your entire life for, you become wealthy now. Your first contract obviously makes you rich. Your second contract makes you wealthy. Your third contract makes you set forever if you go in that type of fashion, especially at the quarterback position. Then it's immediately met with a little bit of resistance with a clause in there that says you gotta like put effort though.
Yeah, gotta watch
film.
Yeah.
The whole world was like, well, why the fuck would you pay a guy $107 million if you don't think he's watching enough film? And if this has never been in any other quarterback contract before, why did the Cardinals feel obligated to put it into Kyler Murray's contract, knowing that as soon as somebody saw it, which we did, somebody saw it, as soon as it would hit the air, it would be like, oh, so Kyler doesn't care. They just paid this guy a bunch of money, and he doesn't care. He's not as invested as everybody else. They're forcing him to study, or they won't have to pay him? Is that what's going on? That caused a full backlash, full conversation. Kyler got buried in that situation pretty heavily after signing a contract for so much money. So then they removed the clause from the contract. But it's just like whenever you're in court or you watch a court case and you hear him say like, I object or whatever. You're like, right, remove that from the thing. Jury still heard that. Jury still heard what was just said. You watch any movie, and they're like, so you did that because you thought that blah, blah, blah. They're like, leading, objection, or whatever. Like, right, remove that from the thing. It's like, jury just heard that whole part, though.
Forget that.
And they're just supposed to forget it. It's like, that's what happened with the Kyler Murray clause. We were all just supposed to forget that it existed. Then he has some success. They have no success at home. They're 1-12 now in their last 13 home games.
Damn.
Makes no sense. Cliff Kingsbury has not won a bunch of games as a head coach. He just got extended. Steve Steve Keim, obviously in charge of the whole thing, he just got extended. It's been disarray. Kyler's year is up. I think more people were scared to bet on the Patriots to win when Colt McCoy came in than whenever Kyler Murray was in there. That's not good. Nope. It's a wild year for Kyler. We hope he gets healthy. We hope he comes back stronger, better than ever. But who knows what the Cardinals are going to look like next year and who's going to be in charge. With that being said, let's pivot to the other team. One member of the Toxic Table, not Ty Schmidt, who'll be talking to Aaron Rodgers later today. Can't wait to do that. How was his bye week?
I hope he enjoyed it.
Where was he?
You guys had a bye week. Where the hell was he? Where was he? Did he do ayahuasca again? Is he still on ayahuasca? Can't wait to ask him all those questions and what his book club is. Patriots, though, now sitting at the 7th position. Playoffs, good news for the New England Patriots. And once you get in the dance, who knows what can happen?
Exactly.
But whenever you talk about the Patriots getting a win last night in the fashion that they did, pressure in the quarterback, got some turnovers. Obviously, people we never heard of were scoring touchdowns. Mac Jones made a couple plays. Matt Patricia had a trimmed beard, looked skinnier than he's ever looked.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Patriots down the stretch here? How do you feel about the team, especially after last night's 14-point victory over the Cardinals in Arizona?
Yeah, it's hard to feel good about the offense as a whole, even when you score 20 points, and that does feel like a massive victory for what the Patriots and Matt Patricia have been doing on offense. But we've talked about it this year. All these teams who make a run have a lot of weapons, but the teams that can, rattle some cages have great defenses, and the Patriots have a great defense at all levels, whether it's linebacker, D-line, obviously with Judon, tied for the league lead in sacks, and their secondary. Like, they can make some noise. Now, you said yesterday with your eyes, are we in it to win a Super Bowl, or are we in it to have a decent year? And obviously, as a Patriots fan, I think Packers, Steelers, Colts.
Everybody in here.
Everybody in here, yes, that has a brain, is in it to win a Super Bowl. Are the Patriots going to do that this year with the Chiefs and the Bills and the Bengals and even the Dolphins and what they can do on offense? Maybe not, but because of the defense, you have a little hope. You got to get invited to the dance. As someone who never did, it's very heartbreaking because you got to go to the dance because all you do is hear about the dance.
5 years of high school.
Exactly, and I didn't get one goddamn dance.
It's all right. They're missing out. The dance missed out not having you there.
That's right.
Because you would add a certain element of electricity to any gathering that I think everybody would miss there. So the loss is on them. Uche, too. Well, he's coming in.
Yes.
He has 10 sacks in the last 6 weeks or something like that. And then Judon's got 14 and a half on the season. He's tied for the league lead. They're getting a quarterback. They get turnovers.
Exactly.
Seems like they get turnovers. Belichick team's always going to be able to do what they're going to do. Colt McCoy came in. He got his ass beat, which leads us to this conversation. Not from one half of the Hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Tone Diggs is here wearing a brand new hat that was gifted to him by the boy, Taylor Lewan.
Thank you, Taylor.
Cool moment.
Love you, Taylor.
Whenever we were in Columbus for Ohio State's college game day with Michigan, Taylor Lewan came in, was in the night before, got dinner with him, and he said he wanted to gift Tone Diggs the hat off his head.
Wow.
He actually took the hat off his head and he said, "Why don't you give this to Tone? He's got a good hat collection." We recorded a video, gave it to him yesterday at the holiday party. So Tone has a brand new hat from Taylor Lewan. Taylor, I'd like to say thank you for that. I think Tone has some things he'd like to say to you as well.
Yeah, I said love you, Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. When I was getting into the hat game, he was my inspiration. He was the guy I looked up to in this hat world, and to receive a gift from him in this.
That's a Stetson.
Whoa. Okay.
And you know what Stetson means, right?
What's that?
Last your lifetime.
Well, I don't think that's the case because I actually heard that same, unless it's the same quote that's used around cowboy hats and hats as a whole, because there's a man joining us right now who's a host of In the Trenches and the Bobbled Exchange, 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion, here all year long on Tuesdays. Ladies and gentlemen, it's A.Q. Shipley. AQ's wearing my Resistol cap that I was gifted by the city of Arlington down there at College Game Day. And I was told that Resistol, it's a good cap. That thing will last you a lifetime if you wanted to. Take care of that. And you look good in that hat.
It feels like a really good hat.
Right?
Yeah, it fits perfect. It's got a nice little stiffness to it.
It sits high.
Yeah.
It sits high.
Cowboy hat riding
Provides
high,
nice
boy.
Big rig.
Yeah.
A lot of nice shade right here. This
Once
is
you
nice.
put it on, it's hard to take it off, though, isn't it?
Agree. I mean, it fits like a glove.
That happened to me for game day. Game day, I was just only going to wear that for the opening segment, and then it was like, man, this feels fucking hilarious. Like, it feels good, don't you? You feel like you're a sheriff. Feel like you're on a horse. Feel like you mean something, don't you? Feel like you mean something with that hat.
I do. I feel like the big shit right now, and this thing's staying on all show long.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, I think
that's
we should
what
do
we're
that.
talking about.
Hey, let's saddle some horses. Let's ride ranching. Let's do some ranching here. The Cardinals' offensive line just suck. 4 sacks just between Judon and Uche, obviously, let alone the pressures. And there was a touchdown that was going to DeAndre Hopkins, but as Colt was going to throw it, there was two hands getting shoved right into his chest.
Yep.
Underthrows it, picked by Jones.
Marcus Jones, yeah.
Marcus Jones, who becomes the first player in Super Bowl era
To have a receiving touchdown, an interception, and a punt return touchdown in the same season.
not in this play, but this is just bring
That
us
was
up to this
the-
conversation.
yes,
Yeah, he's unbelievable. This guy's a player. Come out of nowhere. I can't believe Pac-Man didn't have that.
Yeah,
it's
that is
weird.
surprising.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That seems like an interesting stat because Pac-Man was a punt returner, one of the greatest. He was also a corner, and they had him on offense all the time down there in Jeff Fisher's offense.
Yeah, he actually killed the Patriots when I think it was either his rookie year or his second year. He had a punt return for a touchdown, and they used him on offense. So it's surprising that he didn't have it that year.
But anyways, Jones had it there, and on that pick, I think if Colt McCoy has anywhere near a pocket, he's throwing that thing up to D-Hop, and it's seemingly one-on-one down the sideline there. And I think D-Hop probably going to win that.
That was-
Instead, massively underthrown pick. How you doing? Keep
That was
it moving.
Uche too to go with
Yeah,
along
there
with
it
his
is.
3 sacks.
Yeah, just in the middle of that whole thing. So this is just a terrible offensive line. It's a brand new offensive line. Will they ever be good offensive line? What do you think happens in Arizona, which you played for and currently live out there? What do you think happens with that team in the future?
It's going to look vastly different next year. Rodney Hudson's on IR all year for the most part this year. He'll probably retire after the year. Justin Pugh on IR. He's probably done too.
Damn.
Beecham, right tackle's played forever. He's starting to slow down. He'll probably retire. There's 3 guys starting on this offensive line in Arizona right now that were not on 90-man training camp rosters.
So 32 teams, 90. You start doing some math. What is that? 180 plus 198? That's 1,980
90
times 32. No, 200.
200, 2,800.
271. 2,880. We're close.
Yeah,
There you
right
go.
We're close.
There you go.
We're close.
Big number.
Yep.
Big
Get
math
there.
show.
2,880 players.
And then after cut
That's what he's saying. There's
Yeah.
2,880 players. There's 3 guys playing for the Cardinals offensive
that
line.
weren't on those rosters.
Okay, got
And then
it.
after cut downs, it goes down to half that almost, right? And they weren't on those rosters until they got picked up sometime throughout the year whenever there was injuries and whatever else. Cody Ford, rough night last night.
Yeah, you got to be used.
Traded from the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl contender. Don't let him out of the building if he's something.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of issues. they're
Steve
dealing with
Keim,
up front.
offensive lineman. Wasn't he GM there?
Yeah, I think on paper they probably felt really good about the group they had going into the season. DJ Humphreys, left tackle, Pro Bowler, All Pro, IR. Pugh, hurt, IR. Hudson, hurt, IR.
That'll hurt.
That's tough. You got no shot there,
brutal.
huh?
Tough.
Is there enough? Is the offensive line position a deep position or a very thin position?
Super thin because like the biggest thing is the way they look at it, right? You can only keep some teams only keep 8, right? So you have your 5 starters, then you got a backup swing guard, backup swing tackle, and then usually like a center hybrid, right? So when that happens, and
Hell
you
yeah, that
lose-
was.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell
Blue guy.
yeah.
yeah.
I'll be the wedge. I'll be the wedge buster. I'll be the wedge, and I'll be your center guard hybrid extra swing if you need me.
That's it.
That a baby AQ.
Thanks.
Way to go,
Appreciate
AQ.
that. But yeah, so when that happens, that's always the position group that ends up getting shafted, I guess, per se, when it comes to roster numbers. It's always like, oh, well, we'll cut that 8th guy or that 9th guy because we need an extra DB who can play special teams on Sunday, right? And so when that happens, now you lose 3 of your guys. Now those 3 are in, and now you're playing with people off the street, and that's a tough situation.
What's the future look like for Cliff Kingsbury, you think? 1-12 in the last 13 home games?
Not good.
How's that happen? What is it? Is it suck to play there? I love playing there. Maybe that's the thing, though. I'm on the away team.
yeah.
Away
True,
team loves
true.
it.
Is that
It's a great place to play when you're
Great.
winning. When you're winning. It's also a very weird place when you're not winning, because when you're not winning, Arizona, you've been there, great destination place.
Gorgeous.
All the people, if you're playing in New England, they want their vacation in December in
Phoenix.
Arizona.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
Scottsdale.
saying?
Yeah.
So if you play a Green Bay, if you play a New England, if you play a Pittsburgh in December, you're playing a fucking away game.
Hell yeah.
It is a beautiful stadium.
Oh, it's
Oh,
wonderful.
God.
What was it? It was the Southern New Hampshire University.
Yep.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
University of Phoenix.
University of Phoenix online.
Close.
Oh, okay. Same. We're
Which
in
is the
math.
SNU of the West.
Same idea.
We're same in there,
Yep.
yeah. University of Phoenix is the Southern New Hampshire University.
I think Larry
West of the
Fitzgerald's the
Mississippi
dean
River.
of Phoenix.
Bingo.
No, you got a master's.
He did.
I think now he's
Photography.
probably the dean.
Is University of Phoenix still a thing? Still happening? I assume, yeah.
think
Yeah,
so.
gotta be.
People are still doing it.
Now even more so than
What's it
ever.
called now? State Farm?
State Farm Arena.
State Farm Stadium, I think?
I don't know.
I think so.
You actually
Yeah,
live there.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah.
stone's throw away.
You played.
Lucas Oil Stadium, right downtown here.
Yeah, I know that one.
You're from your patron. What's his name? Lucas Oil Stadium.
Lucas Oil Stadium.
How
State
about-
Farm Stadium.
State Farm Stadium. You knew it. Have a little confidence.
Yeah.
You got that hat on.
Come on.
You got that
Matthew.
hat
Trust
on.
your brain.
What do you think about the Patriots on the flip side? You think they have enough to go ahead and make it?
No, I don't. Sorry, but I agree with I agree with your assessment. Defense very good. Offense is still tough to watch. It is tough to watch. It really is. I mean, Mac Jones looks like a shell of what he was in years past, and I think a lot of it has to do with the offensive coordinator.
We don't have an offensive
guy.
coordinator.
Hey, that was a big time win for Patricia last night,
Huge.
especially after the shit that was a little talk during the week.
Yeah.
Good luck to all teams. Okay, Patriots are going to be in the playoffs. It was end today. Though. Just remember that.
Right. In the dance.
This Patriots team with a defense coordinator and a special teams coordinator as offense coordinator and quarterback coach. So, I mean, that's what the Patriots can do because the Patriots are the Patriots. Who knows what it means for anybody else? Let's talk about some things that happened around the NFL before Mike Williams of the Chargers joins us. Obviously, 81 made a big-time play last week, amongst other things. Got a couple unfortunate injuries this season, back-to-back, basically. Ankle injury comes back, second play back, another ankle injury, gets a chance to come back. Dog. He's actually on pace to have a record where he has five straight road games with 100 yards or more. Could break that against the Colts next week.
Oh,
Wow.
Pretty easy team to do again.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Anyways, he's joining us. Motor City Dan Campbell will be joining us in about an hour from now. And then Aaron Rodgers joins us in about 2 hours. Big news out of Dallas. God did. T.Y. Hilton got signed to the Dallas Cowboys. Congrats to T.Y.
Yeah, T.Y.
And to the Cowboys. This is the tweet that announced it. Jerry Jones is in there handling the negotiation. I'm intrigued to hear what his convo was like with T.Y. T.Y., one of the greatest humans to be around. Vibes immaculate all the time. He's a hard worker. He's got great juice. He's obviously was the number one wide receiver for the Colts for a long time. After Andrew Luck retires, it's kind of a carousel of quarterbacks throwing to T.Y. And T.Y. and Andrew were on the same exact page. It was awesome to watch live. T.Y. Slips to like the third round or fourth round out of FIU. Everybody said he was undersized, whatever the case. If you have an offensive coordinator that has a brain at all, that can just maybe get him in a little bit of emotion or off the line so he can't get jammed up, which certainly can happen to any wide receiver. He never had that trouble whenever he was balling, though. That guy would be in motion. He'd go up over 3 people and make big-time plays. We love T.Y. Hilton around here. He's obviously been on the show numerous times. I had no idea he was thinking about getting back into it. T.Y. has kids. He's a great dad, lives his life. Very quiet off the grid, like, hey, I don't need any attention. I'm happy that he is potentially getting a chance. He's got $600,000 guaranteed for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
He's got incentives that go up to $1.5 million. We're talking about what if he's doing what Odell does? He's in great shape. Let me just go to a team that needs maybe another weapon. He'll probably be their number three option.
Oh, yeah.
T.Y. will be able to pick it up quick. To have this guy who's a consummate Pro Bowler and professional as your fucking third option, good on the Cowboys reloading here in the middle of the damn season. They wanted Odell. Odell, I guess, 5 to 6 weeks out is what Micah said. And that's what Von Miller said, 3 to 4 weeks or whatever the case was. Jerry and the Cowboys, I don't know if they knew that before his visit down there. They signed Odell. We want relief right now. Or they signed T.Y. We want relief right now. What a fucking signing by the Cowboys. AQ, you've got a chance to see T.Y. work. We're all big fans of his. Very quiet, though, so he doesn't get like a lot of national pub. Stud of a player. And I assume he's the same as he's always been, which is just going to be hard worker, make big catch, and outrun motherfuckers.
I mean, I love the way he plays, and I'll always remember the game we played, second round of the playoffs, maybe in 14 at Denver. I think he was against Aqib Talib, and he had a monster game. And I was like, all right, like this guy's special. He was still starting to break out at that point, but he was special. Here we are, 10 years later, 9 years later, whatever it is, and he gets an opportunity to be a 3 and go possibly win a Super Bowl. It's awesome.
Happy for T.Y. They call him a ghost because he disappears behind coverages.
Goddamn right.
More specifically against Houston is where it came. He put up numbers against Houston that were just absurd. And I wonder if the Cowboys were like, Houston just exposed something. Let's get somebody that beats Houston. It's like T.Y. Hilton literally beats the Houston Texans franchise worse than any other player in the history. I'm happy as hell for him.
Yeah, and it feels like the perfect team for, a receiver who's just trying to go and win a Super Bowl on the latter half of their career at the end of the season. Like, yeah, he's their 3-option wide receiver-wise, but with Pollard and what they're doing with him and Zeke in that run game, Dalton Schultz still, like, if someone goes down, awesome. You have T.Y. Hilton to either slide up to 2 if something happens to Gallup or C.D. Lamb, or he can still just be that guy that gives you 10 plays, full speed, absolutely kills still as a team when you need it the most. So, I mean, that's the best spot. But like you said, like Odell is he just not a thing anymore now or what?
Well, Cole Beasley signed with the Buffalo Bills. He's back with some bars. He retired early in the season after playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for 2 days, I think. Is that what it was?
It
He
was
suited
like a
up in
week.
what,
It was
one
like a week,
game?
right?
Shout out to him. He sniffed it out quickly.
Whatever the case, he was
He
like,
knew.
I am not about this particular operation. He ends up back at the Bills. Congrats to Cole Beasley signing. Congrats to T.Y. Hilton. For T.Y. Hilton and Cole, I wonder how many teams knew that they were interested. Because Cole announced his retirement, right, whenever he left Tampa Bay. In T.Y., not a single word has been said about him. Do you know how much he would have hopefully helped this Colts team? Not only because he would have been a leader, and he's been, missed mightily in that fashion, it appears, in the building. He is beloved by Colts. T.Y. is beloved by the city. He had a poster on the side of the stadium. T.Y. was on the side of the stadium for a long, long time. I think a lot of us assumed he was done with football.
Yeah.
I didn't know that he was still thinking about playing football. The fact that he's not with the Colts, heartbreaker. We're not in a Super Bowl situation, but a lot of Colts fans are like, "What the fuck? This guy could have still been on our team. Like, what are we even doing?" I don't know if that's the case, but I do know the Colts fans ultimately, in their heart of hearts, after saying to Ballard in the current regime, "Well, this guy, he's good enough for the Cowboys. He's not good enough for the Colts." Maybe it was just T.Y. waiting on the right situation. Happy as hell for you, T.Y. Go finish this thing off.
Go, T.Y.
However the hell you want to, man. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I assume he was probably content with not playing a full, 18-week season. But you look at like that. You mentioned the leadership, like that Dallas wide receiver room is relatively young. You get an established vet in there, especially like who's played in playoff games and kind of knows the drill. Like you look at the Colts, the Packers. Like if they would have had young receiving cores who would have benefited greatly from having him around.
Yeah, he has a youthful energy about him because he'll have a backpack on and his vibes are always high, but he works. Like dude works, which I have the utmost respect for, and I think sometimes that's the best form of leadership. Like, hey, this is how you do it. Let's pivot away from the Dallas Cowboys and the Indianapolis Colts and T.Y. Hilton, who we're happy for. Hey. Congrats, T.Y.
Oh yeah,
Good job, T.Y.
Congrats, Cole Beasley.
yeah.
And congrats to this man who got the bag just a little bit ago. He came back into the NFL sphere this past weekend making big-time plays. In 5 straight road games, he has over 100 yards in which he has played. He could break an NFL record in a couple weeks against the Indianapolis Colts. It doesn't matter where he's playing, how he's playing, if he's playing. He's making big plays. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Clemson, Los Angeles Chargers wide receiver, Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike!
What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
How y'all doing?
Hey, great, man.
I'm good.
Okay, we can't thank you enough for joining us, dude. Massive. Hey, welcome back to the league, by the way, after 2 very unfortunately timed injuries. Obviously, that's no fun. We're lucky to see you back on a football field. Have you always just been a guy who just goes up on people's heads and gets the rock? And like, it seems like that's all you've done in the NFL is just dunk on people, dunk on people, dunk on people. Has this always been your style of play?
Yeah, that's kind of been my style of play since like middle school, to be honest with you. I played a lot of defense in middle school, and then I kind of made a transition in 8th grade to receiver, and I just kind of was that type of player, just going up, making big plays.
You've been with the Chargers now, I think, like 6 years. I believe this is your 6th season. So obviously you were there before Staley came in. And there's been like this stigma about the Chargers about how really talented team, but for whatever reason just kind of get lost and then end up not having like the most fulfilling season at the end. Is there something different about the building this year with Staley? Because you guys are still very much in this whole thing. You're getting people healthy at the right time, it feels like. You and Keenan Allen have only played, I think, like 43 snaps or something. I forget the exact amount of snaps together healthy this season. What is the message and what is the vibe under Staley versus maybe buildings of the past over there?
Well, for us, our whole mentality is just taking one game at a time. That's the main thing. Don't look too far ahead at the schedule and just take one game at a time. Let's get 1-0 every week, and that's what we did this week. Last week we was able to go out there, get a big win on Sunday night. This week, we got to focus on Tennessee. Stop the run game, make plays on the offense, and just play our style of football. That's the main thing. Just be us.
And what is your style? Because obviously Herbert seems like he's an alien. Him and Josh Allen, I don't think they're making a lot of people that look like him. What do you know about Justin Herbert behind the scenes that we don't? Because we know he doesn't like to do a lot of media. Obviously, speaking of media, there's one particular sports media person. Ocho, who has an entire freestyle that I'm sure the team has listened to. What do we not know about Herbert, though, that you get to see? And what about his growth? And what do you think the type of player he's going to be in the future?
Well, just the leadership that he took upon the last few years, that has been tremendous growth. Just him being more vocal, telling us what he's like, the spots that he like us to be in, and just he gonna carry us. We want to be in the spots that he likes, so we just communication. That's the biggest thing with us as a receiver and a quarterback is communication, and I feel like that's what we've been doing a lot more this year with just communicating as far as. I see the DB doing this. I see this spot right here. So it's just a lot more communication between, the quarterback and the receiver. And I feel like that will help us play a lot better.
On the field, off the field, all things. How tight's the group over there, Mike?
We be real tight. We actually, off the field, we do dinners every Friday as a team. So that's been a big jump for us also. So we just added that this year, and it's been awesome.
I think that's a big deal. I think that's a massive deal. Congrats to you guys being able to figure that out, because obviously if it's not something you do on a regular basis, people have their habits, and obviously out in LA, who knows what traffic is like. So the fact that you're able to get everybody the fact that you guys are able to get everybody everywhere, I think that's massive. For us judging you going down the road, we need to remember that too. Connor, your question from Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike, you signed a massive 3-year, $60 million deal this offseason. Yeah, congratulations. Friend of the show, Tom Telesco, also comes on every now and then. How was the negotiations? How did those go? And did you eventually just go into him and say, hey, listen, Tom, I'm bigger, stronger, faster than both you and most people who play wide receiver. Can you just give me the contract I want?
Well, I mean, it was more so my agent just kind of, dealing with all that stuff. I was just kind of focusing on training the whole time, for real. My main thing was, I didn't want to change. I know this is where I wanted to be with just having a quarterback like Justin. So I just wanted to be with Justin, and we was able to work things out. But that was the main thing. I just had my agent just deal with all that other stuff.
Mike, it seems like you're going all in over there, though. Bringing Khalil, JC, they pay you. That's got to be a good feeling in the locker room. Like, hey, ownership and front office want to go win one, want to get it. Do you feel that do you feel that type of energy around or no?
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like we got the team to do it, to get the job done. Obviously, you just named JC. We can't. We're not gonna have him for the rest of the season. But that was a big pickup for us. Also, Khalil been out here doing his thing. But yeah, I feel like we put a good team together. We just got to get everybody completely healthy, and then see where this thing goes.
It's got to be nice though when your team's going when they're signing and paying these people. It's like, all right, we're trying to go all in. I'm happy to hear that. I think Chargers fans pumped about it as well. Ty, your question,
Mike. It seems like in years past, like when people go to SoFi, with it being in LA, and there's so much stuff going on, it's kind of like an event more so than like people being diehard fans. But in that Dolphins game on Sunday night, like it was a very noticeably loud atmosphere, and it seemed like there were a lot of Chargers fans in there. Have you kind of noticed? Does it feel like it's kind of starting to morph from a Rams city to a Chargers city now? Because I think that's like one of the first times we've seen it's like, oh, this is very noticeably a home game for the Chargers.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a lot in SoFi.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't happen a lot in
for
SoFi.
sure. I mean, when we first moved out here, it was a little different. It was the opposing teams, the people showing up a lot more. But I mean, as the last couple of years, I feel like we had a lot more fans showing up, and I appreciate that. We play off that energy. We play off the support of those of the fans. So we love the fact that they show up and made some noise last week. And hopefully he can do it again Sunday.
I guess Rams get more primetime games because they are the Super Bowl champs, so we notice it with them. They're playing a lot of away home games.
Yeah,
they're
silent counts.
Yeah, a lot of away home games. It's like SoFi was kind of that destination type thing. Let's go to LA, we'll go to a game. But the other game you're 100% right, against Miami, it was like, hey, this feels like there's an actual advantage right now for the home team in SoFi, which is fascinating and good for the future. Tone, your question.
Mike, is it hard, like when you're 6'5" and 220, just not walk back to Justin and be like, hey, like if you want to, just throw it up and I'll go get it. Like I'm open every play.
That is humble. How do you?
Oh yeah, I tell him that. I tell him that all the time. I tell him if it's 1-on-1, it's a strong possibility that I'm gonna make a play on the ball. Just give me an opportunity, and I feel like he trusts me to go up and make a play. So we got that chemistry to do that.
I appreciate that. At the end of the day, you are a wide receiver, okay? Give me the ball. I'll go get the ball. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for joining us, man. And against the Colts, you could break an NFL record. for 6 straight. It's a Monday Night Football game, too. 6 straight road games with 100 yards or more. You'd be the first person in NFL history to do that. Just relax against Colts, okay? Just relax. Just chill.
Oh no, I can't do that. Can't relax.
Just chill. You know what I mean? Just we'll be there. Come say hello.
Yeah.
Come say what's up. You can sit with us for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
You can sit with us for the game. Yeah, just relax, dude. That's all you got to do. All right.
Not that one. Not that one.
All right. Good luck the rest of the way. We appreciate the hell out of you, man. We'll see you next Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike.
Super, doesn't get talked about a lot.
No.
The back-to-back injuries were incredibly unfortunate. That's just I was asking you that question. Some of these injuries, like the Kyler one, I think it's just, you get unlucky. There's some guys that we played with that were incredible football players that just, for whatever reason, they step on a shoe and they break an ankle, and then their ankle never heals, and they're never able to cut or run like they were able to. Some people just get very fucking unlucky, and I'm happy it didn't happen to me while I was out there bombing balls.
Yeah, it happened to me. I mean, it's brutal, and the rehab process is tough. I mean, that's gonna be a tough rehab process. But here's
just
one
came
thing.
out of nowhere. He's just running,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, hey, guess what? You're not playing anymore, and then for the next 8 months, you're gonna have to do something that's every day because you're you get to remember. Some people only get to do physical therapy once a week or once every other week. You get to do it 3 times a day. It's okay, that means you get to bust your ass. This is going to be the hardest work you've done in a long time. That's what rehab is. Doesn't get talked about enough. So anytime it gets brought up, I like to hammer it home. It is a miserable, lonely, excruciating process rehabbing an injury in the NFL. You just got to hope you have good trainers around you. Kyler just out of nowhere running in the first drive of a fucking primetime Monday Night Football game just ends up, now you signed up for 8 months of that being your life. That's just how it is, though. Lucky to do it.
It is.
But obviously it's incredibly unfortunate.
I don't think a lot of people will be talking about it, but football is one of the few sports, maybe the only sport, where you have to practice. This is a game where you have to put your body through the stressors during the week in order to be ready to roll on Sundays. One thing probably not talked about, right? He's had some hamstring issues, probably not practicing a bunch, missed a game a couple weeks ago, Mexico City, right? And then he's been on the table a lot this year with the hamstring and some other things, right? And so maybe he's not practicing as much, and then now you don't get all those stressors, and maybe something like that happens. I don't know. Who knows? But, I mean, it's
tough.
It's something you got to think about.
It was 100% injury rate.
That's right.
Yeah, no matter what.
100%. But that's anytime you blow out your whole knee just running out of nowhere, especially for a mobile guy.
Yes.
That's the big thing. It's and obviously it's completely different with Bakhtiari, who just basically doesn't trust his knee anymore. But for a guy like Kyler, who he's not just a pocket passer. That is not his game. His game's predicated on moving around and making people miss, and you hope that he feels the same when he comes back next year, and if he doesn't, it's how much different does he look?
Did we see enough that they would have beat the Patriots probably by 3 scores? Kyler stays in that game.
Yeah,
Last
Yeah,
night,
it
probably
was
3-4 scores,
right
5
away.
scores probably.
Right away. I mean, that was the second first down he rushed for, I think. So right away you saw
They probably went
oh,
5-6
shit.
scores.
Yeah,
Monday night.
48, 14.
They're definitely
Over the Patriots.
Yeah.
definitely not
Jeez.
getting 6 sacks.
Jeez.
Yeah, no way.
And then just like that, now they're 1-12. We're obviously joking. Okay, we didn't think that they'd beat.
Maybe.
We didn't think
But
they'd win by
maybe.
34, but maybe.
No,
I
but
mean, who knows?
Certainly
Definitely
Not
could have
100%
won.
sure. But that moment happens on a basic ass. He was setting up for a cut. Wasn't even a cut. A setup for a cut, pretty much, is what happened here. Now they're 1-12 in the last 13 home games, and there's a chick. I think he was going to do another. I think that was a setup, like a double deke type thing.
Yeah.
and then back out.
Yeah,
back
that's
out.
what I think. I think he was trying to put him on skates a little bit. But nonetheless, fucking blows his ACL, out for the rest of the year. Team probably going to fire everybody. I mean, that's what the sport is. That's why it's so unpredictable. That's why it's so damn. Hey, good luck on our rehab process.
Good luck,
Also,
Kyler.
also, my cleats on probably doesn't wear all the time. I think.
Are you kidding me?
I'm just throwing it out.
That does happen though. Guys will wear my cleats for like the first quarter. And then they're like, oh, I'm getting blisters or something like that. Because
Right.
the cleats have to go away to get painted, and then they come back a couple days
You
before.
get them like 2 days before.
The guys try to wear them around like the facility to break them in, like try their best to get them in there. But some people's feet and ankles, it doesn't matter. Like there's some people can wear brand new shoes every single game, and their feet won't. There's some people whose like shoes and blisters and everything like a certain way. Maybe the My Cause, My Cleats didn't even think about it. It's a good thing, though. Let's remember My Cause, My Cleats is a good thing.
It is.
Should happen every week so this doesn't happen. If so, it's not an issue for the cleats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call.
Why
We should do
aren't
more
causes?
cause cleats.
Every
right.
single week.
Yeah.
Why can't we put a light on causes every week?
Why can't we have cleats be designed coolly every
Every
single
week.
week?
This is like the October conversation.
How come we weren't asked to do that whole thing?
I don't know. I did see
weird.
some like Air Forces that were.
Yeah, Desmond Howard had some cool ones.
There was a lot of people.
He literally had them on set. I'm like, damn, those are some cool. He's like, I'm doing it for the NFL My Cause, My Cleats. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
That would have been cool.
And I saw like Peyton was wearing them for his Manning cast. I'm like, that's cool. And I think there were some media people that were doing it around here. I'm like, why didn't we do? We should
I
have
would have
done
loved
it.
to done like a My Cause, My Cleats for the Hurricane Relief Fund of Florida. Like that would have been awesome.
Yeah, with just a big fat photo of Ron DeSantis on your cleats, Dahn.
That's right.
Would have been unbelievable. Just his entire face.
That's your war hero, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, his tongue sticking out as the front of the shoe.
Warrior.
Jesus Christ.
At Harvard and Yale.
All right, let's get out of politics, okay?
Yes.
Cole Beasley signed with the
Boom. You see what he said? You
Beasley
see what Isaiah McKenzie said?
No, what did he say?
Oh, it was awesome. He said something like, at Cole Beasley, it's your time to hit the verse with like a heart emoji and a like laughing face or something. Someone replied, stop supporting this anti-vaxxer. And then Isaiah McKenzie came back
and said,
shut up, he's our anti-vaxxer. It's awesome.
I was about to say, that guy keeps fucking around on Twitter. He'll end up in a verse from Cole Beasley. He signs with the Buffalo Bills. T.Y. Hilton signs with the Dallas Cowboys. Brett Kern signs with the Philadelphia Eagles, who lose their punter Aaron Sipos, punter out of Australia, who was an incredible punter for them, scoops up a blocked punt behind the line of scrimmage, tries to scurry for a first down, gets blasted, rolls ankle inside out as opposed to outside, like didn't roll the outside of his foot. Inside a foot rolled this way because of the shot that he took. That's going to be painful. He's going to be out for a certain amount of time. So the Philadelphia Eagles, via Adam Schefter, signed Brett Kern. Here's another guy, just like T.Y. Hilton. I thought he was just chilling and done. I didn't know he still wanted to get back in the league. When the Colts were looking for a punter, my name was getting thrown out by a lot of people on the internet. But my first thought was, oh, Brett Kern is literally waiting for this type of situation because the Colts at that time still potentially going to go on a run.
Yeah.
Team still had high hopes or whatever the case was. Obviously, it ended up being vastly different now. We got another primetime game next week. Showcase it all.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
That should be fantastic. Just keep those coming.
Yeah, it'd be a
Keep
lot of fun.
Keep those primetime games coming. I thought Brett Kern maybe go there. There was another opportunity that opened up. I thought Brett Kern maybe would go there. And he was like, he hadn't signed anywhere. And this guy is fucking good. They had a poster of him outside the Titan Stadium. Punter. Had a 30-yard by 10-yard fucking depiction outside the stadium. Like a banner was hung of this guy because of how good he was. He ends up getting cut because they have a rookie who murders the football and is much cheaper than what Brett Kern was on his contract. And in special teams, that's going to happen. But Brett Kern potentially doing what Odell was doing in wide receiver and what T.Y. might have done this year is brilliant. And I can't congratulate the Eagles enough. You got the best guy that's available. And by best guy available, I mean you're probably getting a top 5 guy in the league immediately. I don't know how much he's been punting. He's used to dealing with wind and cold with Tennessee. And I'm not saying it gets as cold as some places do around the NFL, but it's windy as fuck there. He's a jugs machine. He is really good. If he still has it, which I assume he does, this is a massive signing for the Eagles, and they just got better somehow.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like the Eagles got worse in a situation that could show up in a big moment and really fucking get you, which is special teams. And injuries do happen. Long snappers out of nowhere, and then that'll end up fucking a team somehow. You lose a punter, you don't notice it in the short term, but losing 20 yards of field position every single time you give up the ball, that can get you in the playoffs when it happens. Instead, they get better when they lose their punter.
A lot better.
It's like, how do some teams have this type of luck, it seems like? In the Philadelphia Eagles, did nobody else know Brett Kern was still thinking about playing? And Nick Sirianni just drove to his house in Nashville and said, we need a dog. You're a dog. Win the Super Bowl.
What do you say?
Only got a certain amount. Only got 4 weeks left regular season.
Pretty easy.
You don't have to do anything. It's the beginning of the year for you now. And he's like, yeah, you got it. I guess. Sirianni goes, I guess we'll sign another All-Pro
No big
at
deal.
a fucking position.
Sure.
Just sign them off the streets. And congrats to Philadelphia becoming this place where
Yeah.
people who are ring hunting and wanting to maybe leave an imprint in their legacy. And who knows how long Brett Kern will sign for. This might be a multi-year thing. I have no clue if it's just a year-long thing or a multi-year-long thing here in about a week or so after they see that he's still got it. It's like, you're now a destination. Philadelphia Eagles are now a destination for people. Not that it wasn't before, but definitely now. And congrats to them on signing Brett Kern. He's so. I used to try to mimic Brett Kern on a regular basis on film because he's a robot. This dude is he catches the ball the same way. He has like his little shimmy. It's like he like locks in almost. And boom, and his arm like locks into a perfect boom. The way boom he tried to do it. I actually added it into my thing because of how often and consistent he just turned the ball over. It was unbelievable to watch. And obviously he was at the Titans, so I saw him in warm-ups 2 times a year, and that's where you can really watch if a guy's worth a fuck or not. And like, because in a game might get a little breezy, might not hit a good ball. But in warm-ups you can be like, oh, that guy's like 3 of 10. That guy's like 3 of 10 turning the ball. Or that guy's like 5 of 10. Oh, that guy hits a big ball. He doesn't hit a lot of good balls. It's like Brett Kern was just like a robot every single time we played. So I have high admiration for him, and I'm fucking incredibly impressed that he was still available for the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. Getting better at a position week 15. It's unbelievable to me.
Well, when we've talked about, like all season and before the season started, like some of these teams who, like the Eagles, they're not punting a lot, but when they do, like having a guy who okay, don't need to worry about it. Like he's going to pin him deep. He's not going to
shank one. He's not going to get a 16-yarder.
Exactly.
And set up the other team to score.
Right.
Because he might only get 1 or 2 punts a game.
Exactly.
And it's just like a quarterback that is able to operate off a system. Everybody's saying Purdy's going to be able to be a quarterback there because it's a lot of running. At some point, Purdy's going to have to make a fucking throw, and it's going to matter. It's going to be a big deal. If they pick it up, the season continues. If they don't, the season is over. And we don't know until we truly get there. Punting is like the same fucking thing. Like, you don't know. Like, at one point, you're going to be backed up in your own end zone, up to 3 minutes left in the game, and this guy, second punt maybe all day, fourth quarter, real late. It's like, hey, need you to go out there, cold, not a lot of things. Need to give our defense a fighting chance here. Some guys fucking shank. Yeah. Some guys you can bank on turning it over. It's like they just got a guy that by all accounts you can bank on making a play for him. It's fucking, I don't know how the Eagles, how do some teams are just able to get better all the time? How does that happen?
It's unbelievable. Try.
Why does that happen?
I mean, their front office is doing a fantastic job.
It's like
I
the
think
Cowboys.
The other thing,
Yeah.
Like, how come they just get better? How are these teams, how come all the teams that are good are aggressive and get better through the year, and all the other teams that are better, like, that's wasted money. That's not good money. It's like, well, you're not winning a Super Bowl.
I think once you're 14 weeks into the season or whatever it is, right, and you see you got a chance,
let's go.
Then we just say, okay, we're going now, because like, who cares what the cap looks like the next year or the next? This is our time, because who knows if we get 4 injuries next year and now our season goes to shit, right? So that's the biggest thing that I think these teams are able to do. Where Philly has an advantage is the fact that they got a quarterback on a rookie deal still.
Yeah.
And now we can push everything. Now we can push cap stuff way down the line.
What was that, 2 weeks ago signed? They have Linval Joseph in for a workout. They have Ndamukong Suh in for a workout. Everybody's like, they're gonna try to pad it. They're gonna sign at least one of these guys. It's like, nah, sign them both.
I'll take both.
Yeah, we'll
Right
sign
now.
both these guys actually right now. Need you to be in there. Oh, you got 4 All-Pros across it? Yeah. And we're trying to add more. We're calling people out of retirement. Hey, you still got anything left? Yep. Need you in here. Just go on a run. We're trying to win a Super Bowl. It's like good for the Johns over there getting to experience this.
It seems like a couple of these teams too. Like, yeah, obviously every owner wants to win, but guys like Jerry and like the Eagles, like it's much more than a business. Like he wants to win no matter what, and he's willing to do no matter what to make sure that they are in the best possible chance or position to win. And it feels like a lot of these guys are just like, the money and being a business, that kind of takes precedence over what's actually happening on the football field.
Well, and what's actually happening in that building is they got the head coaching position right.
Yeah.
And at many times we thought this guy was a dipshit. Like whenever he said this, for instance.
The results aren't there right now. But what's going on here is that there's growth under the soil. I put a picture of a flower up, right, and that it's coming through the ground, and the roots are growing out, and the roots are continuing to grow out. And everybody wants to see results. Nobody wants to see results more than us, right? We want to see results too. But it's really important that that the foundation is being built and that the roots are growing out. And the only way the roots grow out every single day and they grow stronger and they grow better is if that we all water, we all fertilize, we all do our part. Each individual coach, each individual player, everybody in the building, that we do our part to water to make sure that when it does pop out, it really pops out and it grows.
Yeah. Brendan Deeg, they're obviously giving a stat that they're 18-4 since that moment. So think about that 22 games ago, what we thought about that guy.
Yeah,
sure. Whenever he was saying that. Remember his opening press conference, less thinky, more athlete, take over-y. And then other stuff. And it's like, okay, this guy is a dipshit. He's in Philadelphia. He told us a story on this show that there was John's actually throwing flowers at him after he gave that speech. Here's your flower pile growing through the manure. Fuck off, dude. Try to do some things. And then what he was saying, though, 100% accurate. Not only in the botanist conversation about how you do need to water for a strong base there of that flower, but he was talking about all the work they're putting in. He just described it in a different fashion. I think him being himself, always being that, the team loves him. They've trusted him. They've built it the right way. And now they're a wagon where people want to go enjoy. You got the culture built. You can add in all pros. I think they got it right. And thank God for that. Thank God for that press conference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a guy that, we mentioned it, and maybe it's a little different if they're not very good this year, but being able to like laugh at yourself and not take yourself too seriously when you're in a position like this, because we weren't the only ones who were giving him shit. Like everyone was.
You weren't really giving him shit. You were just actually saying the words that he was saying.
Legit, yeah, exactly. It's not like I was going above and beyond and being crazy. It was kind of just regurgitating what he was saying. But like for him to be able to come on the show and laugh about it and be like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck I was saying, and like I wanted players to like pull me aside and be like, hey, what the fuck are you talking about? So I could actually explain like where I was coming from. The moment that all kind of changed and he was just like, you know what, I am who I am. I don't give a shit. And like you can tell, he told us like, hey, listen, I don't have a lot of hobbies outside of football. Like this is
what do you like to do in your downtime?
Get ready for football games.
What do you mean?
I think about when the next time I'm going to be able to do football. What are we even talking about? Stinks at rock, paper, scissors, which is
he does.
Yeah, that was
kind of
disappointing.
tough.
That was a shame.
Yikes.
Didn't expect that.
You were kind of playing mind games with him.
A little bit.
Weren't
Inside
you?
his own head,
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mind meld. A little bit. It really was. He's the man. I'm happy for them. Congrats to the Eagles.
Great.
Congrats to Brett Kern, too, I guess, who was still looking for a job.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
How about a heads up? Jesus Christ. We're trying to get him in Indy at least.
You think Sirianni's the runaway coach of the year?
Yeah.
He is the favorite by.
It's got to be.
I think you would have to be.
Just like even expectations over.
McDaniel probably up there.
Sure.
O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell has to be in the conversation.
Yeah. How can you give
Dayball.
the Eagles fucking embarrassed the Vikings,
Shanahan.
They're 12-1.
Sirianni's 380. Guess who was in second?
That's what we're trying to do.
MCDC.
Is it Dan Campbell?
Wow.
So that's like Andy Reid and them. Just already.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good coach.
Yeah. Hall of
Belichick.
Famer,
He did his
no
great coaching last year, or the year before.
Yeah.
That is
It's always-
something.
Like it was, I guess it was Vrabel last year, but the year before that was like Stefanski. Before the year, it's always these rookie coaches or second-year coaches that are the favorites going into the season, who they think their team's going to be good. Because you're Belichick.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
bullshit.
Saleh.
True.
What are you saying? That's bullshit. What are you so fucking pissed off?
I mean, how is Belichick plus 20,000? You got the worst roster in the history of the planet.
Well, whose fault's that?
He put the roster together.
Yeah.
Oh, no, injuries and stuff. Come
No,
on,
you,
guys.
you can't separate artist from art in that whole thing. He's the one that put the fucking team together. So
No, you're right.
all
Bob,
these other
Bob
people.
Sala. Bob Sala plus 1,200.
Pete Carroll should be
Unbelievable.
higher, right?
Yeah, I mean, with what the Seahawks did after trading away, and also had to sit in a pocket, right? Because there was a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're rebuilding, doing this whole thing." Russell Wilson was beloved when he was traded. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're all judging him for now. At the time, just like that speech that Sirianni gave, at the time, Pete Carroll was like, "You're 71 years old doing a rebuild." We're not doing a rebuild.
Seattle was
He
pissed.
should be coach of the year strictly for getting rid of Russ.
Well, that would be Schneider who might get
GM of the year.
GM of the year.
Executive.
Ron
It's
Rivera,
bullshit.
too. He needs to be higher up on
why
that
is that?
list.
They have a 76% chance of making the playoffs. The fucking Washington Commanders.
With their backup.
Not only with their
Well,
backup,
the
Heineke
backup's
probably
better.
potentially could have been their starter, but
sure.
nonetheless, spending $30 million on somebody else to not play, I think he's active. He's back
yeah.
off the IR. That'll be an interesting thing to watch unfold over there. But the Commanders should not be a successful operation. Just
At
like
all.
after, with everything. How
They're
hard is
successful because of their D-line, which is insane to think about.
And their best D lineman's been hurt all year.
Yeah, Chase
Yeah.
is coming back or
Yeah.
whatever. But let's break down the football in a second. from a grand scheme of things, winning in the NFL is so hard. Everybody says it. It's hard to win in the NFL. It's hard to win. You got to have a lot of things go right to win the NFL. Got to have everybody all in. There's no job too small. It's like that building actively tearing down the franchise while they're playing football. The disarray happening and bad decisions taking place on a daily basis over there. Poop pipes bursting. Statues that look like Dick's Sporting Goods sales.
Yeah.
It's like everything's terrible over there, and they have a 76% chance of making the fucking playoffs in the NFC right now. Ron Rivera certainly deserves conversation in there. How do you? It's just strictly because they're able to keep football, but how do they fucking avoid? If they had a good building, what would that team be? I honestly
you're right.
have to wonder that.
And culture, right? I mean, it's such a cliche saying, right? Everybody says culture.
Well, now the new cliche is culture. It's so cliche to talk about, but culture. That's actually the full cliche, because every time culture gets mentioned, people feel obligated to set a precedent that we know we talk about culture a lot, but that's how important fucking culture is.
It is. It's huge. And, like, it's so weird to say that you have to learn to win, but winning is a learned trait. Like, you've seen it. There's so many. The difference between teams that go 12-4 and 4-12 is literally winning those close games, right? And so you have to have people that are willing to bring that to the next level and teach winning. You have to be able to have a good culture, and you have to be able to block out the noise. A lot of cliche sayings, but they all prove very fucking true in this building right now.
Well, cliches, basically all of them, ring true. That's why they're cliches. Even though people don't like the way they're being said, it's like cliches are cliche for a fucking reason, because it's a real thing. And all the bad ones in blocking out noise are basically all real in that Commanders thing, and they've been able to stay the course. He had cancer, 2 years ago? On top of the whole thing, leukemia in there. I mean, that is an unbelievable job over there.
Well, and just look at some of their wins, too. Like that Eagles, like they beat the fucking Eagles. And we were just talking about how good the Eagles are across the board. They were able to beat them on, the rough and the passer. And then you look at what happened with Atlanta. They beat Atlanta on a last play, ball deflected interception in the end zone.
Hey, drama out of Atlanta. Drama out of Atlanta. Marcus Mariota, no longer the starter for the Falcons. Desmond Ridder, the future, named the starter for the Atlanta Falcons after a rough spell by Marcus Mariota and the Falcons as a whole. Cincinnati's five-year quarterback. How long was Desmond? 10 years maybe at the University of Cincinnati? Guy who was quarterback for the University of Cincinnati.
BCS.
Yeah, for 15 years is now going to take over the Atlanta Falcons. In doing so, Marcus Mariota has left the building.
Whoa.
Yeah, apparently Marcus Mariota is no longer at the building. I think it's due to, in his eyes, a nagging chronic knee injury or knee illness that has been he's taken care of now that he's no longer the starter. Arthur Smith, though, the head coach, comes out and says, the knee's the same as it's been all year. Obviously, we want our guys to be in the building. It's like, oh, shit. Never hear that. Normally hear the coach or whatever say, yeah, we talked to him. We think it's in their best interest for the future for them to take care of that right now. We have Desmond Ridder going forward. Arthur Smith was like, yep, would love to see that guy around. Don't think the knee is anything different. That's an interesting situation down there. Did not expect that out of that ball club.
That could go one of two ways in the locker room. It could go
legit.
At the locker room could be like, yeah, I kind of agree with Coach and Marcus should be here. Or it could go, man, this guy's throwing players under the bus. Like this it's going to go one of two ways, and we'll find out real quick.
And we have respect for Arthur Smith. Because Arthur Smith could be a billionaire doing something at FedEx because his dad founded it. Now, I think his dad's a badass, so will his dad let him do that? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. But he has taken a route to become a head of there's some, you hear that static?
Yes, I do.
And I think I don't know if it's you or me or who. But it is happening. I think they're saying it's you.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Arthur Smith could have done a lot of different things. He chose to do the football coaching route, so we just assume that everybody respects him because of his grind in that moment where he was having beers with the boys at the locker room. But to your point, I didn't even think about that. There could be quite a, you see him fucking just mail Mariota under the... I don't think they will, because I think Arthur Smith probably has a different relationship with the team, and probably a lot of guys. I don't think Arthur's saying that. If not, that's not the vibe of a lot of people. But he's a young head coach, so we don't know how it could go. It's very fascinating how it's taking place, though.
Because he's been defending Mariota all year. Like they've had questions from the press in Atlanta, like, hey, when are you going to make a quarterback change? And he said, like, time and time again, like, hey, it's not just the quarterback, okay? Like, there's a lot of things we need to do better. So I'm sure at this point now it's like, you're not the starter anymore and you just fucking quit on the team and get out of here. Like, fuck this guy. I've been defending him all year, and then this is what happens when, a little bit of adversity comes his way.
It'd be funny if he goes in a team meeting. Boys, Marcus isn't here today. His knee has not gotten worse than it has been. he thinks it's right for him to take care of it somewhere else, I'm going to fucking murder him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay? In the press. Anybody has a problem with it? My door's open. You can come talk to me. He turned his back on all of you. That's my feelings. I'm going to get out of here and do that. He can handle it like that. It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out from here because Arthur Smith doesn't like the media either.
No, not at
He's
all.
not like a guy that's like, hey, I want to tell the media stuff. I want to give the media stuff. He has not proven to be that type of coach at all. So him giving it, and then now us obviously having this to talk about, is very against what he has been in his relationship with the media. We'll keep our eyes down on Hot Lano.
Yeah, and it does seem as though like the team was in on Mariota, whether they were winning or not. But unfortunately, just looking at it from the outside, it seems like we have a sad ooze in Marcus Mariota, and it's not that he is as much hurt.
Was that Coach Holzer?
More, yeah, of course. More so that he just doesn't, he's not very happy with where he is right now.
What was that, Manti Te'o? Now he's just a sad ooze on a beach. Oh, that was amazing. A couple things we got to hit real quick in this first hour before AJ Hawk joins us in the next hour and MCDC at 1:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Wow.
Travis Kelce has now reached 1,000 receiving yards in 7 straight seasons, more than doubling the next closest tight end. Statistic GOAT.
Yeah.
Legend.
By far.
No argument.
None. Every single stat that matters from an offensive perspective, he leads everybody at the tight end position. Now, there's going to be people that hate on him because he isn't a road grader. It's a tight end position. Me, he's a guy that's able to get in a 3-point stance, head up with a defensive end, and protect a quarterback or create a lane for a running back. That's what tight end, not just a wide receiver. If he was just a wide receiver, he'd be WR. He's not. He's TE. That's between OL and WR. Got to be able to do all those things. But I think Kelsey's been making some blocks. He's been showcased on In the Trenches.
Yes.
But I guess just because he isn't known as the road grading tight end, people will be able to hold that over his head forever. But he's told us, like, I've tried to get better and better. And his brother's fucking Jason Kelsey, and he's an Ohio fuck. I don't think it's a lack of toughness or ability. I think it just hasn't been in systems that have asked him to do it as much. I think he would have if he would have been asked to do as such. Instead, he's just become the most dominant offensive tight end in the history of the game. Congrats to fucking Killer Trav.
Yeah.
What do you think about Travis Kelce as a player?
Crushing it. And the crazy thing is, every time I turn the film on, I have no idea how at least once a game he catches a ball in the middle of the field and there's no one within fucking 30 yards of him. I have no idea how it happens. He's literally the best tight end to ever play the game and somehow finds a way to get lost.
Well, that's because him and Patrick Mahomes, we've caught them mic'd up. They're playing their own game in there. His football IQ is next level. I'm not even sure that he is given routes on certain plays. He just knows what everybody else is doing, so he knows where he can't go,
Find the hole.
where he can go. Yeah, like, hey, this is happening here, this is happening here. You got this whole area to kind of fuck with, and him and Patrick Mahomes, when they need it, they're going to one person, and that's 87. Congrats, Travis.
There we go, Travis.
All right, let's get to a break. We got hour 2 on the other side with AJ Hawk and MCDC. Should be an absolute blast. We have In the Trenches with AQ Shipley at some point today. Aaron Rodgers will be on today, and we'll be doing a massive giveaway. Ain't that right, AQ, when you do something good?
That's right.
Making putts.
Let's go.
Okay. That'll
now.
happen later. We can't thank you enough. Be a friend, tell a friend, take fight.
Okay, so here's what I think. I don't know. I would love to ask him. I would love to ask what the scheme is.
Is this a read here on where the middle linebackers lined up right here? Are you able to shift this? Are they able to change this to the center pulling as opposed to the guard pulling with where the linebackers lined up there?
Yeah, that's why we wanted to be kind of in a spread formation right there, just try to put as much width to the formation as we could. And then ultimately the second part of that is being able to sell on a known passing down. I think that was the 2nd and 10, being able to sell drop back pass, the illusion of our drop back protection. And then ultimately what's going to be the best angle of departure for whoever's going to climb to the second level to try to block 57, because let's not forget who that down player is, whether it's 95, 98. The Jets have fantastic front. That the goal going into that game was to hopefully just not let them wreck the game. And sometimes that's easier said than done with those types of players. But anytime you can get Dalvin Cook in space with the football in his hands, whether it's 2nd and 10, 1st and 10, really doesn't matter. It's something we're trying to always do. And I got to continue to find ways to do that, but also don't want to miss an opportunity to credit our offensive staff. Some of the ideas that they come up with every week, it makes it fun calling plays.
That's seemingly unstoppable right there. Spread them out, so then you got Mosley kind of on an island right there. If he lines up head up, we'll have this guy pull, and if he lines up off center, we'll have the center pull in there. That's an option that they can put in there. This modern NFL with all these rules, you're obviously a massive part of it. We need to start saying your name a lot more whenever we start talking about young offensive things.
This is my first time in Athens, and I'm going to say this place is
Isn't it glorious?
absolutely beautiful.
There it is. There it is.
We had a little drizzle earlier, and you know where I come from. Rain makes corn, corn makes whiskey. They make whiskey in Tennessee, so I think the rain is making the whiskey, what? That's being drank all over. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. Give me the volunteers, Luke Bryan. Sorry about it, Aldo. Tennessee, a team of destiny in Luke Bryan's fight. This is the first time with this rivalry. Both teams have been good in a long time. What was your message to the team this year, and essentially an elimination game this week?
Well, hunt with a purpose. That's the biggest thing. Is we want to go out and play aggressive. They're coming to our house. You know, we had to go to their place last year, and it was wild and crazy. We wanted to be crazy today. We want them to affect the game, and our guys know our best game's ahead of us. So we're hoping it's this one.
Hell yeah, Coach. Hell yeah.
Legs crossed.
Alan Ryan.
What do we have here?
Look at that. Go for it. Maloney from this man's grill.
No. It's on his nose. They dropped it on his nose. No, it's everywhere.
Bobbing from smoke.
Oh, my God. Best sandwiches going everywhere.
Last week against NC State.
Oh, no, Bear. Oh, no. No, Bear, a graphic just came up on the screen.
Here's the deal.
I didn't know you went 0-3.
Here's the deal. I'm an idiot. I'm terrible.
What's your column record? That's all they need to know.
33 and 16.
33 and 16.
And that's what I'm saying. All these
Dominating.
games early
What's
in the
that?
week that I'm
That's his
writing
column
off, I'm doing
record.
great. By the time I get to Saturday, I'm like talking myself off, picking terrible games. It's terrible. I'm doing a terrible
Get out of your own
job.
head, Bear.
I'm a good handicapper and a
Here's the
bad
thing.
better.
Not a lot of people see the column.
That's what bothers me.
Their offense is pretty sophisticated. Here you have a classic bunch set, crack toss to the right. Pin guy, pin and pull. Running back gets out behind. Darnell Washington,
big boy.
6'7", 270. Pick up 15 to 20 yards. Remember, the tight end was lined up right behind the tackle there. Let's flip the side. Same exact formation. What are they going to do? Crack toss, pin and pull. Fake the toss, and it allows a high-low route, which Florida has to operate on, and the best tight end in the country is wide open. It's that type of stuff that they do that the anonymous coach pointed out, that it's high-level football that they've been able to do against everybody.
Attaboy, kid. Nice. Nicely done.
I got
First
a
tape.
film.
First tape right there. First tape.
I did some football talk.
Mom, look, I did it.
When are we going to watch that? What is it? What is the show?
It is Max. Shh.
Jude?
It is.
Please.
Max is homesick from school. Quiet.
Oh, Jude. Godspeed.
Doesn't sound very sick.
NFL players won't be the only great thing you'll be able to watch on TV. I cannot say anymore, but perhaps I'll be on it.
Max, what's the name of the show he was on?
Max.
Say it, Max.
Max, what was
Say
the
it,
name
Max.
of
Takedown.
Can you?
Okay.
Oh, you just-
Thank you, Max. That was awesome. What is it? Something takedown?
Tailgate takedown.
Thank you,
Max. Thank you, Max.
Can't wait to watch that. Connor, your question.
We're gonna have a major conversation after this.
If you had sent him away for 6 months in summer, he would have done that.
Yeah. Connor, your question for what a game. And it didn't go how we thought it was going to go. Tua was off. Tua was missing balls. Then Tua hit a couple. And then on the Niners side, they lose Jimmy G with an apparent broken foot. Think about how small your bones are in your feet, how many of them there are. Whenever you see his foot turn sideways, that son of a bitch, you had to assume that something was going to break in there. That news was confirmed by Florio last night on NBC that he'll be out for the rest of the year. What are they going to do? Trey Lance also out for the rest of the year. Man, you spent a number 3 overall pick on instead of getting Mac Jones, which, but you did spend your last pick, Mr. Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant 2022 with the 262nd pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Brock Purdy, a quarterback from Iowa State.
He fucking comes in and balls.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy put on a Purdy show yesterday. Yeah. Remember, this guy's Mr. Irrelevant fucking Brock Purdy playing at Iowa State just a year ago. Now he's being put into the middle of a situation. Biggest game of the day. All right, Dolphins versus Niners, big game. Biggest game, in the middle of it. Take over, how you doing? This dude's moxie is off the charts. Absolutely. He stayed in the pocket on a 3rd and 10. 15 is already opening up his entire arms in his face. He sticks in there and delivers a dime to George Kittle. That type of throw, staring down the barrel, that type of courage, especially in a league that he's never played. This is his guy's first snaps in the NFL. Yeah. He has no idea. Maybe he doesn't know what he doesn't know, but a lot of people get scared there, tuck, turn, run, miss the throw, and everybody's like, why does this offense stink? The guy's scrambling for his life. Well, also there's a chance that for another half a second you sit in there, somebody gets open, you're going to have to take a massive shot, which quarterbacks have to do in the NFL. It is no fun. It's a bad part of the job, but it certainly takes place. This dude's sitting in the pocket, fucking taking massive shots to the jaw, seemingly throwing to the right people as well, because as we're watching everything DB and we're talking to AQ Shipley and Coach Pagano and everything we're watching and learning, against certain coverages, there's obviously holes. For him to know where those holes are going to be just by looking at it pre-snap is a level of football IQ that I don't think any of us could have expected from fucking Mr. Irrelevant.
Losing our quarterback there in our second drive in the first quarter. Brock, you stepped it up, you came in. I don't know if you guys know, but it's with mixed emotions, right? We know Jimmy went down, be there with him. All right, you guys know how much he's meant to us. We've got a long way to go here, and we still got everything in front of us.
Niners on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Big bump this week.
This might be the biggest one all year. Check out Trey Smith. This guy went in the 6th round because he had some medical history coming out of college, out of Tennessee. He was the best guard, I thought, in the draft. Guy plays like a dog.
Now he's putting medical history in other people's hands. That's what he's doing.
That's right.
Big bump, big bump.
Here we go. Okay, we're going to work inside. Let's be a good guard. Let's help my center for a second. Now, let's get our eyes back outside.
Holy shit, AJ.
First class ticket to Big Bump
Is that
City.
illegal? That's 100% legal.
Nah, it seems illegal.
What do they say in basketball, right? They tell the point guard not to come in the paint, right? And then they tell the point guard, don't come in the paint. Hey, corners. Sorry, D-Butt. Hey, corners. Stay out of the trenches.
Boom! Oh! There's big bodies in there. There's people with bad intentions in there. Boom!
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 13th. Wow, 2022 Hour 2 starts now. Football is rolling along. Week 14 of the NFL season wrapped up last night in the desert where the Patriots beat the hell out of the Cardinals. The Cardinals are now 1-12 in their last 13 home games. Kyler Murray tears ACL on standard run. We have nothing but positive T's and P's for his recovery. But the Arizona Cardinals are going to look different next year, we all believe, than they do right now. Congrats to the Patriots and all their fans, one of them being a member of the Talks Table at Boston Connor. At Ty Schmidt is here. We're about an hour away from chatting with Aaron Rodgers. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, Tone Diggs wearing a super cool hoodie and hat today. You look very cool today.
Thank you. Yes, thank you to Taylor for the hat, and thank you to you for the hat for the transportation.
No, I did nothing.
Well, you were the transportation, and
I was FedEx.
Yeah, exactly. And if FedEx fucks up, guess what? Doesn't come.
Yeah, you're right. We should pay a lot more respect to those drivers and delivery people these days. There's a lot more of them now with Amazon and everything popping off, everything being delivered DoorDash. And let's be nice to those people because there's bad ones out there that just steal your shit.
Yeah, a lot of them.
That happened last night. We lost ice and water before the holiday party.
Bullshit.
Somebody just went home with
just took it all home.
5 bags of ice and a couple cases of water. We want to let them know. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. There had to be something else you could have stole earlier or later in the day. Nonetheless, the hoodie looks amazing.
Yeah, I was watching Army Navy on Saturday, and I saw that hoodie in the crowd, and I said, fucking need that.
And it showed up when?
I ordered it yesterday.
Wow. Fanatics. Change the game of merch. Right. And joining us, the host of In the Trenches and the Bobbled Exchange, a man who's wearing a cowboy cap that was gifted to me by a man named Wolf, who represents the city of Arlington. It's a Resistol. That had to last your lifetime. You look fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley. How you doing?
Resistol is right. You were right.
Yeah, I know my cap, dude. It was gifted by the city to me.
It's really good.
It's not a key to the city, but goddamn, it was a cap of the
Might as
city.
well be.
I wore that thing. It looks fantastic on you.
I feel really good about this. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Great
I
hat.
might have to make this part of my arsenal.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the hat stays, but
Yeah,
you can
perfect.
buy your own.
I'll buy a Resistol.
Join
Yeah,
us
there you go.
now,
Yeah,
ladies
call
and
the Wolf.
gentlemen, a man who is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, and COVID survivor, multi-time, AJ Hawk. How you doing, AJ? What do you feel about? How do you feel about AQ's hat? How do you feel about the cowboy cap?
AQ looks awesome. Who gave it to him again?
Well, I did. It was sitting on my desk. He took it from the table that I have here. It was gifted to me, though, remember, by a member of the Arlington City Council when we were down there for game day. Hey, thank you for your contributions to the good times in this city. It's to resist all. This cap will last your lifetime and you take care of it here. And the man's name was the Wolf. I shook his hand. He was a great guy. He had a similar cap on. We're sitting there staring at each other like two fucking to-dos.
Yep.
You know what I mean? These are guys that to-do stuff. And that's what we're doing with that cap. It immediately makes you feel like that, doesn't it?
It does. 100%. I'm all in.
You put that cap on, you feel like a different man, AJ. Honestly, you do. You feel like a fucking...
Feel smarter.
Big wig.
Feel more important.
Yeah.
You think you're ever not getting a table? You walk into a restaurant wearing that?
Not a chance.
No.
Especially when your agent calls.
Well, you are your agent
Exactly.
normally when you call. And let's dive into the game from last night before MCDC joins us. AJ Hawk, haven't got your take on this whole thing. Kyler's injury, obviously, incredibly unfortunate. That's a damn shame. He's got 7-8 months of rehab that's about to have to take place on that knee to get him back into playing shape. We hope that goes well. We hope that goes swimmingly. Now, what will the Cardinals look like next year? What's Cliff Kingsbury's future like? What's Steve Keim's future like? 1-12 in the last 13 home games, losing on Monday Night Football to the Patriots by 2 scores. What were your thoughts on last night and your take on the Cardinals as a whole right now, AJ?
I mean, the Cardinals, if Kyler stays in the game, it's a different game, obviously, I believe.
Yeah,
we all probably agree with that, right?
Yeah, win by 50, I think,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
60,
for
probably.
sure.
Win by
So, but don't you think this may help Cliff? This could buy Cliff a year? The fact that Kyler is going down? Like, they're not going to fire the head coach after that, are they?
I don't know. AQ gave an entire breakdown of what the offensive line is. There's 3 dudes playing on their offensive line, 5 guys on the offensive line as a whole. 3 guys playing on the offensive line that didn't even make the top 90 list of the 32 teams going into training camp this year. So we did the math. It's 2,880 people, I guess, that make training camp lists. These guys, 3 of them that are playing for the Cardinals right now, not in the top 2,880. Now, there's only a certain amount that is allotted for offensive linemen, so that number is obviously, we're being a little bit more dramatic than we need to be. But nonetheless, the offensive line, not good at all for the Cardinals, and that's where you can lose everything at. That's probably why they're so bad, huh? Figure out the offensive line, maybe your team gets back. Have you ever seen a team with a great offensive line be terrible?
No.
Never, right?
Never.
I don't think. How about you, AJ? Have you?
No.
Maybe Cleveland for this year, but again, it's a quarterback situation, right?
True.
It's tough. Usually, if you have a great offensive line, you can at least, you'll have an average team or a slightly above average team. Usually, you're not going to be just god-awful or terrible if you have a great offensive line.
Yeah, I think that's easy. If you're going to hand over the keys to a team, hey, you got a team now. Boom, there's your keys. That was cool. I got a team. What am I going to do? I think everybody says it, but it's real. I am going to go get offensive. You have a good offensive line, everything else can go. Because at the end of the day, if you're able to run the ball, you're going to eat the clock. Your defense isn't going to have to be as good. Your quarterback isn't going to have to be as good. It's like the singular most important part of winning the games. I'm not just saying that because he's here. I think it's because if you watch enough football, the problem is when the quarterback's getting hit and you can't run the ball, you're fucked. Well, when that's happening, there's a pretty good chance that involves the same group of men, and it is the offensive line. You got a great one. Everything else, all these super geniuses that are getting paid millions of dollars, they can do. They can run these creative gadgets in the run game and the pass game and everything like that. They can do all that. If your offensive line stinks, everything else has to suck, I think, just naturally. And that's obviously on display in Arizona and has been for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, think about any quarterback. Like, there's not really anyone on the planet, I feel like, at the quarterback position that can consistently play at a high level if you have a bad offensive line. Like, it's just, there's times you can will your way through games, but eventually it's going to get you, I feel like.
Yeah, and you can obviously draw up plays around a bad offensive line. You can get the ball out quicker. You can do all that type of stuff, but not win. I don't think you win at the big level. At that.
Agree. You can mask. That's what you can do. You can. I mean, there's plenty of plays. I mean, Tom's done it in New England. He's doing a little bit this year, right? Like gets the ball out. But again, that all comes down to understanding the receivers and everybody being on the same page and running routes that get the ball out quicker, everything.
And also defense knows.
Oh, yeah.
So they're sitting, right? Hey, AJ, you guys are just sitting on that shit whenever they know the ball's coming out quick, right? So normally more turnovers for the teams that have to mask the offensive line issue.
Yeah, a lot of tips and overthrows, especially when that ball's coming out quick. D-line get their hands up. You run those little quick slants or whatever. Guys are getting hands on the ball, and you run to the ball. Great things happen. That's when you get turnovers.
I think it was either Mark Sanchez or it might have been Nick Mangold. The Rex Ryan Jets, they weren't good. Rex Ryan comes in. They have an unbelievable O-line. They draft Sanchez in the first round, and then they go to the AFC Championship because of that O-line.
The offensive line matters everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The offensive line is the heart and soul of a football team.
That's right.
And the heart and soul of a football team, I think if you start breaking down some traits of it, incredibly tough and gritty and passionate and driven and emotional, because it is an emotional sport, and you got to be physical out there. There's one coach that introduced himself in a press conference, all of those things combined. If football was a human, it would be this man that we are about to chat with. And he's being judged heavily. And the city in which he coaches for, seemingly cursed for a long time, never able to have success because it's the same old Lions. And I can't wait to hear about what it was or what the moment was that really turned things around. But this man is the coach of the brand new Lions, winning 5 out of the last 6, beating the shit out of teams, putting games away, getting bounces in the middle of games, which never used to happen for the Detroit Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the pride of the brand new Lions, MCDC head coach Dan Campbell.
How's it going?
Hey.
Been a while.
Man, it is awesome to chat with you. You've been in the middle of a lot. I know you heard everything I just said there in the intro, but it was real. Was there ever a moment where you doubted that you were going to get to this part, Because I feel like you're invested all the way in. Your culture now is taking over. Your team is starting to win the games that the Detroit Lions never would have won. Was there ever a moment of doubt? And what do you think it was that really got your team to buy in and really hit this stride that you're in the middle of right now, Coach?
No, I never doubted. I didn't know when it was going to turn, but I knew it would turn. I mean, anybody that's been around this game long enough at this level, which you guys have, Pat, you have, but it'll turn, and you just got to stay consistent with what you do, and you got to understand the tweaks you got to make. And but as far as losing faith, I never lost faith in these coaches or these players. I had to make a few moves, but man, because here's the thing, man, if you don't believe in what you're throwing out there, then they're sure as hell not going to believe it. So. Man, we just stayed true to what we do and what we're about. And the guys, man, they just kept going. I'm telling you, it's a resilient group. And they've been that way since last year. And the young guys we've got have just fallen right in line.
What's it like now that there are some expectations on your program? Like, you guys have built this thing up. People have a lot of hope and a lot of fanfare behind you. Does the message change at all, or how do you keep the guys dialed in?
Yeah, I think that look, man, we're not going to change what we do. I think more than anything, it's easy to say, well, now here you're at, everybody's taking notice. I think more than anything, it's important for all of us, myself, my coaches, these players, across the board, that we all understand this is not because of one person, one coach or one player or anything, man. It's because all of us. And that really is, I think, more than most. That's why we're winning, because we are playing as one, and we're winning with all 3 phases. We're winning with guys that nobody hears about all the time. They just do their job, man. They come through for us in big moments, and that has been our strength. It's always been our strength, and we got to stay true to that, because the minute we start thinking, well, it's me, that's when we're going to have problems. I think as long as we stay on course, we're going to be okay and play pretty good football.
Coach, everybody wants that to happen. The guys you don't know, the role players, they're all doing their job perfectly. On special teams, we're running fake punts on our own 27, on 4th and 7, up 7, and executing it and pulling it off. Every coach wants that to happen. Do you think because you guys are all former players, it gives you a little bit more leeway with the current players? And have you seen a benefit to a player-led coaching staff that you have? Not everybody, but a lot of players coaching on your staff.
Well, first of all, here's what happened on my button, I didn't get it down fast enough, and I was saying don't run it, and Phip heard me say run it, and then before I knew it, it just hit. So it worked out great.
A service issue. That's like that commercial.
Yeah, that's right. Listen, the guys have I think there's, look, it's a small thing, but just kind of going back to what you started with here, man, I think, there's always this, man, you play on offense, you play on defense, man, you're the quarterback, you're the receiver, you're getting, you get these touches, man, I'm the cornerback, I'm a pass rusher, and man, sometimes you forget about all these other guys that do all the grunt work for you. And man, I don't ever want that to be lost on our guys. And for example, man, our special teams unit, that's an unsung group. You don't always get the praise. And man, I want them to know they're very much appreciated. And they're more than just, well, you run down, you cover a kick, you block to get a return. Man, I want them to be weaponized. I mean, I want them to be able to do everything. I want Jack Fox. He can throw it, man. And we'll use him if we feel like it's the best way to win. So, and they take ownership in that and pride in it. And that's how we play.
Hey, that's empowering your players. And there's a lot more people that should probably buy into that. I'm happy you guys are, because you have fans now that are rejuvenated. You have fans now in the middle of December that are sprinting through their backyards, dumping beer all over their face in celebration of massive division rival wins. Foxy has a question for you and a statement, whose life has become so much better because of you and the boys up there. Go ahead, Foxy.
Coach, first and foremost.
What's up, Foxy?
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you, because I am having more fun as a Lions fan than I ever have in my life. And you know what this is like. You know what same old Lions means. And I have a question. What's been the difference? How do we go from losing games at the very last second for years and years and years to all of a sudden, decades. Thank you. And all of a sudden, now we're the brand new Lions, and now we're winning those games, finishing those games, and dominating opponents. What happened?
Well, look, I wish I could put my finger on exactly what it was, but I can't do that. All I know is we stayed the course with what we believe in, and from what I believe deep down in my core, man, the coaches believe in what I believe in, and they got it to the players who believe in the same things we do, and that's why we built the roster the way we did. And I just kind of feel like really over the last year and a half, that it's a little bit like, not that I've ever been in prison, but you're in prison and you're plotting your escape, and you know how it's going to work. You got it all planned out, but there's a certain, man, you got to have patience. There's a certain time for everything to get to where it needs to be for you to make your break. And we made our break, and you got to go through the sewer now to get through there. So you're going through the sewer, but you're going to come out the other end, and you're going to be free, and it's going to be good, and the life you're going to live, and that's kind of where we got to. We're not all the way there yet, but man, we stayed true to what we are, and the guys never wavered. That's the most important thing. We got really good guys on this team. They believed, and they came back every Wednesday and just kept going, man. They just went back to work, and so, listen, there's no magic pill secret. We just kept going.
You guys are in that car right now, huh? Heading to that tree. You guys have figured out a way. Yeah. You guys are on the other side of it. Yeah, yes. I love that. The Dufresne run. Congratulations to the Lions and a brand new Lions.
Yes.
Hey, Foxy's just one of them. We're around him every single day. We're lucky to be around him. He's the reason why we got interested in the Lions like 5 years ago. So we've been paying attention to this team for some time because of Foxy's fanhood. What have the fans been like? I remember, open training camp practice, where it's like, we're going to have a bonfire here, man, and you guys just need to be the gasoline. Yeah, we'll be the kindling. You guys be the gasoline on the fire. How has the relationship been with Lions fans? I assume you're fucking royalty in Detroit right now. And do you even know that? Or are you just locked in the building at all times?
No, look, I'm out enough to know, I guess, when things aren't good and nobody says anything to you, then it's bad. And then when things are good and people are saying stuff to you, then that means it's probably pretty good. But Listen, honestly, through the thick and thin of it, the fans have been outstanding to me and my family, and they've been very supportive. And now I'll get the occasional letter that says, "Hey, coach, next time it's 4th and 6, once you punt," and then it's like, "Dave," and that's it.
Dave,
but
a big fan.
Yeah. Well, not even that. It just says Dave. But anyway, listen, the support's been unbelievable. This place is humming right now. They want to believe, and we said it all along. We're going to give them something to believe in, man, but we wanted to have real substance to it. And Brad and I really felt like the way we were building this was the right way. And we needed youth, but you needed the same guys. You needed the right type of veterans who had been here and had been through some of the rough times to really, you needed them here because they could really appreciate it and understand what it's going to take to get through it. And we've kind of done that. We balanced it. And look, we're on a bit of a run here, but there again, we're not finished.
Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, what's the best thing about being the head coach of the Detroit Lions that maybe you didn't think about before you took that job?
Man, that's a real good question.
Getting bobbleheads made of you? I got a fucking bobblehead of you sent to the office.
We know the salary's good, but
I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. Half my coaches have those in there because I guess they just gave them away to everybody in the building, and so I didn't know what to do with them. They got them hanging up in there. I'm sure it's a lot of so the coaches can motherfuck me and not to my face.
Oh, it's so easy, isn't it? Yeah, we're just that's
yeah. I don't know. That's hard to say. I would say this. I was hopeful, but you didn't know for sure. But I think one of the best things about all this that has just been, I would say, really the fact the reins have been turned over to Brad and myself. Literally, we have full control of what we need to do. The support from Sheila Ford, and then Rod Wood, our president, has been true to form. And you just don't know what that's going to look like. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know how much influence but it's been 100% support, and you guys do whatever it takes to win, and they've never wavered with their support of us. So that's pretty cool. You just don't always know.
Hey, when people put that type of faith in you too and give you that type of freedom, and then you have success with that type of thing, that's setting the precedent forever. So congratulations. There's a lot of people that get handed the ball and they drop it all over the place, and then people have to come in. You guys have crushed it. And like you said beginning, true alphas know when to stand down to another alpha. Seems like you and him have a great relationship, huh? You and Brad? Incredible relationship, still on the same page?
It's unbelievable.
That's huge.
It's unbelievable. It really is. It's been fantastic. And he and I, man, we mesh well together. And I said before, you're not always that fortunate for that to happen. When you get two guys together, they don't know each other. They come from different places. But I mean, it's been great, man. It's been great.
Connor has a quick question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, Motor City Dan Campbell, it's an honor. When you guys drew up that play for Penei Sewell to win the game, what was that conversation like in practice before throwing him the football? And did you say anything to him right before the play when you guys ran it on Sunday?
Well, that was something that's been a long time coming. We've been talking about Penei for a long time. Like, man, we got to throw this guy a ball because he's too good of an athlete. He really is. He's something else. And so it was like, we use our jumbo tight ends quite a bit in general. And it's like, man, why don't we let's get him report eligible and let's get him a ball or get him a couple of throws. And we were going to do some things in the red zone, and they end up being 4 minutes is where we felt like we were going to get a similar style defensive scheme. And so it just felt like, hey, it was the right time. And here's another thing that happened. These things happen during the game, but so we're in that situation, and the fans are doing the wave around the stadium, and so I'm just watching, and I hear Ben Johnson's like, "Hey, Coach, you want to?" And I'm so focused on the wave, and I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And I look up, and we're throwing it to Penei, and I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing?" Coach said it was fine, but it worked out great. It was unbelievable. Listen. We knew it would be wide open. We worked the heck out of it. We've seen him run the reps. We've seen him flip his hips. He's got soft hands. And the only thing the only thing I was worried about that I want to make sure Goff got to him was make sure you stay in bounds. Stay in bounds, stay in bounds. And he was great.
That's good situational football. Sounds like you're building it the right way up there. I like that there's some technical difficulties that are making big-time plays happen for your team. That means the football gods are on your side. Seems like all is going your way. This is the brand new Lions. Thank you so much for catching up with us, man. Congrats on all the success. Can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the season.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Hey, it's all out there right now, Coach. It's all out there right now. You know that. It is. Fucking everything's alive still.
Gotta go get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach.
Yeah, the brand new lines. I'm with you.
Yeah. Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh man, I want a jersey.
So bad.
Yeah.
They should make MCDC
Yes,
jerseys.
they should.
Lifetime contract.
A Saints one or a Lions one?
No. We're talking
Go get one as a
coaching.
player.
Yeah, coach.
Coaching. We want his coaching. We would like a coaching jersey.
Yes.
To be created so we could buy it and support that, man. Don't run it. What are we? I mean, at work, yeah, we're on our own 27. We're up 7. What are we doing? You said run it. Man, I must have. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Don't run it. Yeah, I hear you there, but if you're just a little late, all I heard was run it. And then 42 yards later, first down, third quarter, up 7. Fucking ice this thing, dude.
Unreal.
Look at the corners turn us back and run. I don't know if they had that prepared or knew that was happening. Phipp, incredible special teams coach, formerly at the Eagles. Now he's with the Lions. He was with the Eagles for a long time. Great coach. And then how about Ben Johnson going, wave.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was the best.
It's fine, man. It's fine. Yeah. Whoa, what the fuck, man?
What the fuck are we doing, man?
Now? I didn't know we were using that now.
Unbelievable.
All right, let's take a break. We got to, I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Digest
Yeah,
That was unbelievable.
I
The
fucking
wave is
love
awesome.
the guy. I love him
The
so
wave
much.
is really cool.
He's the best.
Whoa. Man, look at that wave. Pretty fine.
Really
man.
getting into it, man.
Yeah, it's fine, yeah. Holy shit. What are we doing, Ben? I didn't know. I mean, it worked, I guess. Yeah, you little 17 of us just heard you say, yeah, that's fine. I was talking about section 130.
Check him out.
He probably was getting pissed. He probably was spotting a few people that weren't doing it. He was getting pissed.
We need them buy in a
That
little bit.
fucking guy up, man. Got right there, man.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Yeah.
Oh. I was talking to. All right, it worked.
Game over.
Let's fucking take a knee. It's a brand new Lions, bro. Foxy, how about it? Those things going the other way against the old Lions.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Penne drops it.
Dude, he's in the press. Well, I actually didn't even know we were running it. Like, I was talking about something else. That's old Lions.
Yeah.
Fake punt, 27. Well, actually, our microphone system didn't work clear enough. Guy couldn't hear me 10 yards away from me to say, don't run it. He only heard run it. So, obviously, he backed up on your own 27. I didn't want that to happen, and they couldn't hear me if it doesn't work. Instead, brand new Lions hits for 42, first down.
Boom.
Penei Sewell catches that thing like he's a tight end, dives and stays in bounds, and then gets one after the play a little bit, too. Just say, still a dog. What about me? You didn't want to ask a question, Motor City Dan Campbell.
I just wanted to listen to him. I could run through a wall for that guy.
Oh,
I just wanted to sit there and take it all in. That was unbelievable.
Hey, that's a real conversation, though. Like, you're given the freedom and the power to use money and whatever you want to do from the ownership. If they fuck that up, that ownership forever is going to be hands-on.
Yeah.
Forever going to be in there, right? If that just is bad, because we tried to give the power to football people. They had no idea we suck, so now we're involved. So them getting that type of responsibility and having success, I think is huge. Honestly, huge for the future of the Lions as a whole. Not just MCDC's life and Brad's life, but like the Lions as a whole under this regime. Do you agree with that or no?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And he brought up a good point, mentioning that it's been smooth sailing. They get along very well, because you talk to any former head coach, like there's always some kind of issues with the GM, with the front office. Like there's miscommunication, and there's just different belief system on how you should build the roster or what you should be doing. So when you actually get a good one and they get along and they see things the same way, it's gigantic. But we don't really hear about it too much when they don't have a great relationship.
Yeah, it's like if we're ever at an opportunity to sit around the Ohio Fire,
Sure.
and there'll be a guy sitting there who's fucking massive, okay? Massive fucking head, big hands. He'll have 4 patches down here, 4 up here. There'll be a vape here and probably a diesel in this right hand, if we had to guess. And he would go, GM trades our best fucking player. That guy ends up having 2 touchdowns, 156 yards against us. What do you think? Well, we're number 1 seed in the AFC. And then that offseason, best player gets traded to another team. That team dunks on us, and then all of a sudden it's like, our team stars out. You tell me. You tell me. That's the type of thing that happens, though. Retired coaches, there's always something. There's always something they're pissed off about. That's why MCDC thinking, like, going into it, I'm sure a lot of other head coaches have been like, you and the GM got to be on the same page about who, because remember, they're going grocery shopping for you. You got to do the cooking, though, right? And people are judging your food. They're not judging the grocery shopping. Like, just the way those conversations probably went and how it is working out now, let alone ownership in there, all signs are pointing to a good program up in Detroit, it feels like.
Dude, I love what they're doing. I'm telling, and I think what you said too about all the former coaches. I know we loved that preseason watching Hard Knocks, and then they suck for a little bit, and we're like, I don't know if this is great. And now that it's working, that's a recipe for success. I'm telling you.
There were some things we saw in Hard Knocks where we were like, well, I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
Don't
that's interesting.
Don't know if that's going to have as much success or whatever. And look, here they are. And he said these guys just kept showing up on Wednesday, man. Just kept showing up. Just kept showing up. Just kept showing up.
Yeah.
Guy's awesome, bro. Yeah. Foxy, good for you.
I'm so happy. At the beginning of the season, I said give him 10 years, and then we can go lifetime. Just get forever. Let's go forever.
Just set in a salary.
Yeah.
Say, hey, all right, MCDC, will you take $10 million for the next 60 years?
Yep.
Because in 20 years from now, contracts are going to be so much bigger than that.
Ridiculous.
So he would get the sense of security for a lifetime contract. They potentially get a deal 15 years from now.
Yep.
Sounds like the right move.
Who says no?
Just do it. Just
Make
do
it
it
happen.
today.
Fucking do it.
Especially if they go to playoffs.
What if they make the playoffs? Yeah, I'm with you, man. Brand new Lions.
Yeah, why not? We were talking about how important it is to build offensive lines right before they got like the best in the league.
Yeah. Dude. All right, let's get to a break. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Thank you for the time, and thank you to the Detroit PR.
Yes.
For making that happen. You know what I
Thank you,
mean?
Lions.
Let's go.
That's a huge deal. We appreciate them. That's 2 different regimes we've worked with this PR. The Lions PR, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And have pretty good relationships
Correct.
with.
Yep.
They let us in the building door in an airport layover. That was awesome.
They
Just
get it.
walking around.
So awesome.
Foxy, your Red Wings sending you jerseys with your name on it. The Lions are sending us fucking head coach. Man,
The Pistons.
Detroit.
It's been good.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
All because a kid who's a Detroit fan joined this operation and took a 4-week vacation immediately upon starting.
That's right.
Oh, sorry. I got to go. Somebody's got to go golf in Scotland and Ireland. Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody has to.
That's Foxy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost had to
Yeah.
fucking fire this dude immediately. Like, okay, bro. I just retired.
Didn't he tell you when he got the job, hey, I'm taking a 7-month sabbatical?
So sends in his audition reel, which was incredibly well done, edited, obviously. Get to meet him. Super cool dude. Seems like somebody that we could definitely be around on a regular basis, which is a massive part of this whole thing. And he's like, I'll see you like 2 months. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, what?
All right, this guy. But then he started looking around. There wasn't a lot of other people that necessarily fit the bill of what Foxy was. And we, to be honest, I think we forgot Foxy existed there for a bit.
Yeah.
And then when he came back, it was like, oh, fuck, we got a new employee who just so happens to be like the most talented guy. Welcome back. And then he had to win us over. You know, he had to win us back over as a human. I think our trust in him. And he has done exceeding all expectations, I think, in what he's accomplished and done and everything like that. But he's the only reason why we have any type of attention towards Detroit.
True.
And I'm happy we have, because I feel like we've gotten to experience Detroit a little bit. Remember,
Absolutely.
there was a NHL tournament that Detroit, who calls himself Hockey Town, they were not even invited to.
Nope.
That's where we were. Not even invited to the old, like they call themselves Hockey Town, one of the original 6 teams. The NHL had a tournament and was like, sorry, like,
Yeah, not that place.
can't have you in this thing.
Well.
Okay, that happened. That happened. We were there with the
It
people.
doesn't
of
seem right.
It happened. Just telling you this happened. Lions. Oh my God.
So bad.
Just
First team in the league.
running into a wall with their face. Boom. And backing up.
Boom.
And then backing up.
Boom.
And we only saw that for like the past 4 years.
Yeah.
People in Detroit have seen it for like 50.
Oh, yeah. Long time.
That's all they've been experiencing.
It has been a historic decade in how bad Detroit sports have been. We have talked about on this show how the Tigers Pistons, Red Wings, and Lions all had top 3 picks in one season, and it wasn't because of trades.
No, you earned those.
We earned them, so it's been terrible. So that's why this Lions team is so
That's
fucking
why they'll
important.
give any fan that still sticks around anything they want.
Well, I have a funny feeling about the team that sent the uncustom jersey and the team that I may play football for the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
Oh, no.
Decades, maybe.
No, we'll find our own MCDC, won't we, AJ?
Oh, yeah. Jeff's going to interview for it. You think Jeff has a shot?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know how you just turn over a full roster. Like in college, you can just, we don't have to go to a break. We've moved on. We've transitioned.
Yeah.
That's good. Good for us. Look at us. We're a pro show. In college, everybody's going to like, let's dive into this because I was thinking about this weekend because my father-in-law, my wife's dad, for those that don't know what a father-in-law is. Massive IU basketball fan. Always has been. Okay, basketball big in this state. When Bob Knight came and they hung like 3 banners or whatever, it became huge. He's a huge IU basketball fan, huge fan of college basketball as a whole. Was at his house the other day. It was a whole string of college hoops happening, and we started talking about the NIL and the one and dones and everything like that. He's old school, right? Doesn't love this whole, hey, guys just pick up and leave and go. This is not just basketball. This is football. Like, want to build the program. Like, it's, you know, you go to the school because you fucking want to fight for the school. And, like, that's a part of the allure of college sports and everything like that. And as I was talking to him, I started to realize, like, I think he is going to enjoy what's going to take place. Like, I think those teams that have a lot of NIL and one and dones and everything, they're never going to win. Like, I don't think they're going to win the big one. I don't think they're going to win it in football. I don't think they're going to win it in basketball. And I might be wrong already, but I don't think they care enough. Like, I think to win those national championships and to win what's actually real, I think you need dudes that are all in, like, for the cause. Now, I'm not saying you can't have talent. You need talent as well. But I think, like, the NIL and the one and dones and the transfer portals and everything like that are going to expose that style of football, that style of basketball, as not being able to be a winning one, which in the end I think makes, you know, the old school people almost feel better. Like, I think it's going to have an opposite reaction than what everybody, oh, it's going to ruin it all. It's like, no, there's going to be 2 different styles. There's going to be the we develop and build here, and then there's going to be the we transfer, we buy, we get, we go out of the transfer portal. And I believe that the teams that are built are going to be the ones that are going to end up winning. Like, that's what I think personally in all sports. And I think that'll be something that's going to happen over college over the next 10, 15 years. And I think it's going to expose it even more. I might be wrong, but, and I don't know how we got it because you can't just wipe out everybody on the roster, I guess, in the end. In the Colts is how we got here.
Yes.
But in college, that's kind of happening. Like, mass exodus from teams. And then, like, the next year you have a whole 7 new starters out of 11 are coming in. Then the next year, 6 new starters on there on the defensive side of the ball. Like, that's kind of going to start happening. And I think it's going to be good for people that are like, that's ruining. It's like, I think those teams are going to win. I think the build teams are going to win. It just kind of feels like they're a better foundation. I might be wrong. What are your thoughts on that, AJ?
No, I mean, honestly, that's interesting. I was thinking, like, as you're laying it out, it makes sense. I just don't know. I don't know enough about college basketball to know if it would transition there, because in basketball, I feel like if you get one of these, like, top 5 guys in the country, like, one of those dudes sometimes is good enough to help you win a national championship, and he's gone after 1 year.
Is he?
Sometimes that happens.
Do they win that?
I feel like
with Melo.
But then, like, Villanova, right?
That's
they're
a
the
long
team,
time
like,
ago.
they're a team that develops, right? They've won it a few times.
Yeah,
They've been
Gonzaga
good. Like,
too, right?
Kansas State, they just won. They developed.
I think the teams that are going to win are going to be the built. Now, granted, basketball, because it's only 5, you only need what? You get 3.
Yeah,
right.
You get 3 great players, which could happen. I think Kentucky did that,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's what I think your point
You
about
get
the
2 studs.
NIL. Like, Kentucky, when they were getting, you know, those guys were all one and done, but they weren't getting the NIL deals. I mean, you can say whatever about, you know, Calipari, like, paying guys, but they would have, you know, 6 of the top 15 players in the nation. They win a national title. But now, if you're getting those same guys and they're making $1 million on top of it, like, it would be a lot harder to be like, okay, well, I'm making this money and then I'm going to the league next year. Like, who gives a shit if we win a national championship this year?
AQ, what are your thoughts on this? You're a super old school minded guy. Would love to hear your thoughts on the NIL transfer portal. And I guess basketball I shouldn't be talking about, but I just feel like the teams that
I think it's valid. I think it's valid. Like, I think you might be onto something.
Like, I think you need investment.
Yes.
Because when it's nut cutting time, like, I think you need to have
guys
those
that have been through it together too. They've been through it together in games, in the off-season workouts. They've done it. Like, they rely on that, and that's how they know, like, hey, I can count on this dude. Like, I know he's going to be there.
They've had their hearts broken in some game, and instead of just getting up and leaving, they face it, they stare it down, they get better, they work, they bounce back. Like, I just think that is a championship pedigree, and I think that'll take place. And obviously, we have strayed mightily from a convo, but what are your thoughts on that, AQ?
My biggest concern moving forward with this transfer portal is that
in his cowboy hat.
In my cowboy hat.
Well, it's mine.
And your cowboy hat on my head.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn
You
it.
look good on it, though. Yeah, you do.
How much you bench, AQ?
Well, his arms.
850.
Nothing anymore. My shoulders,
go to Fight Club?
are shot. No, I haven't been in a while.
It's because Jay was in Qatar. You didn't want to go without
Been
Jay?
real busy, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of kids, a lot of football.
Yeah.
You're doing the content game, Bobbit Exchange, in the trenches.
Playing any golf out there?
No, I haven't done that much
Just
either.
in his backyard.
Yeah, bullshit.
I'm just playing dad and
You live in Arizona.
watching film.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, you got
There
a
it
transfer
is.
portal.
Yeah, my biggest concern is, like, for instance, I'll just throw a member of the best team in the NFL, Miles Sanders, right? Didn't play till his junior year. You would have never saw him play he would have transferred in today's day and age. That's my biggest concern, is that you don't win a starting job as a freshman, which I think there's something to a redshirt year, developing, getting better in a system, learning something freshman, sophomore year. Now you to play your junior, senior year, and you become a stud, right? But my biggest concern moving forward is that these guys don't win this job right away, and boom, we're in the transfer portal. There's fucking over 1,000 people in the transfer portal now.
Not a lot of schools. 130.
Like, it's crazy. Like, that's absolutely crazy. Okay, cool. You go in there. How about this? How about this fucking idea? This is a pretty novel concept.
Here we go.
You don't win it as a freshman, so you work your ass off, and you come back and you win it the next year. Holy shit.
That is something, isn't it?
That is something.
That's reaping what you sow, is what they say. What do you have,
To
Tom?
his point, I saw a stat the other day. They did. They kept track of guys that entered the transfer portal. Like 49% of them that entered the transfer portal either had to go down a level, or they didn't because they didn't get a scholarship at D1, or they just didn't.
And I understand if you feel like you're not going to have an opportunity and you don't want to waste your years of trying to become an NFL guy or whatever the case is. I understand that there's also that side of the coin. I think foundation building is a big part of it for a lot of us. Because a lot of us have been through some shit, and then we come back on the other side of it better, mentally better, tougher, tested, battle ready almost, and it makes us better, and, we go on with the rest of our life. But there's also something, too, like a guy clearly acknowledging that he's not going to have an opportunity to play and trying to make the most of his age and his eligibility somewhere. So I think it's a fine balance. But I was thinking about this the other day. If you're just able to, like, if I could just transfer to Hawaii, I'm the type of guy, like, oh, let's go see what college is like.
Yes.
Like, if that's something, like, oh, what's college like in California? Oh, they have legal weed over there? Okay, I'm going to go see what college is like in Oregon or in Washington. Like, I think there's a lot of that, too, where guys are like, oh, this was fun. Now I could just get a scholarship to go to another school and do that. I can do that. I don't know how good that is to build a professional athlete, but I think there is – a lot of that potentially happening as well.
Well, and for grad transfers, I think it makes sense. But also, if you look at it, how many of these guys are actually going to end up going and playing in the NFL? So they're not prioritizing school either, because a lot of times with credits transferring and shit like that, it's like if
nobody prioritizes school.
No, absolutely. But I'm saying a lot of these guys are not going to play in the NFL.
Okay,
period.
gotcha.
So it's like. So what? Then now this guy's going to transfer to 3 different places, and he's not going to get a degree either, or he's just going to be in college forever. It's like, well, you're fucking that kid over for, and they're just letting him do it because it used to be you transfer and you have to sit out a year. Now it's like it's open season. That's not a thing anymore. So it's like, hey, you don't like your situation? Well, you don't have to sit out a year. You can just go somewhere else, and if that doesn't work out, you can go somewhere else again.
Hey, what's the gimmick? It's not really a gimmick. It kind of is, of the schools being like, no, those credits aren't good. That school for our school. You actually got to pay for another 10 hours.
They're staying on their high horse. They want money, and they're staying on their high horse to tell you, hey, your school's not good enough. Doesn't match up with ours.
I know. So that, I guess, is something that is not being accounted for in the whole thing. But it's going to be tough to tell any of those guys that they're not going to the NFL.
For sure.
Remember, every single guy
for sure
is going to the NFL. AJ, every guy who's going to the NFL that I talked to, and that they're being sold, that's their vision. That's the dream. That's what they're being told. That is everything. So it's like, what is my best path to the NFL and money is, I think, what a lot of people think. This school thing never – remember, I took a tour of the law school, and the dean said, you're never going to be able to do this while you do football. So I'll give you a tour of the place, but like, there's no chance you'll be able to do this because of how time-consuming football is and everything like that. That's why I think there should be a life degree that guys can get. Taxes, networking, learning, mortgages, the ins and outs. Learning also how to maybe social media, even though there's a social media degree. That's good.
Teams are doing that now, though. Teams have like these football teams, at least, where they get together once a week or once every couple of weeks, and they bring people in. They try to teach them how to be a real human once you're out of here and you're not being taken care of every second of the day.
Nobody listens.
No,
nobody listens to that.
It's because it's on a Tuesday.
Any of those.
Yeah, it's at the end of the day.
It's on a Tuesday. Whenever rookies all come in on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. on my day off. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and I remember telling the
can't
NFL,
wait to go see. What they got to do on days
Frank
off.
Luntz. Joe Schmo.
Absolutely. But it's real. Like they do offer all these things, but if you just think about the humans have
like the symposium. Who needs to hear all that stuff is not hearing it, and it's just how it goes.
Yeah, but they have to cover their ass and say they said all those things.
I get it. They should do it. The symposium, they definitely try to teach you how to handle yourself.
Yeah, I think so.
It's tough to stay awake for 3 straight days in there, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then you're getting yelled at the end of it for being a bad teammate already.
Can't leave the hotel. At least when I was there, we couldn't leave.
Yeah, we could not leave. Did we try?
I don't know.
That would be something to me and...
We were at the same. We were at the same place.
That's
did we leave?
I would assume that is something me and old AQ would have attempted to do if we were there together, which we definitely were. I don't know how you teach people stuff. Honestly, if you don't want to listen, it's going to be impossible.
Well, and
they have to want to listen. They have to at least ask you or want, hey, how do I handle this? What should I do? Then you can help.
Yeah, and I'm a massive I'm part of the problem too, because we're in the NFLPA is doing a presentation or whatever about managing your money to last for the rest of your life and everything like that. And I'm like, I actually asked, how come you guys never bring up us making more money after we retire than we do in the NFL? And obviously, that question is not one that they want to hear in the middle of a conversation, an education course about guys not getting too confident about the amount of money they have and not wasting it or anything like that. And they're like, obviously there's outlier situations where that takes place. We're just trying to take care of everybody. I'm like, well, it seems a little negative. I feel like we should be talking about guys making money for the rest of our lives as opposed to everybody going broke, and maybe that'll just change some things and everything. They're like, well, stats say 80% of guys go broke. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And I'm in the middle.
Start with that.
I'm in the middle of this bickering match with this guy who's trying to give I just completely fucking cut him down.
Cut him down at the knees. Yeah.
You know what I mean? 100% my fault. I feel like a terrible person looking back, but it is nobody in there was going to listen to that. Nobody. The people that are thinking about that long term already are way mature than obviously I was or anybody else was in the room. They already know all this shit. And anybody that isn't going to do this long term, why are we here? Tell me about me making more money, bub, than about me making less money, and then we'll talk about it. It's they got no hope with that whole thing. But I think a life degree that could transfer for professional athletes is not just football, basketball, women's basketball. I mean, God knows, with everything that just happened with fucking Brittany Griner, there should be some sort of world, hey, this was happening in the world. I think that could be a degree in of itself that people would hold in high regards too, because if you're able to be a D1 athlete and you're able to get that degree, because a lot of people view college education as just committing to something for 4 years and finishing it, right? It doesn't really matter what the major is. You just proved that you'll sign up for something, you'll stick with something, and you'll accomplish something. That's what a degree means for some people who do the hiring, right? And obviously there's doctors, lawyers that have specialized fields, and you have to have that. But if there was some sort of life degree, especially with the transfer portal that every school would be able to offer, I think, the humans coming out of football better and out of these sports better. I think it would make it a lot more efficient, and I think people would care more about their education as opposed to watching a 1920s black and white silent movie for 3 hours on a Thursday night. There's no chance I'm going to that class. 0 chance I'm going to that class. And it's why don't we make it something that's worth it? But then there'll be a conversation about the whole fucking education system.
Yeah, and I guess that's the biggest problem is ultimately the NCAA doesn't give a shit, because if they did, then they would make sure that 1,000 kids weren't going in, and 750 of these kids who think they're going in the NFL who are playing at a mid-major school, and then all of a sudden it's I'm gonna have to go play D2. I'm not gonna. I guess I'm not going to the NFL. And then now I really fucked up my college experience.
Yeah, I was at a much better school.
Exactly.
Just a second ago.
But the NCAA, if the NCAA doesn't give a shit, it's never gonna change, and they don't. So.
All right, let's get to a break. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday after a bye week is on the other side. I'm not even going to bring up college to him.
No.
Okay, we don't need to dive into that.
No education.
I'm sure he has thoughts. I'm sure he has thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
people going into crippling debt for the rest of their lives because of something that they'll never be able to make a salary enough to get themselves out of debt. Seems like a bit of a.
You think you'd have a take on that?
He had that professor at Cal who basically said, like, you're never going to play in the NFL.
Cal, good school, right?
Oh yeah, very much
Watch
so.
me. Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'm the right person to be speaking about it, but I think they should think about being progressive about it all and say, like, hey, here's a life major.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, well, especially with like cell phone, like the traditional education doesn't really encapsulate all the other types of jobs out there, like cryptocurrency. What are they teaching about crypto?
Well, who's teaching it then?
Exactly, that's what I mean. There's different.
Yeah.
That's something we can.
I heard a
hear
guy who was
about.
doing a lot of panels. I heard there's a guy doing a lot of panels on that whole thing.
Get into this now.
But it is let other students apply for it as well, not just athletes. Hey, but I think it should be available. A lot of people have no idea what the fuck's going on in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Teach them about the debt they're going into for the
Nobody
rest of
knows.
Wish I knew about that.
You're out. You should be out of it now. If not, you need to stop buying sunglasses.
But I still wish I knew.
Oh, yeah, I'll give you a little fucking life lesson right over here. Grab a chair. Let's dive in. I learned a lot.
I thought you were going to say grab basketball.
It is being reported now in my ear. MCDC obviously joking about the fake punt in the Penn State. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever the case, hilarious. Yeah. Love the man even more.
Great story.
Yeah, great story.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it going.
Makes me think he's even smarter.
Well, and also trying to give credit to his FIP
Yeah.
and Ben
That's
Johnson.
what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
that's chess type coaching. If it's not real, he's trying to give credit to
Leadership.
other people.
It's
Yeah.
good leadership right there.
Yeah,
Great
exactly.
He's just big meathead guy.
Yeah, yeah. Just big meathead guy who gnaws kneecaps.
Yep.
Yeah, trying to disperse credit to
Exactly.
others.
Yep.
Playing big dumb doofus in room. Love the play. Love him even more.
Yes.
Cannot wait for the other side of this break where Aaron Rodgers Tuesday will be back after a bye week. First time in the history of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
That's right.
That there has been a bye week. Because the last two bye weeks that happened during Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays, he was in house arrest.
That's right.
Because he was immunized, but he was not vaccinated.
Correct.
Difference.
Where did he go? What did he learn? Looked good. They had him back on the practice field. A couple videos.
Smiling.
Looked like he was smiling. Looked like he was in great shape. Ball was coming out.
Sniffing.
Thumb was not wrapped.
No, relax.
Wow.
Here we
Oh,
go.
Wade got it.
Maybe
Here
not
we
dead
go.
yet.
Be a friend, tell a friend. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is back on the other side of this 5-minute break. Take 5.
I feel really good. Like my body feels fresh, my mind clear. Like I'm gonna go do it tonight, I think, you know? Like I'm gonna go do it.
77,899 people going bananas. I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep last night. I thought that I'd wake up with high anxiety. That is not the case at all. I am so ready to get out there and do what I was put on this earth to do. I'll be walking out of that thing.
This is a big night because 11 years ago tonight, I had my match with Jerry Lawler wrestling.
Come on!
Broadcast colleagues, same night, 11 years apart, could become the first undefeated broadcast team in the history of WWE wrestling.
Not could. We will be.
Only two superstars have actually commentated on the same WrestleMania that they had a match on. Pat McAfee joins that club tonight.
Pontius is in and Party Boy's here.
Pontius is here.
Party Boy is in WrestleMania. Pontius' cheeks are out in WrestleMania. Now he's putting that thing up on Sami Zayn. I would like to say that that's the first time I've seen Pontius' ass, but that is not the case. Hey, look it. Weeman's here. Punches and bunches from Weeman. Weeman's so angry. Oh, look at this. Body slam. Weeman body slamming Sami Zayn. Weeman used to kick himself in the face. Are you kidding me? Now he's body slamming Sami Zayn.
You know, I've walked out that ramp into this setting probably 10 million times in my mind. There was a time where every time I walked out of a door, I was acting as if I was walking into a WWE arena. So tonight, whenever I feel that energy, just hoping that I don't have a heart attack immediately. I'm hoping that I don't get too gassed, and I'm hoping I put on a damn good show because I've been thinking about this for 23 years. Let's walk the grill and do this thing, huh? I'm prepared, I'm ready, I'm excited.
Hey, who do you want to see tonight?
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
Up over the top. McAfee with a spinning elbow. Moment. There he's in trouble. Hurricane up here. And McAfee driving Theory landing on the announce table. Theory bouncing off the announce table, and Pat McAfee's beating the hell out of Austin Theory. Tim and Sally McAfee watching their kid beat the hell out of a douchebag. You remember this? Oh, a little payback from Friday night. Get him, Pat. Hope these pals get it. McAfee lands on his feet. Austin Theory not sure what to do. Holy moly! I'm a sick for the brand. And so is this superplex. The finishing maneuver. The A-Town down for Austin Theory. He hits this, it's over. McAfee rolls him up. Shoulders are down. Does he have him? He does. McAfee wins. Dreams come true! Believe it, Michael! Your broadcast partner has earned himself a WrestleMania moment! I can't believe it! This is absolutely incredible! Yes, Pat! Yes! McMahon gets his own. Oh my God! What did he stop it? Oh, from behind! What the hell's going on? Are you kidding me? Wait, get yourself the shot. McAfee beat his little punk. Oh, yeah, to add insult.
I dreamt of being Steve Austin. I dreamt of being in a building when that glass breaks and all of a sudden the toughest son of a bitch on earth comes out. The fact that I never got to see it as a kid, then I get to watch his last match live, it was awesome. I got beer in my ears. Like, it feels like I got water in my ears. I got beer in both of my ears. But I just had the incredible opportunity and honor to chug beers with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Have a WrestleMania match that Vince McMahon was a part of. I'm living on cloud 50 right now, dude. This is sweet. What a day, what a dream, what a life. Now I'm gonna have a couple more Steve Weisers. What? Maybe a little whiskey. What? Maybe some carbs, because I've been ketoing for 4 weeks. What? I fucking did it.
What? Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it. AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it! What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 13th, 2022, Hour 3 starts right No!
Football!
Just wrapped up week 14 of the NFL season, and obviously there are teams that have been eliminated. There are teams that have hope, and there are teams that are seemingly on a run of destiny, and we will cover it for the next 4 weeks of the regular season. Let's remember there's not a lot of games left. Let's enjoy them all. Speaking of enjoying them all, how about enjoying all that encompass the Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt? One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys, Ton Diggs. Host of In the Trenches and Bobbit Exchange, Super Bowl champion, coach, and player in the NFL at 12 years, AQ Shipley.
AQ.
He's been skipping fight camp.
Yeah,
That's not good.
Don't love that. Puts cap on, kind of brings him back to a little bit of an authority. Skipping Fight Club. Jay Glazer's going to knock you out.
Yeah, take the hat off.
Are you a little bit worried that you step back into that fight camp in that rich dude's basement and Jay Glazer's fresh out of Qatar and beating COVID?
Yeah.
Boom.
Guess what, AQ? I got another one fucking coming for you.
COVID
Gotta protect that chin.
COVID got him.
Knock your ass
It's going
out,
to take him a
bitch.
couple weeks to get back.
No, you haven't been there for a couple weeks. Jay Glazer's going to knock you the fuck out if you don't watch yourself.
Day one.
1, 2.
A man that has never been knocked out, a guy who is the face of Ohio, the greatest jawline in sports, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, NBA pundit, video game community shit stirrer, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk is here. And joining us now is a man fresh off of bye week, quarterback of a team that has 66% chance of making the playoffs. That is what some calculations have. 132 different simulations allegedly, 66% chance still in there. Need Seattle to lose, I guess, on Thursday night for all of them to work out. But if that takes place, this team's still very much alive. This team still has all of the weapons that could go on around. This team has had success in the past, and this man is the back-to-back MVP of the NFL, number 12 for the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron!
What's up, buddy?
And we're back.
How was bye week, dude?
Here we go. Get the internet going. I think we're good now.
Hey, man. How was bye week? You look great. You look happy. How was it?
Yeah, thanks. It was refreshing. It was great. You know, we got to get out early and had a light day yesterday, really a travel day. Today was an easy day. We're going with today is a Monday type schedule, so you know, just was in there putting in the work today.
Hell yeah!
And just got home in time to sit with you guys.
What you do? You do some ayahuasca down in South America, Central America? Did you travel to Europe, get a new tattoo? Did you go to any of the other places that you're alleged to going this past a cave? I think I heard in the
That's right.
in the off season you were part. Did you do any of that, or was it just get away, escape for a little bit?
What did I do in the offseason? What was the last thing?
Somebody said, well, there's a lot of things. We could say more, but we will just stop with this one. You were in a cave for 8 days, allegedly.
Yeah,
right?
spelunking.
Yeah, you were splunking in a cave for 8 days, tripping your face off. You remember?
In the pure dark. In the pure darkness.
Yeah, that was it. I
light.
heard that's what you did in the off season. That was a report. You didn't do that?
No, but it sounds fun.
I didn't think so. I thought really. I was like, man, this guy's mentally tougher than me. He's going with no light in a fucking cave for 8 days. Hope he figures out whatever he's trying to figure out in there. You were not in a cave. You not do ayahuasca. You just got away. Put the phone down. Just kind of.
I just got away. I got off the grid. Went to the beach, worked on my tan, and wore a lot of tank tops, which I don't know if you're wearing one today, but.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, showed off my belly button a little bit and had a good time.
Oh, nice. I'm happy to hear that. Go ahead,
Sounds
AJ.
Hey, I was just wondering, this is not really a football question, but are you scared of dying? I'm just curious, after your ayahuasca trip, did you confront your death? Like, does it make you feel better about dying?
Great question.
I don't know where that question came from. Have you been sitting on that for weeks or something? Well, first, let me...
Like 2 minutes before this.
Yeah.
Full transparency.
It's actually a great question. I had a major fear of death. I don't know if any of you guys felt this way, but kind of our age group. But there was and maybe it's just the way I grew up, but there was a lot of weird sentiment around Y2K. Remember that? The world was going to end, and I don't know. For me personally, since I was like a young teenager, I was like, man, if the world ends and I'm 16, like I'm not going to be able to accomplish anything I want to accomplish. I'm not going to go to the NFL. I'm not going to go to college. I'm not going to, meet a woman, fall in love, have kids, have a family, all these things. I think there was like this weird ingrained like fear of like 2000 and fear of like the world ending and death. And I think we all struggle with mortality, with the idea of mortality, especially, age. You got all those kids running around and want to see your kids grow up and have, walk your daughter down the aisle and see your boys grow up and, have great high school careers in Centerville and go on and be great Ohioans. So yeah, I definitely had a fear of death, and ayahuasca and psilocybin actually really helped me with that and alleviated a lot of the stress around the idea of needing to accomplish things before I actually die, and kind of taken away some of that fear. I think when you've seen the other side, it makes the idea of death more of a passage and less of an ending, more of just kind of the next chapter of life. To that extent, I know, Age, you really got to be close to this guy coming
Hold
on
on.
the podcast.
Did you just say ayahuasca makes you see the other side? Like you just said you saw death? Is that what I just heard there?
You definitely see the other side, yeah.
What's it look like?
I guess I could change you. I guess if you.
Well, I'm not talking about life and death. I'm talking about the veil between the seen world and the unseen world.
That's sweet, dude. You
But
just fucking
I was
drink
gonna
a
go
tea
in-
and that happens? That's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to go into a little bit of a tribute to a guy that I unfortunately only got to know a little bit. Feel like I knew a lot about him because I played with Graham Harrell. And Age, he was on your podcast a bunch, but I was definitely saddened to hear about Mike Leach's passing this morning. One of the greatest interview participants of all time, and obviously, revolutionized the college game and had a big impact on so many players' lives. You talked to a lot of guys that played for him, the Graham Harrells and all the guys from Texas Tech, and Mike Smith, who was coach for us, and Amendola and Walt Welker and those guys. They all, loved him and had a great time. And so it's a sad day for college football.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, too. I think at the beginning I thought the reports were just being ridiculous. Like, Mike Leach was just coaching a couple weeks ago. Mike Leach was being Mike Leach just a couple weeks ago. Seemingly life just being very normal. And you look at his age, I think he's 61 or whatever. So when the reports are coming out like need prayers, we're like, all right, what's going on? And then he reportedly passed away this morning. It's like, man, this is bananas. A guy who has committed a large portion of his life to our sport, to football, a character, a personality, a man who I was just starting to learn about more as I was diving into college football and the world itself of college football. Yeah, rest in peace to Mike Leach. What a fucking legendary quote. To your point about interviews, like, love anybody that is themselves and doesn't take just the robotic path. I think that's why we've enjoyed getting to know about you a lot. He's certainly in that vein. I think he was a professor for a while too, AJ. I think this guy was a professor and everything. I don't know how he managed to do everything. One of the most interesting people of all time passed away.
Got his law degree, right? A-Rod, did you ever what he implemented in football, that's like snuck its way into the NFL a little bit, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it kind of went all over. He was, his air raid attack. We played against him in college in 2004 in a bowl game, and I just remember marveling at kind of the offensive line splits and then the tempo and the vertical passing game, short passing game, and talking to Graham over the years, the simplicity of it. I think it was a genius that they were able to run a number of different plays quickly, concepts that they knew, that they practiced, that they could run against any different coverage. And Mike, you'd watch him on the sidelines. He had like a little, looked like a 4x6 little index card he was calling plays on sometimes. I think he just knew the system so well and had such a good feel for the game. And obviously had a lot of success at Tech and went to Washington State, had a lot of success there in Pullman. And then obviously down at Mississippi State, they just won the
Egg Bowl.
The Egg Bowl, and I think they finished 8-4 and another successful season. So really disappointing for him and his family, and all. I'm sure all the players, the majority of the players that played for him, have nothing but fun memories. I heard about a lot of them from Graham over the years.
Yeah, Graham, I mean, he's on his way of being the next big-time college coach, too. Mm-hmm. I'd assume at some point with his big brain. I think that's the thing that doesn't get talked about with people that have, different personalities. The level of intelligence on said human, even though he only has 4 sheets and he dresses kind of sloppy or whatever, and he kind of makes metaphors to send his message in a different fashion. Massive brain. The world lost a good one. Rest in peace. And also, you done good. Yeah. You done good, Coach Leach. You done good. It seems like you gave back, and the people will remember you forever. Let's talk about you. quarterback of the program that has the most wins in NFL history or whatever after the big win against the Bears. Didn't get a chance to chat with you after the rivalry dub. This season hasn't had a lot of those moments. Was excited to chat with you last Tuesday. Take the bye week in. Now here we are back in the end of the season, still in it, still ahead of you. What did you take away from that Bears win? And is it still something that's special? And afterwards, you said, you don't know how many more of these you have. So was that just about rivalry games, big-time games with Chicago, or games as a whole, Aaron Rodgers?
That's about 8 different questions, so I'm trying to figure out which one I want to attack first there. You're really becoming a media personality there, Pat. All that work on game day is paying off for you, but
really?
It's always fun being the
shot. I feel like that was a shot. I do feel like that was a shot.
Not at all. But
yeah, seems like it.
Always fun beating Chicago. Always fun winning in Soldier Field. Good comeback for us. Fourth quarter, we played winning football. I think that the thing that feels good is being able to play meaningful games in December. It's been obviously a difficult season, frustrating. But the fact that, we're now in the mid-December and we have meaningful games coming up is great. Obviously, we need some help from some teams and have to win out. But, there's a lot that can change in a week. And if the momentum can start to go in our favor and we can stack a couple of these in a row, you never know what can happen. And that's exciting. But as far as I said after the game, it's fun when I got to the rivalry, obviously with this 16 years of Brett, they closed the gap on the all-time series. But, to be a part of such a historic rivalry, to switch the all-time rivalry in our favor now plus 10, I believe, in the all-time win-loss against them, and to be, one up in the all-time wins is pretty cool as well. So a lot of milestones last Sunday.
All right, cool. Ty, your question for Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, Pat mentioned, also happy belated birthday. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hell yeah.
So when you're looking at things and again, Pat mentioned it, with hey, it could be the last time I'm doing this or whatever. Will you stop dicking around with me because it's tough, year in, year out thinking, hey, I don't know how many more games I'm going to be able to watch this guy. But also, do you feel like kind of a renewed sense of energy coming back from the bye week? And does it feel like in the locker room, like everyone does realize, like, hey, we still have a lot to play for here?
I think so. I think everybody felt a little bit more up last week before the Bears game. And then, we went out, had a good performance. And then getting a bye week and be able to get away, and the fact that we didn't have to do practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or any nonsense like that was nice. And there was real good energy in there today. I mean, we realized, listen, we had a lot to play for, but we also need some help. We can't control that part, but we got 3 out of 4 at home, and we obviously always expect to win our home games, and definitely expect to win once the weather turns. So, get this one, and then got a warm weather game in Miami, and then things could start to get interesting.
Oh, humidity.
Hey, what'd you think of Baker stepping in on 2 days' notice and getting that team a win and having it was a meaningful moment for him. It was fun to watch. Like, how tough is that for someone that doesn't understand what's going on with an offense?
I would say it's definitely easier for a guy who's played football, played meaningful snaps and started. However, I was thinking, I don't think that he's been in this system before. So that must have been really difficult, because everybody had the same types of plays. Certain teams, like I feel like we were in the 2010s, where there's certain teams that are the copy teams where you're running different plays and teams start copying you, and then those plays go around the league. So everybody runs like the same type of plays, but the terminology is so different, and I'm just guessing that he's never been in this type of terminology before. So that makes the win even more impressive. So a lot of credit to him coming in on a Tuesday and then starting, or didn't start, but he played the majority of the game on Thursday. That's pretty impressive.
Was that what it was like when LaFleur got there? Was it terminology system? What was the toughest thing? The terminology?
Definitely terminology. He let me keep the cadence, so that was nice. But But the terminology, and it wasn't like we were running, a bunch of new concepts. Conceptually, it's a very similar league, on offense and defense and teams. They're just different adjustments. We do a lot with our splits, So back in the day, we only had a couple different splits. Now there's, a bunch of different types of splits for receivers: inside the numbers, on the numbers, outside edge, top of the numbers, +1, +2, +3, blah blah blah. All these different condensed formations that we run. That was the biggest difference, to pair the condensed formations and the motions with the new terminology. But when it comes to plays, plays are still plays, and a lot of them based on the intermixing of some of these systems. A lot of the actually terms kind of stay the same in offenses.
So I wonder, does Baker just do flashcards there, and then when he's in the moment, he just has to remember what the flashcard said, as opposed to the previous 4 or 5 years of his career? That's a tough thing to, especially in a 2-minute situation. Something's happening. I think they said they were actually just giving out numbers to the receivers to run routes like backyard football. Is that normal? Does that ever happen anymore, or is that something that's more old school?
I think you got to look at that game as an outlier for the fact that Baker played, the fact that they had to score twice in the fourth quarter to win. They went on a 90-some yard drive to win the game. Yeah. Pretty impressive. I mean, you gotta give him credit and Sean for making that work. And but when it comes down to it, you look at the last play, and that's honestly the only play I saw was the highlight. Raiders played man coverage and dropped a weak side safety in. He threw a go route on the backside. A go route is a go route in the NFL. So, I mean, there's some plays, and honestly, in 2019, there were times in certain games we had new concepts where you kind of go back to one or two thoughts you had in the beginning, and I know that, back then I knew that Devontae was over here and running this tag route, so I'm going to hope he wins, and I know for sure what he's doing, and maybe just figure out the rest as it comes in the vision.
So I know you've potentially been, off the grid and on the beach and everything like that. Have you seen your old buddy Devontae? He's been on quite a fucking tear as of late. He is seemingly all the way back to pace. Do you think learning a new offense was something for him? Do you think just getting comfortable over there? And do you keep up with Devontae at all this season?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we talk weekly. And I mean, I'm not surprised. He's the best receiver in the league. So at some point it's gonna happen for him. He should be the focus of every defense that he plays against. And it's just a matter of, I think at times calling plays for him and giving him the opportunities. But if he gets his targets and he gets to run his routes, he's going to put up numbers.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's guarding, who's throwing it to him, or who they're playing against.
Yeah, there's a lot of stats that came out about how many targets he had playing alongside you and then this past week, and it's certainly been an adjustment period. Who knows what the future looks like over there?
Yeah.
Who knows what the future looks like over there in Vegas? Tone has a question for you, Aaron.
Aaron, we just had an awesome Christmas party last night, and I know you didn't host for Thanksgiving. What's the Packers situation for Christmas party? Do you do Secret Santa, White Elephant? Did you spend a lot of your bye week getting O-line presents? What's the situation over there with the Packers?
I feel like I got the O-line figured out for presents this year. Kind of let them weigh in on some of the things they wanted. Also have a couple other surprises. But AJ remembers there's a big time all kind of employee Christmas party that AJ would kind of drink himself silly and then let Laura drive him home after that. There were a couple times he was real sloppy, and it didn't really reflect well on him or the organization, but luckily, Green Bay is the drunkest state in the union, so I don't think he was, he was worse off. But thankfully, all designated drivers for
smart. That's considerate.
That's smart. Smart. Important. Very important.
It's a real lively party. Yeah.
Yes, real lively party. AJ and I went to when it was back at the casino. And that was a lot of fun.
Hold on,
You've been there, Pat?
Yeah, I've been. Hey, that's a giving casino. I've won every time I've been in there.
Then why don't you come back?
Man, not a lot of casinos think like that. I appreciate them zooming out and looking at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? When I go back to Green Bay, I'm sliding through that casino every single time. You go to Pittsburgh, you're losing 500 to 1,000 as soon as you get to that casino.
time.
Not a single smile walking out of the Rivers Casino in Pittsburgh. That Oneida one, negative 12 degrees or whatever. People, hey, have a good time, you know. It was amazing. I love that place. I absolutely enjoy it. The gifts, though.
I find that little voice you just did very offensive to the people.
I would like to let them know I'm sorry, don't you know? I am, honestly. I don't even know if that's a good one. I apologize. But I've had great experiences over there in Wisconsin every time I've been there. This is a big camaraderie, like, displaying time of year, though, for teammates. I'm excited to see what you get the offensive lineman. You said you have it already figured out. Did you focus on that during a bye week, or is it something that's like a year-long process of playing? Because everybody judges it. Right? Every media member judges what every quarterback gets the offensive line. It's become a thing now, what it is. So a lot of pressure, dude. Good luck, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks so much.
No problem. We're in judge.
To answer your question there, Tone, we do have a gift exchange between the line and the quarterbacks. We have something in our room that we do as well. So there's a lot of gifts to be bought and delivered, and I always do a little something for the coaches as well, and for some of the support staff too. So.
You're a good person, good teammate. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Aaron, I'd love to ask you about Sam Bankman-Fried, but we'll save that for another day. What are your thoughts on Brock Purdy? Because there was that conversation about how simple offenses are now. Are you surprised that he could just step right in and kind of get the job done, or is that just kind of how Shanahan's offense is built?
Well, I think he's a fantastic play caller and coach. Obviously, he's been able to get it done with 3 different guys this year, starting with the young kid who got hurt, unfortunately.
That's right.
And then obviously Jimmy, been in the offense for a while, and now this kid. We saw him in preseason. He took him down on the drive towards the end of the game and was very effective. Liked the way that he was moving around and playing. Obviously, he's probably got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, being Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. But obviously he can play some football. So he had a nice game. They've been playing well. The Niners, they got a great defense. But him and the offense definitely did their part on Sunday.
All right, Aaron. Well, good luck this week at home. Here we go. Let's enjoy the hell out of this thing against the Rams. It's going to be chilly, huh? We cold in Wisconsin. It's getting cold here in Indiana. It's getting cold.
How's your thumb feel?
Oh yeah. I think we got a high of about 6 and a low in the minuses.
Didn't see the tape on it, to AJ's question. Didn't see tape on the thumb in that one, Green Bay Packers Twitter account. Put out 2. You look real cool in the one, and then the other one, you did like a slow-mo throw. Oh, it was coming out. Hey. Oh, that thing was spinning.
Humming.
No tape on the thumb, though. We all right there? How about the oblique or whatever?
The thumb is doing a lot better.
That's good.
It was nice to have that week off. The ribs are doing better too. I was able to finally start getting some sleep. Oh, here we go. We got the slow.
Oh, man, dude, huh? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Smooth. Spin that thing.
Yeah, but my body's feeling a lot better. I felt. Look, nobody wants a week 14 bye. Nobody does, but it always feels good coming back after the bye, whether you're 21 or whatever the hell old I am now. It's nice to get that week off.
Happy birthday, 39, I believe, or maybe 38, not 100% sure. What are your thoughts on bye week? You just said week 14 is a little late. There's guys getting them in, week 4?
Yeah.
There's bye weeks coming like week 4. How do you think those should be dispersed later if you were in charge of the NFL? What are some changes you'd make there?
I'd probably go 2 bye weeks, honestly.
Smart.
Go 2 bye weeks, eliminate one. If you're going to go 17, go back 16 games, go 2 bye weeks, and take care of the player safety a little bit better.
Yeah, so 2 bye weeks, 1 early in the season, 1 late in the season for every team. Figure it out. I think what the move will be, and you know this as much as we do, they added a game. They signed a $110 billion media rights deal that can be renegotiated every year with a new platform. They're going to be pitching for another game. You know that. There's another game that's going to be pitched for within the next couple of years. That's when the next bye week will be added, so we could potentially add 2 more weeks to the season, which is bigger for the TV rights deals, the streaming rights deals, let alone playoffs, what they'll do. I think that's coming. I do. I think that's probably coming.
I do too. I think that's probably coming.
Will you stay in the game whenever you're done?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's a shame. The game will miss you forever, but go enjoy the hell out of your life. Have you ever?
I'll come on here and give you updates on how life off grid is treating me from time to time, though. I'd miss Ty too much. I'd have to come back.
Hell yeah.
Ty, that was cute.
He's rock hard.
Should be. That was a big moment.
Goddamn right.
Would you come back with like Letterman's beard?
Prove it.
I don't know how quickly we can get kicked off the internet.
Yeah.
But if you like send a DM of your dick right now to Aaron, that'd be
nice.
I think that'd be
Next break. In
yeah. You could have
He's
that
looking
big,
for those.
You could have that big beard. You could have that big beard too. Hair out, completely ridiculous.
Hell yeah.
Is that what you're gonna do when you get off the grid?
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Wilson.
No, I'm gonna be pretty chiseled, I think.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get on that AJ Hawk stuff?
No, that's way too heavy. I can't get on that stuff.
That's because he's boozing during those Christmas holidays.
What?
He's got to get a bunch of horse stuff to get it out of him so he can still be a stallion in the morning. All right, let's jump into it. We missed this last week. We weren't able to make the world a smarter place. And that was a shame.
It was?
I felt like I wasn't able to, be a part of something good for society as opposed to what I'm normally a part of. Aaron, it is time to debut the next book of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0. Obviously, this season has been fantastic. We ran it back after the success that was Aaron Rodgers Book Club 1.0. The first book, Mastery of Love. Huh?
Great.
Don't just learn about it, become a master of it.
That's right.
The master of love. Then we went to 1984 because obviously George Orwell had it all figured out. No conversations were had after this book was picked to be a part of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club, but it certainly made the world a little bit more insightful. Then The Art of Contemplation, How to Change Your Mind. Healing by David Elliott. Let's breathe a little bit here on the fifth book of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0. The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross by John M. Allegro. And then we had Love Wins with the Keanu Reeves coloring book, Into the Wild. What a classic. What a classic. And then Recovery, Freedom from Our Addictions by Russ O'Brien. The next book in the Aaron Rodgers Book Club 2.0 is
The Missing Element.
Of course. Ooh. Good book.
Deborah.
Inspiring Compassion for the Human Condition by Deborah Silverman.
Sarah's sister.
Quote
By
from
my
Sting
good
on the
friend-
cover.
My good friend Deborah Silverman, who actually, this book is about astrology, which, Pat, you and I had a long conversation in Tahoe about, and I appreciated your interest in astrology.
Hell yeah.
I should have got you this book right away, but this is a really good book, like an intro to the astrology that she teaches. She's, among other people, was Sting's personal astrologist. And
Holy shit.
I don't know about you. I don't really listen to the
Towers.
music that he made or made, but the fact that he's out there and still doing it.
Oh yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. I love that quote that you say. You've said it a couple times now. Sting's certainly one of them. Also, first woman author in the book club.
Here we go.
There we go. I think.
Oh, we getting some heat?
I was getting some tweets. I was certainly getting some tweets. Happy Deborah. By the way, that isn't how the books are chosen.
No.
We're talking about the contents, not the context of it all. Let's
Well
go
said.
ahead and remember that as we go. But I'm excited to learn.
You said I should have had Ayn Rand in here earlier with the Atlas Shrugged.
Potentially.
You're right. It was there, certainly in the back. It was talked about, wasn't it? It was certainly chatted about. Aaron, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck this week. Big time game. Still all out in front of you from
Hell
what
yeah.
we've been told. Front the internet.
Yeah, we're going to be tuning in Thursday and rooting for one team that we usually don't root for. And then, we'll be tuning in Saturday, Sunday as well for some other teams. So we'll see what happens. Could be a different landscape when we talk next Tuesday.
Hell yeah. The Commanders went into their bye week with like 20-some% chance of making the playoffs. Now they're at like 76%. The 2022 NFL season has been hilariously unpredictable. Who knows what will happen? By next Tuesday, we'll have a little clearer picture. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh off a bye week, Aaron Rodgers. Thank you. Oh, he just did one of these.
Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah.
So he wasn't in a cave.
I guess not.
Well,
We don't know.
Maybe. Still doing
Say,
plancha.
someone said he was spelunking for 8 days in darkness.
Nobody said splunking. Actually, no light. Because I think splunking involves
Yeah, you
having
have
a
a
light.
headlight.
Right.
I think the report was that, he went in there to find someone with no light on his head, and he was just in there. You know what I mean? Just deep in there, doing
Like a silent
drugs.
retreat. People go on silent retreats where they don't speak for like a week.
I assume, with how everything's going and how much shit I've been fortunate enough to experience and do on a regular basis, that at some point maybe I'll end up in that, world of like, I need to figure out answers in myself and everything like that. But boy, people are doing a lot of things to try to find answers. So let's remember that. And when they do, however they find it, let's be happy for them.
Yeah.
Let's be happy for them. That's all anybody's trying to do whenever they go into a cave for 8 days.
Sure.
Not Aaron didn't do that, but they're trying to find something, right? When they go down into a teepee in Central America, and it's like 150 degrees, drink some tea, find some answers, figure out some enlightenment. Let's be happy for them. Let's not just judge them all the time. What's that all about, AJ? You judge them.
Who's judging?
You!
Who's judging?
You said you went into a cave? Who said that? Like, all right.
Whatever
People do
works
that,
for you.
AJ, okay? And if they're happy.
I know they do that. I don't judge it. If you are mentally tough enough to go into a cave for 8 days, good on you, as they say, because I don't think I could handle that.
So you know what happened? I asked Aaron like 4 questions there to give him the floor basically to address everything. You know, which I've done in the past, but, you know, seemingly he definitely took a shot back, didn't he? Because I asked like prominent questions or whatever. I think he got, when I cut him off and said, wait a minute, you just said you've seen heaven? Because when he said you've seen the other side,
Yes.
it's hard not to judge. My mind was blown.
Exploded.
I did not know that happened. I did not know that was capable. I didn't know that was possible. So he was just about to say something very, very like prepared about Mike Leach and everything. So I think that was potentially when I got off. It's all right. Coming out of a bye week, kind of stepped on a moment there for him.
It's all right.
If you're going to find out about the other side, you have to ask about it. I mean, who are you?
I think he understands the follow-up.
Yeah.
He gets it.
Oh, I hope maybe when he watches it back, he does. In the moment, I don't think he did. I mean, I don't know if he knows how I took it. You know what I mean? Like, because when he said, I'm like, you should write a book because there's people that write the book like,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I've seen heaven, I came back. I talked to Jesus, I came back.
That's right.
I saw this, I came back. It's like, hold on, this is just available? I didn't know this was available for people. And apparently that wasn't the case. You don't see that, but you do see the other side of
This plane.
Of the veil.
Yeah, the veil. The astral plane.
My brain exploded.
Yeah, dude, I don't know if anybody was going to be able to listen. So, Aaron, what I'd like to say is I don't know if anybody was going to be able to hear what you were saying. That was very nice about Mike Leach, rest in peace, because all anybody was thinking is that you potentially saw heaven.
This guy was fucking in heaven on the bye week.
And then came back.
Yeah.
If you're thinking like my brain, it's like, that was just my brain. I saw him just floating like the ghost of Christmas past or whatever.
Yeah. Throwing fucking slant routes to St. Peter at Heaven's Gate.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dots.
So some people see hell then, though, right?
Probably.
You tell us.
If you believe in one, you have to believe in the other, right? I know what people say.
Good, Connor.
Connor pretty quick there. But if you believe in one, you have to believe in the other, right?
No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
What?
All right. I like that.
I've said it a million times. I believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell, though. I think you can create your own hell on earth. Absolutely.
For sure.
Agreed. Completely agree on that. Do you believe in a purgatory?
What do you mean?
Like, still gotta figure it out, kind of in limbo.
Between, like an in-between place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never thought about that, actually, really.
So there's a movie, I think, called Purgatory. My old man watched. It was like a cowboy movie almost back in the day. And I remember I was forced to watch. Maybe the weather was terrible, so I couldn't go outside, so I was forced to watch it. Tim McAfee watched. When I'm talking about the worst shows in movies, I'm talking the worst.
Sure.
Like, not on Westerns, I can get into a Western, but like when he wants to become the expert on terrible Western movies, you know, that's a tough thing when there's one TV in the house or whatever. So I think that's why I was outside. The Purgatory movie I watched, that was the first I learned of that being a belief by people. And I was like, fascinating. So maybe there is like a waiting room almost. Hey.
What are you supposed to do during that time?
You're proving you should go to heaven, I think, or proving you should go to hell.
Isn't that what you're trying to do here?
Yeah. So this was when this movie introduced to me that there was another one of those coming for like the spirit world or whatever, basically. I mean, because I feel like every time we talk about religion, I'll get people that just like get mad at me. Every religion. And I just want to let you know, somebody that didn't have a religion growing up, like I'm genuinely interested in it. I refer to the universe as everything. I'm like, the universe is putting this in my life. The universe is putting this in my life. I've talked to people from every religion trying to figure out which one I think is the right answer, you know? Because I would like to live, you know, in a nirvana state.
Absolutely.
As opposed to the opposite that everybody seemingly has other than a couple people. I'm just trying to figure out which one's the right one for me. And so I ask a lot of questions. And the questions might sound a little cynical, but to be honest, you all learned this when you were kids. You probably didn't ask a lot of these questions. I'm an adult trying to figure this out. So I've been trying to figure out, and I feel like I've learned a lot about a lot. Purgatory seems like a possible thing. I mean, that seems
Absolutely.
like a spirit world, like that just kind of exists going forward. But then that would mean hell would exist as well, because why are you in purgatory?
Yeah, that's right. And if you're in purgatory, are you just acting how you think you're supposed to act while you're in purgatory to get to heaven?
And are you constantly
Aren't
stuck
you doing that
in
your whole life?
purgatory because you're not being you, which is why you even want the purgatory to begin with, not straight to heaven.
It's like the movie This Is the End, where hell rises from earth.
Good
and then
movie.
James Franco
That
acts
is-
like he's a good person.
a couple really good scenes.
Getting sucked off to heaven.
What's that? Revelations at the end,
Sucked
right?
right
Yeah,
up.
sure. Yeah.
Real petty.
Sucked right up.
Tom Petty.
But not everybody getting sucked right up, right?
No.
Just like people standing next to each other, as they're getting sucked up, they're like, "What did you do?"
Exactly.
Because I know what I did. Jesus. And then do you ever know? I wonder.
Like AQ, he ain't getting sucked up.
No.
No.
Depends who's.
What's that?
What was that?
Depends
What'd you
what.
say?
What was that, Alan?
Depends
I think
what.
you'll get.
Like
Hey, I
that?
think you'll get sucked up.
You get sucked
I
up.
think you'll get sucked up, AQ.
Thanks. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Definitely getting sucked up.
Appreciate that.
If not, just use your new vacuum. You know,
Yeah,
because
the
that
new
thing's
vacuum.
pretty awesome.
Yeah. 2.0. The old 2.0.
The off-air conversations here are certainly fascinating. We're around each other a lot.
Yeah.
And this year, we got people coming in once a week on a regular basis. So we get past the whole like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. All right, see you. You know, now it's like everybody's very comfortable in here.
Uh-huh.
So we really start to dive in on conversations. Well, we have learned through these convos with Coach, obviously.
Right.
Coach introduced us to something that might change our lives forever.
Absolutely.
Legitimately off air. Darius, what a hilarious fucking human being he is.
Weapon.
He was on the Manning cast last night for doing the peanut punch. Maybe he should have been a part of.
Oh, that's
maybe
right,
he should have
yeah.
been part of Chuck Pagano's safety protocol video on the peanut punch and what's legal, what's not legal. Punches the ball out from Eli. I think it was a Monday Night Football game or maybe Sunday. I forget what day. It was a primetime game.
Yeah.
Primetime game or something. Punches the ball out. Sacks Eli. Somehow the ball literally bounces off somebody's ass right back into Eli's hands or whatever. And it was just on the Manning cast. They were talking about it and just kind of moved along. And I was like, was that number 20? Yeah, Darius, just make it. He comes in here every single week eating his French toast and his pancakes, just chilling, you know. And then when this guy comes in here,
This guy.
Jesus Christ. Honestly, you have no idea, AJ, what's coming with this guy coming in here.
No idea.
What do you mean?
Just an alien, 101.
Yep.
Just honestly,
I love it.
no other human been created similar to this one.
No, wild card.
Good for you, AQ. Good for you.
I'm trying. I'm just trying to bring some energy.
Yeah, well, you
You do.
certainly
You
did
certainly
everywhere
do.
you go. Everywhere you go.
Bring some energy.
All right, let's get to a break. We can't thank Aaron enough for being back on the other side of the bye week. Everything's still in front of him.
Hell yeah.
Right?
If the Seahawks lose.
That percentage is wild.
Yeah, it was a report on the internet.
Yeah,
though, so
definitely not.
if the
Kornacki?
Seahawks lose.
If the Seahawks lose, right, and then they still have to win out, obviously.
Yeah.
What if they win? What if Seahawks win Thursday?
Then I think it's
Yeah, plummet.
I think it's real low. So if the Seahawks lose on Thursday, I think there's a lot of avenues to get in. A lot of avenues to get in there.
Yeah, the last game of the season against the Lions would be like a de facto playoff game. Pretty
And we just saw what MCDC's up to. Oh,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
not want to be on the other side, man.
Wide.
Wide.
Let's remember that MCDC, in an effort to give credit to his assistant coaches, told a joke and a story about two situations that happened on the sideline.
Mhm.
Also called to attention, I think, that the Lions fans were doing a wave.
Yeah.
Which
he definitely
Hell yeah.
was paying attention to.
That's
them doing
definitely
the
a
wave.
franchise not used to winning.
Dude.
The wave's awesome.
It's not.
Don't talk shit about the wave.
Listen, Foxy,
wave stinks.
You guys are big, tough guys. I get it.
Foxy,
The wave is awesome.
The wave stinks.
Go ahead.
Okay, listen. I like the wave and how it unifies an
Where's the
entire
wave?
stadium, okay? I enjoy, there's a wave right there. There's a good wave happening. This is video from the Lions Stadium. We should give credit to the person that tweeted this video out.
That's awesome.
They got good eyes on the wave, okay? That's good buy-in, too, by this entire stadium to the wave. And I honestly have talked numerous times about the person who created the wave, the fucking gutsack on that human in the middle of that crowd to create the wave. The amount of sit down he had to have gotten.
Oh, God.
The amount of, all right, I'm going to stand, do this, you do it, and then you guys, and then you guys, and then you guys.
Pass it on.
And then you guys. And he goes, "Arr," and then the person right next to him, I'm not fucking doing it. Never happened before. He said, come on, this would be cool. Shut up. This guy probably seasons and seasons attempted to start the wave.
For sure.
For the first time. It finally catches fire, and guess what? he's got a banger on his head. He'll never make money off it because the Wave is legitimately a free opportunity for anybody that is gathered in a social setting in somewhat of a stadium or an arena. But normally when a Wave is happening, the fans are bored.
Yes.
The Wave is entertainment for the fans. Happens a lot in soccer when those games are a little bit slow. You know, you start seeing a wave take place.
All game.
Yes, exactly.
Baseball.
Chants and songs. Baseball, they'll start waving. They'll skip the entire outfield and catch up right on cue. Everybody's all in. I appreciate the unity that is shown by a group of humans when it takes place. But normally it's an indicator, okay, that the fans are disinterested in what's going on.
What you're watching stinks.
So, Foxy, I understand why you love the Wave. I think MCDC potentially brought it up to mention, saw the Wave, man. All right?
Come on.
Come on, man.
We're past that.
This is a different time.
That was the same old Lions thing to do.
Or maybe he was saying, love the Wave,
This
man.
energy, man, the
Love
Wave.
it.
Nothing
He
better.
loves it.
He would be one of one, though, when it comes to NFL coaches that are happy about a Wave happening
True.
at a home game. Just want to let you know that. Would be one of one.
LaFleur tries to start the Wave every single
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, he doesn't do this.
I don't know.
To Connor's point, he's not.
Maybe he should.
Imagine if LaFleur with the headset on.
Telling people.
He yells at guys on the sideline to keep it going.
Come on.
What if he's going down the fucking?
That'd be awesome.
With his headset.
He should do it.
I mean, sometimes it feels like he's doing that and not paying attention to the game. So,
Whoa!
you know, par for the course.
Anyways, allegedly MCDC was not misheard saying don't run it, and allegedly Ben Johnson didn't sound like the Snoopy burr 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 burr.
Right.
And Randy he was talking about. That's what we were being told from inside sources. But we'd like to let the people that are telling us to make sure we clarify that to other people know. Doesn't fucking matter either way.
Nope.
Legendary both ways. Hilarious, definitely both ways.
Yeah.
And we appreciate MCDC stopping by today and hope we don't ruin future opportunities.
Yeah.
Hope we don't ruin future opportunities for that. Anyways, let's take a 5-minute break. On the other side, we'll digest what Aaron just talked about, what the world is reacting to. Can't wait to hear that. Appreciate him stopping by. And we'll go into trenches with Cowboy AQ Shipper.
Hell yeah.
Cannot wait for that. Be a friend, tell a friend, take 5.
Where else would you rather be right now? We just left snow. Come down here to this warm weather, baby. Time for some football, baby!
Let's go. Let's get it today. Come on. Let's get it today. Let's get it.
Hey! Hey, let's go, huh? Hey, man, I'm not ready to go, man. Put on the show, man. Nothing else matters but the day. Play for each other, that's it, man. Everything you got for the Cowboys. And now you don't take nothing but you being yourself. We flying around, we drinking right now, dominate. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get you in the end zone today so you cut the hair, all right?
A handoff Skoronic. He's got speed. He's got the edge. He goes in untouched. Ben Skoronic. Touchdown. His first as a pro.
We gotta get him in so he can cut his hair. Said he's gonna cut it if he scores a touchdown.
Handoff goes to Nick Chubb going right side. Nick gets a block across midfield to the 45, down the sideline, pushed out of bounds.
Burrow catches, looks, fires, chase, touchdown! We're gonna get the ball back. We're gonna get the ball back. Great execution. Great communication. Great teamwork.
Rock. When in doubt, I'll be open.
End zone, touchdown, Gesicki.
How about Mike Gesicki? A little bit of a breakout game for him today.
Hey, keep running. It's coming.
And Kyle Pitts caught it on U.S. soil. Number 8 has a touchdown.
Hey, let's get him off the field right here. Let's get him off the field right here.
Throws it right, and it's intercepted. Patrick Peterson.
And they bring it. Here comes Derwin. Russell Wilson sacked. Derwin got him.
Bro, I checked his ass out the club. Bro, you seen I lifted his ass up? He say, well, I hear him, he say, damn.
Runs to his right, gonna keep it and run with it. Gets a blocker in front of him. Dives over a man at the 20-yard line. He's unbelievable. Make room in the highlight film for that one.
I told you, prime time play makes prime time plays a big time game.
into the end zone. Touchdown, Devontae Smith.
Jamar Chase is taking over this football game and once again goes off in this building. Unbelievable.
He can't hold you. Out, man. Out, damn it.
That's us. Keep beating us, man.
Let's go. Go.
Hi, baby. Yes, sir. Love you, bro. Keep working.
We know what the we can do, and we know what we can be, and we know it's in our hands, and that's how it's gonna always be.
You say you want to be a tough and rugged team, you got to win tough and rugged, and that's what tonight was.
You earn everything in this league, and today you earned this.
What do you say, Von? Don't blink, don't flinch, whatever it is, man. You guys are as tough as nails, man. Tough as nails.
Who they? Who they? Who they say gon' beat the Bengals? Who they? Who they? Who they say gon' beat the Bengals? Nobody!
He's saying don't go off the top, it's too shallow.
All you're going to hear this stadium do is they put the big paw up, they start shaking it, they go, whoa. Hey, what things are going good, Yeah, he loves the defensive side of the ball. He said yesterday to me that this is a blue-collar team. They win it on special teams. They have 5 block kicks this season. The defensive side of the ball, Lynch leads the Big 12 in sacks. But also on the offensive side, Denzel Mims is an absolute animal. He is a weapon. Charlie Brewer, the quarterback from Lake Travis. His dad was a quarterback in Texas. Yeah. His grandpa was a quarterback in Texas. And the people here in Waco just so happen to get a chance to see Charlie Brewer on a daily basis.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah, Boomer here is going to mean a little bit different than what it means on the internet currently. And hopefully here in Baylor, they hope they're not hearing a lot of Boomer sooner. Everybody wants to be a punter, including quarterbacks. If I was a quarterback, I'd want to be a punter as well. 0 yards on that punt. That's an embarrassing situation. The Dak dance that gets on national television has led to a lot of losses, but you got to respect the hips being able to. What sign am I going to make for college game day? Well, I want to make something creative. I want to make something fun. No, to hell with it. I don't like OU. It's so thick. Look how thick that thing is. That's years and years of patience. You're heading right for the boat. Right now? Okay, let's do it. We are out here on the Brazos River, which you can take a boat to the game. One of the only stadiums in the country that you can do that. It's beautiful out here. A lot of people would say, this is the last time I'm going to be on game day. The last time I allegedly did what I'm about to do, I ended up in a jail cell. Let's go! Sick of this! The poop kickers are getting way down here. A lot higher than I thought.
You look like Ric Flair.
That was a sellout, by the way. That was beautiful.
Do we have any other shirts?
Yeah, hold on. You need to go get changed before you get sick.
Great work, Russia. I'm actually not that cold. Hey, I went for it. My chest hurts. It was like 5 feet. I was standing there. That's full commitment, by the way.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show on Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, December 13th.
Oh, yeah. Good start.
Today's show is sponsored by SeatGeek.
Oh, yeah.
This is your weekly reminder that they gave us all 15% off football tickets. That's whether you're a first-time buyer or not.
Football or football?
Football, not football.
Okay, football tickets.
Football tickets.
They got great football tickets.
They do have great football tickets, but this promo is 15% off just college and NFL football tickets.
Oh.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if you're a first-time buyer or not, SeatGeek has you covered.
Wow.
Just click the link in the description, and the 15% off code will be auto-applied to your account. No code needed.
Thank you, SeatGeek.
Thank you, SeatGeek.
How do you feel about SeatGeek, AJ? You ever get any football or tickets from them?
Oh, yeah. I actually had to go on SeatGeek when I went to the Cavs game last week, whenever that was.
I did it when I went to an Indy 11 game here. Actually went on SeatGeek for a football game.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Just want they have those tickets.
Good to know.
Concerts too, plays, shit like that.
Yep, you bet.
All of it. No conversation yet, AJ Hawk. Thank you for that, Connor. That was
Yeah,
good.
baby, Con, man.
SeatGeek's
Hey,
awesome.
thank you. Shout out to
Hey,
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek even has like a rating system for if they think you're getting fucked or not.
Yeah.
Like, red means, hey, this is a terrible deal.
Don't
Do
take
not,
it.
like, listen, we're just the platform. Somebody else is selling. This is a bad deal for this ticket. There's somewhere else on the internet you can get much better tickets at a better price. And then green's like, hey, good deal. This is a good deal. And you get what you pay for. You're not catfish on SeatGeek because they have super AI technology to make sure that's the case.
Yep.
Shout out to SeatGeek, dude.
Shout out SeatGeek.
And Tickets Dude. Shout out to him.
Shout out Tickets, dude.
You remember when Tickets Dudes were just fucking walking around those offices, one pair of jeans, terrible shoes.
Yep.
This young guy, it's like, hi, I'm digital marketing strategy for SeatGeek. I'm Ian or whatever. It's like, what's up, Ian? You're like the same age as us. We're younger than me. I'm a big fan of yours, Ian. He's like, oh, thanks, big fan of yours. He's held up his end of the bargain with us for what, 5 years now, right?
Yeah.
Great guy.
Legit. We like for that game you went to, you know that that basketball. If we wanted to, this is the type of person that Ian has been. We could have called Ian and made his life very stressful, and he would have figured out a way to get you into a play. Like having a ticket friend and a ticket that has access is so huge, and Ian has always been gracious with us.
Yeah, first
Absolutely.
class.
Only place I've ever bought tickets from in my life, I think, actually.
SeatGeek.
Just as a thank you.
One time we had another.
Oh, yeah, we were gifted.
Yeah.
We were gifted World Series tickets.
Yep.
Should have just said no.
We should have said it. We're in Houston. World Series game is happening that same night. We just so happen to be there. Okay, gotta go. Hey, would you guys like tickets? Yeah, we would. Okay, we're going to gift it to you. Very nice of them.
Yeah.
Very nice. Did not have to do that. We were very thankful. I forget even who it was. Had to go through the MLB app to get the wouldn't load, wouldn't pop up. Gave us a runaround. We were waiting in like a little fenced off area,
Holding area.
at a gate for like an hour and a half.
Purgatory.
Exactly.
There you go.
There it is. Worse than I would say that was hell.
That was terrible.
Outside was purgatory. Choosing not, which we couldn't go back through because they didn't have employees working that place because that's how long we were in there for. So like,
Hitting stretch, I believe.
yeah, it was a
absurd.
terrible experience. Only time ever didn't do the ticket situation through SeatGeek. And it's because it wasn't us.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Good lesson, though.
Was a good lesson.
Like
us humble.
purgatory.
Baseball sucks.
Yes. Always.
It's kind of what.
Always will.
You should see how boring it is from outside. You know what I mean? Like we could hear it.
Yeah.
We could hear everything that was happening. We could watch it on a stream.
We heard the trash cans.
We did. We
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, was that here?
Yeah, you were calling off speed or fastball.
Yeah, they're banging them very loudly.
They're actually doing that from where we were standing at, just really inconspicuously.
We saw Ravel that night too.
Oh yeah, he sprinted up the
Oh,
stairs.
that's right. I forgot about that.
Hi, Pat.
Bro, he fucking wide open. I don't know if that's what he sounds like. You know that 40 video everybody's seen him try? 20, whatever it was?
Sure.
Flying. Yeah.
Catch me.
He did that upstairs.
Yeah.
At the Houston, like didn't want to be in anybody's way, like wanted to get out of there. This dude was like a blur flying by us.
Moving.
And the only reason why I think we recognize it is because anytime you see somebody moving that fast, you're automatically going to go like, what's this?
Yeah.
And then looking close, had a sport jacket on, like, is that fucking Ravel? And then as blurred right by us, that is Ravel.
Darren Ravel.
It is me.
He did not say that. We did not hear him say that. Zito's just kind of,
He's the Hamburglar.
yeah, impersonating. He gave us a shout out. He was there. He was down on the.
Oh yeah, he's fucking in the dugout,
touching
pretty
the
much.
field.
That was an electrifying environment when we got in there, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they made it right. You know, they bought us each a beer and a hot dog or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah,
they did. That's like $50 a person
for sure.
Baseball live, I think, much better than any other version, but you got to be inside the Coliseum.
Inside the stadium itself.
Yeah, you can't be just right outside. Maybe the worst place to be.
Oh yeah.
For a baseball game,
for sure,
than anywhere else.
CG gave us the best experience for the Yankees game that one time.
Oh,
and we went to the Blue Jays game once, Pat. Too. We were right behind the dugout.
Yeah, we're in Canada. I'm like, Ian, you guys got to just look on the app, Pat. We got it. I'm like, yeah, but Ian, you have some sort of shortcut, right? I'll pay for these. I just would like, Ticket Stooge, need you to help out. He's like, okay, I'll just do exactly what you could do, though. This is what Ian said. I'm like, oh, perfect. I appreciate that.
Thank
man.
you.
If you could email that to us, because we're standing outside the gate of the game right now. And they're telling us we can't buy it here or whatever. We're in Canada. Is there any way you could? You're the ticket guy, right? You're the ticket guy.
Make it happen.
You're our friend that is the ticketing guy. Can you help it out? 7 minutes later, fucking giving a boom, right down in there.
Yes.
Get charged for it later. It's like, thank you so much. Now, not everybody has that experience at SeatGeek, so a little bit privilege opportunity happening right here. Just want to showcase how much we appreciate fucking Ian and our partnership with SeatGeek.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Weren't told to do that either. He could be pissed though because we never even talk about that down there. Do you see that?
Oh, the ticker?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never.
but it kind of
No.
kind of speaks for itself.
Always there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
Always
would
there.
forget about it if we took it out.
Yeah, he did.
Did you get eyes on that thing, AQ?
It's up there.
Yeah, it is. It's on the screen.
Yeah,
Not
I
under
see
your-
what you did
Not
there.
under your desk.
I did
be
this.
honest.
AQ took that big ass cowboy hat, poked that thing, turned that on sideways,
Yeah.
and looked around the side of it. It was awesome. Aaron's a couple things to wrap up that before we get to in the trenches with Cowboy Shipley here, who looks fantastic and has some great plays. Can't wait to watch these ones.
Yes.
Got some big brain football happening on In the Trenches. Can't wait for it. Aaron said he went to heaven and came back.
Yep.
Okay. He also talked, thumb feels good, ribs feel good.
Yep.
Called Devontae Adams #1 wide receiver in the NFL and says he keeps in touch with him still to this day. So anybody thinking that there's beef, I think kind of puts an end to that whole thing. Anything else he said in there that we missed? And we were on Max Kellerman talk show. Like literally to run it, but it was muted. I couldn't hear what it was. I looked over here, saw my face. So that was a little bit alarming.
Sure.
Too much of me already, I could tell. But because we have those conversations, we're in there. What do you think they're talking about? I don't think he said anything other than dying and coming back.
Right.
But then he said he actually saw the other side. What did he? I think everything was good there. Sound like he's in good spirits for the rest of the season, AJ.
He seems to be like refreshed coming off that late bye. His thumb feels good. He seems to be in a good mood. Yeah, I don't know if he said anything like crazy, did he? It didn't feel like it compared to others, maybe.
Seeing the
Well,
other side of the astral plane.
yeah,
But
I
outside
think
of
Well, I don't think that's what he
Football-wise,
meant.
I'm talking. A lot of people don't like football. People care about football. You know that.
Well,
Maybe
I agree. You're 100% right. Football-wise, he's healthy.
Yep.
He's energized, cheering hard against Seattle on Thursday.
Right.
As an owner of the Packers, you happy with what just happened there? You got to feel good.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, that is true. Like there is. I mean, from what I've watched this year, it's tough to think that they're actually going to win the next 4 games, but it is very much possible. The Dolphins don't look like the same team that they did, 4 weeks ago or whatever. And I mean, with how good San Francisco is playing right now, like you would think that they should be able to handle the Seahawks on Thursday night, especially with how Seattle's looked. So, I mean, it really, we say it all year, but like they really do have everything in front of them still. Like if they win out, they should make the playoffs theoretically.
What are you going to say, Tone?
Well, no, I thought the biggest news was potentially when Aaron said that AJ was running naked through the Oneida Casino, and then the Wisconsin State Police had to cover it up.
Yeah, he did kind of allude to that, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know if he said it exactly, but he did kind of say, remember, we used to do it until you. It's the Oneida Casino.
That's what I said.
Not
I think you said Oneida or Oneida or
That's
something.
my accent.
That's disrespectful.
It is kind of, but he didn't know. I don't think he knew or tried to do it. His intent was not to be
That's my
disrespectful. It was just strictly how he speaks.
Okay.
That Oneida Casino is awesome, though. Did you guys hang out there a lot, I assume?
We actually stayed there night before games. Now they stay somewhere else, but that's the hotel we stayed at. And they'd say, they would tell us, do not go through don't even walk through the casino to look. They would tell us eventually.
It has an incredible museum as you're walking through it as well. Like the history of the Oneida tribe and everything there.
Ooh.
There's a lot of relics there. I mean,
that's sweet.
I really enjoyed that casino. It was
Like
cold as
they have
fuck.
concerts there too.
Do they really?
Venue, everything, yeah.
I didn't know that. I enjoyed the hell out of I didn't stay there. I had to drive there. And I was driving in like an Uber. It was a minivan.
That's a different one there.
It was -6 degrees. -6 degrees. Snow all over the road. Wind gusts, snow coming across. And you got to drive a little bit to get to the 09. Or you got to drive out there a little bit.
Well, no, the one you showed, there's two of them that are not that far away, but the one you went to is right across from the airport, I would guess, right?
Yeah, so you have to drive a little bit to get there, right? Had to drive a little bit to get to from where I was staying. This lady driving this minivan. No fear.
Really?
No fear at all. We're
great.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's awesome because they don't have – it's tough. You know, you're from Pittsburgh. You can drive in the snow. It's tough when you – all of a sudden there's a little bit of elements out there and people don't know how to drive. Like, it's cool to see someone that's been there and it's done that.
I got in, I sat down, and I was expecting maybe like a 25, 30-minute drive just because of the weather and how cold it was and all that. 16, 17 minutes or whatever. And I don't want to be disrespectful, like, hey, you fucking know this better than me. My life is also here, though, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, a couple of those things, no problem. Get right in. Walk into the casino. It's a museum. I'm like, this place is the fucking best. And then I went back outside, got frostbite, called a game, it was 30-0.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers got hurt in the second play with a concussion.
That's right.
And the Detroit Lions just showed a little brand new Lions on that particular day, impounded the Packers in Lambeau. And the place was sold out the entire time because so many people come into town and kind of stay there. I assume the Oneida Casino cashes in on that.
Oh, yeah.
And also that's why the Green Bay Packers, Hall of Fame and museum and merch store and everything is there. Because a lot of people travel in, right? A lot of people travel in for those games, I assume.
Oh, yeah, every weekend of the year. I feel like not even just during the season. Like, there's people coming through the pro shop, touring Lambeau all year long.
What's those cheese curds?
Oh, yeah.
What's that place called? Across the street?
Crosty's place?
No, that was a bar. I was lied to.
Kroll's?
Maybe, yeah. Like
Kroll's?
a diners type setup?
Right across the way. Yeah, everything's a lot of it's changed around the stadium now, but yeah, I think it's still there.
Couldn't get rid of that. Can't get rid of it. Curly Lambeau.
Yeah, that's right.
Ate those cheese curds. It was one of those types of situations.
Cheese curds are delicious. I know you weren't a huge fan of them, but
so
you don't like them. I love cheese curds.
I liked them. Let's not get crazy. It wasn't like
didn't blow your mind.
Shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those. It was
Pepper
like,
Jack cheese curds the best.
Oh, yeah.
Plus some ketchup was on there.
What?
Yeah,
marinara.
ketchup.
That's the key. Got to
You
dunk
put
them in
ketchup on
marinara.
cheese curds?
Yeah, yeah. I put ketchup on it.
By
Yeah.
choice or?
Yeah, it was sitting right in front of me, and it was like, okay, it's fried.
Don't sauce shame
It's
him.
cheese.
Ketchup.
I would like to put ketchup on this thing. Sure. So maybe I sabotaged it.
Got to dunk it in marinara. Got to treat it like a mozzie stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I saw everybody else doing it in something red.
Figured.
Thought for sure. That's 100% on me. We move on. Thank you to Aaron for joining us. Also, Dan Campbell who joined us. And Mike Williams. It's been a hell of a Tuesday. The best way to end this thing would be to get smarter in the trenches. Wouldn't that be the case, AJ?
How in the world would we do that, though?
Well, we get one man who has a cowboy hat from the city of Arlington. One man who is obsessed with offensive line play. One man who was in the NFL for 12 years as a player and a coach and is a Super Bowl champion. That man's the host of In the Trenches and the Bobbit Exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley.
Howdy. Let's go. Let's go. A little fitting I got the cowboy hat because the Cowboys are in this week's segment. But let's start with the king of that division. We got the Philadelphia Eagles. Check this out. I love what they do here. They sell like they're running the QB sneak, right?
Yep.
This is their formation. Now, granted, sometimes they have a guy right here and right there, and they get the whole pushing thing. But check it out. Here's what we don't notice because they get up quick. Tight end right here lined up at left tackle. Left tackle is 400 pounds. Over on the other side, we get a little unbalanced. Giants do not recognize it because once this whole thing gets set up, they're going to have everybody the fuck over here.
You see.
Because we got a tight end wing right here. But then what we're going to do.
Oh, this is super trickery here.
Yeah, you see this?
Because you only got, look at this, there's a center. Here's 1, 2, 3 people over here.
Correct.
And on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 if you really need it.
If you really need it. And then what we're going to do, we're going to send Stoll in jet motion to steal a blocker front side. Look, almost over here. Everybody's all over here. Now we steal a blocker. We get crack block, pull Mailata around, and we steal the blocker with Stoll in the jet motion. And
bam.
He could have scored here if he really wanted to. I mean, this was unbelievable design.
That's knowing your tendencies too, right? Everybody's preparing for the Eagles-Kelsey push.
That's exactly right. They thought the QB sneak was coming. It's 3rd and 1. We get up fast. They don't recognize unbalanced. We get the fast motion, and then we just get the little toss-out. They've done this one other time this year. So you're either getting that QB sneak or you're getting this 9 times out of 10. It's unbelievable.
Could have scored easily. Yeah. Look at that thing.
Boom.
Or I guess you got hold of this.
They're just looking for first down here, right? 3rd and 1. Just
I would
get the
assume.
first.
Strolling
Yeah, he had like a
across.
50-yard touchdown later.
But that appears to be a couple big gaping holes. And also a creative gadget. Right? That's a little trickery. That's a little creative in there.
They're 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. I think they're like 90-something% on the year. And this is, 9 times out of 10, you're getting that. And then when they throw this in there, and everybody, look, they're in like a gap 8 defense. Everybody's covered down inside. And then all they got to do is just zone reach this whole thing and just create a wall front side. It's awesome.
AJ, this is gamesmanship. How do you fix this?
I mean, it's really tough to stop. You got to have somebody flying off that edge, I guess. But the fact that you could tell from the very beginning, if you look, Pat, when you first popped it up, like the Giants are already all discombobulated before Hurts even gets under center because it's an unbalanced call. Like, at least if this was us, I'd have to say close right, unbalanced left, over left move before we did anything.
And then emotion.
They mess with you.
And then emotion.
Yeah, and then emotion comes, so you're going to maybe boss or bow away. Like, there's a lot going on.
AJ, correct me if I'm wrong. Whenever we get unbalanced, we would then treat him as the center, correct?
Yep.
So all these guys should be pushed over that way.
It's a lot to happen before the snap.
And they're going quick. They're snapping is probably, 20 seconds, 17 seconds left on the play clock? Quick?
Yeah, they got up quick. Yep.
Jeez. They're a wagon, dude. This team's a fucking wagon.
Listen, I told you whenever I sent you a text on Sunday, this team is unbeatable if they execute. If they show up, all they got to do is show up and just play 3/4 of the way decent, and they're unbeatable.
Well, and they just got better, too, with the punter they added.
I was going to say, aside from him, that's the only real major injury they've had this year.
And they're getting Robert Quinn back for the playoffs. Let's not forget about that either.
Why'd you do that?
No, they lost Jordan Davis, too.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But he's back.
He's healthy. Yeah, you're right. There's no jinx there.
No jinx.
No,
Goddard, too. They lost.
No, they lost one
Goddard.
of they lost starting 11, right?
For a game or two.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back?
Yep, he's back.
Yeah,
they're all back. Everybody's back.
Everybody's back, and they're getting better. And they got creative gadgets that you hear AJ. No, nobody's going to be able to stop. Who's going to be able to have that entire communication situation? While you're winded in the middle of a series, you already got 2 stops. It's 3rd down there, right? Yeah. So you're winded, tired. Mm-hmm. Also have to, what you say, strong right, overload left, Mike, boss?
If you're calling it, usually, like if you're calling, you find the tight end, although he's on the nub, so you close it to him. So that would have been close right, unbalanced left, over left, move. That's telling them you got to move the gap. There's a new center.
It's too long already.
Yeah, it is too long. You're right.
Especially when they're trying to stop that quarterback sneak, which they've done 98% of the time.
Yeah, so your natural instinct, everybody's going to be like, we need weight, we need bodies over here. Yep. So that's why there's no edge, because they're crashing down to try to stop the whole thing.
Yep, that's why I wanted to put this one in there.
That's like Kevin O'Connell whenever we asked him because of you and said like, hey, is this an audible between the center and the guard on who's pulling and who's blocking and everything? And he said yes, and it's like, oh, that's it seems like there's some plays that are unstoppable for some teams. Have to have Jalen, have to have Kelsey, have to be able to pull that off for everybody. And also they have to respect it, right? Like they 100%. Have to respect that thing.
They have to, yeah.
But there's some plays that are seemingly unstoppable in the run game. I think I'm learning that this year.
100%. And it exactly what you just said, right? You have to execute it, but on paper, there are some plays where it's like, hey, if we get this and we do what we're supposed to, this is going to go.
All right, let's go to another team that's able to get wins with backup quarterbacks.
Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, no, in Pittsburgh. Here, Wiz Khalifa was here.
Yeah,
pumped.
Ruined the homecoming.
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know. He ruined the homecoming. But, hey, let's get Greg Roman out of here. Nope, fuck it. We still win games with the third-string quarterback in a rivalry. No, this is second. He goes out, and then third comes in. But you get what I'm saying there. In a rivalry game in Pittsburgh on the road, we get Cam Hayward, who just said over and over again, don't like playing nose guard, guys. Don't like it. What are we going to do? We're going to put Cam Hayward at nose guard. And then guess what we do? Unbelievable ace block. We call this, in certain things, 42 Mike, 42 ISO, whatever it is. We're putting Ricard, 300-pound fullback, on the Mike backer. He's going to come down, try and wrong shoulder it. You got no fucking chance because that's a guard in the backfield. And then we get the ace block here. We get 3 for 3 over here. We get basically just keep everybody out over here. But the key to this, here's the key to this. Ace block here. Watch what they do here to Cam Hayward and Linderbaum getting off on Bush. And then the other thing that I love about this is the handoff on the other side here when really the ISO draw is coming right here on this side. So the handoff comes here, which gets both linebackers playing this way, which sets up the blocks for all of these guys. Let's watch this thing run.
It's beautiful.
There's the handoff. Now he thinks it's going to be downhill right here. He hits it. Boom. You just made the block for the center because it's going to hit out the other side.
Oh,
that's holding on a card.
Look at J.K. Dobbins there.
See ya.
Hey, he was scooting there. That left knee didn't seem to be all the way back, but he's moving. Still got enough.
And he ran hard. Like, yeah,
Hell
he didn't
yeah.
he didn't show the speed that you would like to see out of him.
Well, his left leg is obviously not working the same way as his right leg there.
But he definitely did run hard and give you that element of a Baltimore back, a typical Baltimore back. Don't talk about the
That's a
hold.
hold.
Look at
Don't talk
Ricard.
about
Look at that
That's a hold.
headshot right off the bat. Rewind it real quick, Pat. That like initial shot is so violent right there with Ricard. Yeah, right here.
Boom! And then he holds the show.
And then he keeps going. Jeez.
Hands
Good
are
luck.
inside. Boom! Boom.
Linderbaum is a beast.
He is a dog.
Monster. That's a great block.
Man, Dobbins does not look healthy.
You know he doesn't.
It's moving, though.
Yeah, he
I've
is
never seen
still.
somebody move that fast with that big of, like, that hard of a limp.
Yeah.
Noticeably a limp. J.K. Dobbins is a dog, though.
Yeah.
This show, big fans of J.K. You remember he came on during his, Old Spice pitch?
Panini.
Panini. There it was. He was fucking awesome on
Yeah.
the show. I'm a big fan of his dog out there.
Old Ohio State back when they were tough.
Oh, no, A.J.
He ran for 120.
With that leg.
Yeah.
Like that.
He
And
had some good runs in this game.
he runs hard. He's a dog,
And
dude.
he runs hard. He finishes it. It was awesome to watch. It's good to see.
Absolutely.
Oh, here comes the
yeah.
Cowboy.
Oh, yeah. Put
All
the
right.
cap on.
Hey, so let's check this one out.
Shall we?
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to set this one up a little. We're going to talk a little bit. Hey, Tony Pollard scores this touchdown. Do you guys see Tony Pollard on the screen?
Where's
No,
Tony?
where is
I don't see
he?
Tony
Where
Pollard.
is he?
Where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he? I don't see him.
Somewhere over here.
Where's Tony?
Where is he?
He's over here.
I
Oh,
can't
he's way
see
over
him.
here.
He's over there somewhere.
Oh.
So we're going to go 2-by-2 formation. We're going to run the crack toss. We're going to pull him around, which we're going to see here in a sec because we got the wide view.
Hell yeah.
You do not see this because you will see the aftermath of him fucking 3 yards into the sideline, which that's what you love. When you run people off the screen, that's a big-time block in the O-line room. But here's what we're going to do. We line him up here. We line Pollard up over here. We got the tight end over here, so they set the front there. Cool. We're going to make it look like we're going to run a zone this way with Zeke. Nope, he's just a decoy. Pollard's coming with the behind-the-back handoff to give you better spacing with the puller, and then he's going to run the crack toss for the touchdown, and we will see it here in a sec. But great block here, great block on the pull here. Look at that. And look, everybody loses their guy to the backside. That's what you want to do. Get to the angle and make them play
What's the
behind
angle?
you.
What's the angle?
What's the angle? What's the
Yep.
angle? What's the angle?
Yep.
Well, this one not good, but what's the angle?
That's the angle.
That's the angle.
That's a great cut by the center. Great cut. Got him down. Had to play his hands. Boom. He can't make
Cheeky
it.
cut is what you're saying.
Look at that. Big gaping hole.
Cowboys lose Steele for the rest of the season. How big is
Yeah,
that?
it's a big loss. I mean, you're hoping that Jason Peters, who's going to be a Hall of Famer, surefire Hall of Famer, can step in, and hopefully Tyron Smith comes back, and then you got some real weapons.
Depth.
But let's watch this block here, boys. Huh? Yeah. Let's watch this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
This could have been on the bumps, huh? This could have been.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, he kicks him in the head. Kicked him in the head.
Straight ejection.
Guy's not allowed to cut him. What do you want him to do? Try and set an edge, AJ, right?
Got to go low, outside leg.
Look at him. He's trying to set the edge. He's doing all the right
That's
things.
a tough spot. Tough spot for a corner
to
or
be in.
anybody, really.
Jeez Louise. He gets back up. I think good play, but great block.
I will say, just to piggyback off Connor's point, Zach Martin and Steele, probably the best right side in football right now. So that is kind of a little bit of a concern. You're hoping that injury doesn't affect them too much down the road. Picking up T.Y. Hilton will help.
How come?
Is he playing right tackle for him?
Yeah.
Just gives you but it gives you a great little third option, another weapon for Dak. You know, it's a big
Slows
deal.
down the rush, obviously.
Yeah,
That's what he
get-
was talking
get
about
the ball out.
football-wise.
Yep.
Big deal.
Yeah, quicker
Absolutely.
passes.
Unbelievable. Right, AJ? That's what he was saying.
Foxy,
Yep.
Here we go.
Look who's on the screen.
Foxy, they made it.
Whoa.
Look at
They
the
made
brand.
New lines.
So
Look at them. I'm so happy for this crew, Maro.
Hell yeah.
this crew right here, these five, as Foxy will talk about quite often, that's the reason these guys are winning.
Bingo.
They are setting the tone every week. They are coming off. He's one of the best centers in football. Ragnow's playing at a high level. Obviously, Sewell's a monster. Decker's playing well. They're playing well across the front. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to run an inside zone this way. We're going to get the tight end going back. When they run the inside zone here, again, we talked about this when Derrick Henry had that big-time run earlier that I talked about maybe a few weeks ago when he ran right down the hash marks and put the safety on skates. They are trying to get this cut back immediately. So all they're trying to do is get everybody moving this way and then seal, create a wall here, and then when you get the tight end going back, 98's going to try and wrong shoulder this, and when he wrong shoulders it, hell of a block by this tight end, kind of sealing this backside edge, and then...
Hey, just real quick.
Yeah?
What was this check?
I'm assuming, based on this, and I think it comes from that, this usually means either alert or can, telling you where the safety is, so we're going to try and get this cut back off the safety.
Ooh. Jared Goff running a offense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So here it comes. Boom. We get everybody down. We get that. And then check this out. My man coming back off the knee injury.
Wow.
J-Mo. With the juice.
Big time block. And then we get the back out in space. That's a huge hole, one-on-one with, I think that's Dantzler, right?
Ooh. Cam Dantzler.
There it is. And he gets the outrun to the pylon.
Bang.
Tud.
What a run.
These guys are fucking good, man.
Man, J-Mo, first game back, man. One
Tough
catch,
son of a bitch, man.
One tud, but look at this, man. This is getting highlighted in the meeting.
100%. That's going to be the first thing highlighted, not the touchdown catch.
Boom.
That.
Boom. Boom. Love what you, linebacker, man. Probably gives this dude's 215, 220. Boom.
Oh. I mean, how good is that, right?
That's awesome.
That's big time.
That is big time.
Hey, Q, while we're on the Lions.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Penei Sewell catching that ball and sealing the game? I mean, that's everyone's dream as a lineman, right?
Gotta absolutely love it. You absolutely love it. I was in a position where I could have caught a pass. Wow. Carson Palmer fucking looked at me, reset the feet, and threw away.
No.
It was bad.
Every time in practice, he threw it to you, though.
Every time in practice. I got numerous catches in practice. Lots of catches in practice.
Yeah, because you got to throw to the big man in practice. A fake field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anytime big man's out en route in practice, got to throw to the big man. Hilarious that Carson goes, it's all fun. It's all fun in practice, yeah. I'm going to throw it to the professional guy right over here, though. Get you next time.
We'll go to the real tight end.
I'll get you next. That's a shame. Would have loved to see what you would have done when you got
Me too, Carson. Me too, Carson. Would have loved to see.
Would you have kept the football, obviously? Would you have spiked it? What would you have done, you think?
I don't know. It was a 2-yard route on 3rd and 1.
Oh, so it wasn't a touchdown.
No, it wasn't a touchdown.
You'd have been.
I would have been a first down, though.
First down, yeah.
Just like Penei, would you have got up?
Should have got up.
Drop the ball.
Drop the ball.
Move those chains.
And it's like, hey, get that ball back.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you ever have a running back or wide receiver, tight end, score a touchdown, hand it to you in the end zone to spike it? No.
Oh, my God.
Man, so not a locker room guy.
No, nobody's letting you spike their tuds.
It's unbelievable.
That stinks. Flacco? Not even Flacco?
Not even Flacco. Not even Joey Flacco.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
Footsteps is a team guy.
How many times you get the ball on the field?
I picked up a fumble in London against
So-
the Rams, and I literally picked it up, did one of these. I started to run. I got hit by 30 fucking people. I thought I broke my leg.
That's too many men. That's the first
That's too many men. Yeah.
How many
You got killed, though, huh?
I got crushed. The entire Rams defense when they were rolling in 16-17. I mean, it was like Robert Quinn, Aaron Donald, Brockers. They just tried to just break my leg. It was bad.
Bruised up. I got tackled once.
It was a long flight back.
Dude, my knee hit my other leg. I got a bruise on the other leg from my knee hitting my leg so hard.
Hit it into it?
Yeah. I was like, I wasn't so much. But you're much
Contusion.
Tough.
AJ, you ever get the ball? I guess you had those picks. Remember you had that big cast on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, against Big Ben.
Big Ben with the big cast. You get the big catch and the big return. Did you just think you were scoring every time? Is that what you thought as soon as you got the ball in your hands? Because I think that's what that's what I thought.
I did.
The ball. That's what AQ thought.
I scanned the field. I saw a gap, and I said, it's over. I'm scoring.
Is that your thoughts as well as soon as you got that thing?
I mean, yeah. It's the first thing you'd think of. Yeah. All right, let's get this thing in the end zone. It's a lot harder than it looks, though. Yeah, a lot of pissed off O linemen running after you usually, and you got to avoid those guys.
Those O linemen getting the big time shots and tackles.
Yeah.
Oh,
gotta love it.
So tired. They're willing to do that because they're so pissed.
Man, I was just trying not to get decleated, head on a swivel, looking for Sue.
Just don't
We played the
fumble.
Lions one time, and Sue was just trying to kill everybody. My head was on. I just ran to the pylon. Just tried to avoid everybody.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. Business decision.
Good angle.
From the,
Yeah, good
what's
angle.
the angle?
Yeah, good angle. Good effort.
I thought I had him.
Yeah.
I'll
Just trying to force them back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, the Lions are a hell of a squad, aren't they?
They are. They are. This is big time.
Easy team to root for.
Yep.
49ers also a team that we're proud of.
So this play, so we've seen it over and over again on this segment, right? We've seen the guard pull, either way, whatever, guard pull, and then the second pull would be Kittle, right?
Yes.
Here's what they did in this game, which was awesome. And I got a personal story about this. We ran this versus teams that had backside 3 techniques that were awesome, right? First time I ever ran this a game, we're playing the Rams, Aaron Donald blowing up the actual counter where the guard's pulling, center can't make the block back, right? So we end up putting this play in at halftime and ends up gashing people because now you become way more secure on the backside of this play because the center does not have to block back. You're basically man on the backside. But here's what we're going to do. You don't see him. Juszczyk's going to come from outside. He's going to be the first puller. And we start him in fly motion to gain that blocker front side. Snap it on the run. First of all, this is awesome, too. We've seen this a bunch from them. We get the tight split. He has to account for thinking this might be a crack toss. So it hesitates him and gets him up the field. Boom, Juszczyk on the kick-out block. Kittle coming around on Levante David. Boom. And then this play's really supposed to be over here. He does such a good job with his vision, like we saw last week, too, on the toss play, cutting this thing back against the grain.
Oh.
And he's out the gate.
Gone.
He's so good at football.
Yeah.
Let me also say, this is the first run play of the second half. So they ran this, the first play of the second half. The first run play of the first half, they started off the game with 4 passes. First run play, ran this same exact fucking play and gashed the Buccaneers for 23 yards on that play and then hit them for 30-something yards and a touchdown on this play. 2 plays, 60 yards, a touchdown.
Will they run that like back-to-back weeks, or is this like a known play that they run? Or
I don't know if they've shown this much on film. So this is what makes Shanahan so good game planning. When you watch them and they're running all the zone stuff and the tosses and all this stuff last week, and then it doesn't even show up in the week against the Buccaneers because they game plan for what they want to do.
They run a lot of tosses.
And why do you do that? Because you want to stay stout inside because Akeem Hicks, Nacho, who you're anticipating this was going to be Vita, Will Golston, 3 monsters on the interior. But now we can say stout. This was awesome, too, because this was meant to be a double team. He gets the loop right there, and he recognizes it. Transition double team to the next. Center does a phenomenal job just washing Devin White past the hole. And there it is.
Bro, look at, they talk about that sled. Everybody sees it in Hard Knocks and at training camp. People in the sled. Look at fucking Trent do the sled drill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right here. I mean, actually doing the sled, like just absolutely demolishing people.
Yep.
He's unbelievable, huh?
Unbelievable. And then the first time they ran this in the game, like I said, it was the first run in the first half. We don't have it here on film, but we got the double team here on Golston. Right here, they're looping, so we get the transition double team. But the first time they ran it, you should see that. Trent and Banks take him 6 yards off the ball. I mean, the double team was unbelievable. You don't see that often.
Now, Trent's giving away plays, though, isn't he?
Yeah, tipping.
Yeah, he's tipping
plays,
passes and runs.
Remember?
Tip it all you want. The guy's fucking maybe the best to ever do it.
Really?
Yeah, he's up there.
goat?
I mean, he's up there.
Is this the Shippies? Is this an award?
I don't know.
yeah?
He's up there.
Is this the Shippies?
The first shippy off the board.
Oh,
might be.
best tackle
He's definitely
ever.
the best tackle in the game right now. There's no question about it.
Okay, there's
Boom.
a Shippy.
Shippy.
Okay.
Congratulations, Trent.
Nice.
Attaboy, Trent.
Are the trophies like new pieces from your new vacuum or?
Yeah, we'll have to chop it up.
Okay.
Chop up
yeah.
the
That's a good idea.
Nice.
Yeah. We might have to wait for the 3.0.
The Niners, honestly, unstoppable, AQ.
That's right.
Unstoppable.
That is right.
All right, let's get to it.
If you haven't seen this on the internet yet, this is pretty awesome. First thing we're going to talk about, the awareness here. Anytime you get a blitzer on a screen, especially a second-level blitzer, don't block them. Wait till you see the club that we get from Trey Smith, who's been on here numerous times, plays the game the right way, plays the game like a prick, plays the game the way you want to see from an offensive guard. Boom, let's club him down. Nope, we're not going to block him. It's straight. Now check this out. Boom!
Oh,
Justin Simmons.
holy.
Oh!
Jeez.
I mean, how good is that?
Good club.
Club.
Boom.
Get flat. Get flat.
Oh, no.
You're also going to see another
Hey, Q, are you
body.
guys allowed to club in the back? Are you allowed to, like, what's the rules state? Can you club him right in the back?
AJ.
So
Bopped him on the head.
So you see it a lot from tackles, right? Like on screens or anytime they're trying to get out on like a sprint draw or anything like that. Is there a rule against it? No. Is it frowned upon? Will a ref see the aftermath of this and call it sometime? Sure, but it's awesome. I mean, it's a great move. Then you also get another body hitting the ground right there. Creed Humphrey hustling out in space too.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the.
Ding, 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 ding.
I mean, how good is that?
Hey, it stinks for the defense there. You got nothing you could do.
No.
Okay.
You just keep sticking up for those defensive guys. I'm gonna keep praising these motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, there has to be some sort of give and take because there's a receiving end there, and we'd like to let them know, hey, there ain't nothing you can do.
No.
There's literally nothing you can do. It's just going to happen.
Gonna have to eat it.
Ain't that right, AJ? It's just going to happen.
Yeah, they changed the rule. When you can do something about it, they change the rules, so then you can't all of a sudden.
Yeah, putting these defensive guys in defenseless.
It's kind of like when defensive guys bring up, like when guys club, which don't get called, and then they hear AJ talk, and then now it's going to be a fucking new rule. So, appreciate that, AJ.
Oh, AJ, thanks.
I don't think they listen to me.
The leader.
AJ.
Good job, AJ. Way to join the competition committee.
Thanks, AJ.
AJ, kind of the leader of the woke defense mom.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, AJ.
Thanks a lot, Hawk.
Thank you.
I thought we like physical football.
Yeah.
Thanks, AJ.
I thought this was America.
Yeah.
I was told you were a tough guy.
I was told Ohio still had grit.
Wow.
Guess I was wrong.
Anyways, we'll assume that rule will be changed, and we'll call that rule the Ohio rule.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah, make the game softer.
I didn't tell you to take it out. I didn't say take it out. I'm asking. I genuinely wondered if it was legal to blast you on the back.
You sound like a wuss, Hawk.
Whoa. Okay, cool, Con. You're the toughest guy in America then.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Is it a rule or is it not? That's all I'm asking.
No, it's not a rule. It's not a rule.
I think he got him in the top of his back.
Yeah, and you used to see it a lot with like the big time pass rushers on screens, on sprint draws. They'd get Jared Allen up the field, boom, club him, throw him, and get out.
Yeah, that's a throw.
Yeah. Yep.
Now we got a big man.
Oh, here we go.
The Bills Mafia. We got the left tackle. We're going to focus on him. Before we let this thing play, one thing I like about both these big bumps this week is they both resulted in touchdowns.
Okay.
So, that's big time blocks. We are going to run, which you can only do this with the quarterback here. You can fake the zone this way, which is going to affect him and him. And then we're going to pull guard tackle, which you can call tag, counter trade. There's a million different things you can do. And they're going to send him to him, and then our two pullers are going to take care of him and him. And then so here's what's going to happen. We get the wrong arm. These guys are a lot of times taught either take it on like this and then get the puller up underneath, or wrong arm and try and get this thing to spill. Bad fucking move by Franklin Myers trying to make this. He felt real good at first avoiding Saffold, but then we get the cleanup shot from, wait for it, Dawkins coming. Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
You see what's about to happen.
Oh, no.
Holy shit.
Wow. Holy fuck.
That's big time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got obliterated.
Look, he's doing the right thing.
Boom, he's trying to spill it.
Go underneath.
Beat one. And then the second one cleans it up. Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ.
Got killed.
Oh, my God.
And Josh that's where he's running.
That's where he's running.
He's falling forward.
Let me see what this guy who's huge and is on the run is going to do to someone. Let me follow that ass right there, says Josh Allen.
Yep.
Boom.
That feels good.
Holy
yep,
shit.
That's the right spot. Holy hell. That's a car crash.
Yeah.
Car crash.
Yeah.
You know, and that probably hasn't been talked about that much on any of the media thing. That guy's expected to get up, okay, next drive, get back out there. And the offensive lineman, he's a part of that massive collision.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations, you did your job. Fucking get back in there, get punched in the head next play. We need you to dive back in there. The trenches are where the game is won. The trenches are where the grit is displayed.
Mm-hmm.
The trenches
are
always a fun place to visit with AQ Shipley. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun.
Not to mention, not even the biggest hit from this game, because Mike White almost died. Twice.
Oh, yeah, Milano.
Did you see that photo? They came up with a photo. Milan, it's a tackling dummy. He's going through a tackling dummy on him. It's picture perfect form. And you actually see a portion of Mike White's like spine and soul coming out of the back of it. And then the ball up this way. And then what the photo didn't show is the crash landing.
Right.
That's happening at the bottom of that.
Mm-hmm.
Mike White, tough son of a bitch. Truly. Hey, In the Trench was awesome.
And baby, way to go, Al.
AJ, great work today, pal. You did fantastic,
Way to go,
AJ.
Hawk.
Yep.
I pissed him off real bad.
Nick, you gonna hit some putts?
I ruined his whole day.
Well, yeah, before we get out of here, I mean, we're certainly going to do that. He was kind of coming after the whole state of Ohio there, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. You can do that.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I want to let you know, I didn't like it.
Reporting on what I'm seeing. It's not my fault.
Just the way you see things.
Yeah. If they don't want to be known like that, then everybody should play in the college football playoff. And they shouldn't get beat at home against Michigan by 40. Or just don't count down to the game.
Jeez.
Either or.
Ohio State can turn a lot. They're in the college football playoff.
Yes, exactly.
There's only 4 teams. They're one of them.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how good they have had to be in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable program. Unbelievable winning percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Culture, great.
Unbelievable.
You lose to Michigan, and then now you got to play Georgia. The narrative is going to get loud.
You better not get embarrassed.
Can't have it happen, AJ. It'll be.
You got high standards. It's right, man. They build up high standards around here. It's true.
You know why? Because when you were in school, Area won a national championship.
Yeah, that's right.
Because of AJ Hawk.
Won a national championship when Urban was sticking fingies up co-heads' buttholes.
Yeah. Whoops. Whoopsie.
Get back to that.
Still getting it done.
Yeah.
We don't know if he was doing that then. They haven't won a natty in a little bit.
That's a good point.
Could probably soon.
We don't know if that was, a time-honored tradition that he felt obligated to do with his homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
No bung holes were safe.
Yeah. What do you think was going on that boat? I'll tell you what, it wasn't,
holes.
coloring books and rainbows.
He never lost to Michigan.
That's a good
That's what
point.
people talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
7-0.
I'm pulling for Ryan Day, honestly. I'm pulling for him. That sounds
Hard
like a
to.
difficult Zito, easy. All right, I don't know about all that.
I'm a new Ohio State fan here with Justin Fields and I.
That's a tough gig.
Brutal.
Unless you win.
Think how different the offseason will be if he loses to Georgia. It's a lot different offseason.
Might get
You
fired.
beat Georgia, though. Now it's going to be tough. Georgia's NFL at literally every single position, it feels like.
Yeah.
And they're ready to be the next. Everybody, we want Bama. Like, we want Georgia. Potentially the next, 5-10 years of college football. It's a tough pool for Ohio State. But remember, they're in it.
That's right.
Let's remember that. A lot of people would die to be in it. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of teams wishing they could be in there.
Caleb Williams said it at his Heisman speech.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo. He said Aaron Rodgers and somebody else, 2 players he was a fan of growing up.
Good speech.
Cole Beasley.
Plunkett.
Jim?
Kenny Stabler.
I'll tell you what, if you guys say it, I will remember it.
Charlie Whitehurst.
Vinny Testaverde.
Tony Miola.
John Kitna.
Donovan Culpepper.
Might have been Miola. Was it Miola? I don't know if it was Miola. Aaron Rodgers is one of his favorite players. I like that. Little swagger, little moxie.
Yeah.
He plays a little bit like Jason Campbell.
I don't know if it was Jason Campbell. I don't know.
Good player. Good quarterback.
Good quarterback.
I think before his time.
Seneca Wallace.
Seneca Wallace.
Seneca.
I played with Seneca. I love Seneca.
Hines.
Slash.
I don't think any of those.
Cordell Stewart.
That's Slash. Yeah,
What
we
are you
know.
talking about?
Yeah.
Tommy Maddox?
Ooh, yes.
Probably.
It was.
That's the one.
It was Aaron Rodgers and Tommy Maddox.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I saw it.
Bubby Brister.
Not Mike Vick.
Could have been Jeff Blake.
Brad Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Jake Plummer.
No, I think it was Chris Fuamatu Malafala.
Oh, what a guy.
Cutler.
He's a hell of a ball player.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did you ever have to play against Chris Fuamatu Malafala?
Yes, I believe so.
Tough day for old AJ Hawk, I bet.
Kick your ass.
Tough guy. Strong guy. Very strong.
So back when you were playing, that's every week, huh? Because we draw up these plays in the trenches. It's like, all right, this fullback is going head-to-head with this middle linebacker. That was what football was back in the day, right? You were just every week. It was like
a lot of ISO, a lot of lead week, a lot of big time fullbacks. Yeah, back then.
So you're prepping for that, like you're prepping for a fight almost. Like, okay, this is what this guy likes to do.
It's just a game. That's how every team most likely kind of was. So you're trying to figure out. They're showing the plays like on your Wednesday install meeting. Hey, this is how we're going to defend this certain play. Some teams might have 15 of those where you're like, oh. You got to change special rules if you see this. It's crazy.
So you're not just preparing for battle with the fullback every week, like me and
that's a given. No, that's a given. You're trying to find a way to stop them,
and that's why you and Kuhn were like, listen, every day, because on Sunday it better be easy.
Exactly.
Does anybody have bigger heads than us? I don't think so.
No chance.
Does anybody have thicker skulls than us? I don't think so. We just so happen to be on the same team in two positions that are supposed to run into each other, two bulls. If we make it hard on each other, as hard as possible, every day that we are teammates.
That's right.
If we run our heads into each other as hard as we possibly can, the games will be easy. You disintegrate a tooth on Wednesday against me, you'll disintegrate a tooth on Sunday. It won't be a big deal. Okay. How many years were you guys teammates for?
9.
Oh, man.
No concussions, though.
No documented concussions. That's a real thing you did, AJ. We found out about that because of Kuhn, where AJ and John, friends, hung out outside.
Well, we couldn't. We just weren't gonna. You couldn't brother-in-law, as they say. You couldn't be a brother-in-law in practice.
No, you could. That's why, as they say, exists because people have agreed to do that before.
Depends on where you are, though. Coaches know about brother-in-laws. Coaches do not like that, so I want to be accountable to my teammates and my coaches.
Okay, and I can respect that, and I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
I think after year 5 of you and a guy being really good friends with each other and just mashing your heads into each other every single practice, at some point a conversation could have been had like, hey, some of these periods aren't worth the same as like these other periods. And neither of you would say that to the other person because then they would have felt like they lost.
Yeah. Right.
So for 9 years, just fucking every day as hard as you can because you didn't just want to say, hey, you know this fucking period in the middle of the season on a Wednesday that means nothing. We're doing this for the running back. We're not even doing it for us right now. Maybe we just we'll just, like you got me, I got you. We'll just brother-in-law, they say. Refuse to let those words come out of their mouth. So they just CTE'd each other every fucking day they could.
Yep.
Wild.
Unbelievable.
Needed to have his teeth turned into pixie dust day after day.
AJ and that fucking guy.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, you did. Every
Kuhn
day.
gets going downhill, man. Look at that head. He goes downhill.
Iron sharpens iron.
Goddamn right.
Like man sharpens man.
Hell yeah.
And you two certainly did that. AQ, did you know that this happened between Kuhn and AJ? And is this a normal thing? I don't think so.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go against Corey Peters, who's still playing for the Jaguars right now on the D-line. Big nose guard. Hey, Core, let's make this look good.
Okay.
Core.
I'm sore. You're sore.
You're in year 10. I'm in year 11. Let's make this look good.
Yeah.
You win some, I win some. I'll fall down a couple times. You fall down a couple times.
Pancakes.
That's awesome. That is unbelievable.
Let's just get this thing to September. What do you say, brother?
Coaches are like, look at that matchup over there.
These guys are just beating the shit out of each other.
Man, you see those two. They really go back and forth, don't they?
Wow.
It's really a fair fight over there. But that's not in, like, the important periods. There's moments where they matter. Like, everybody knows, like, the moments. I feel like in practice, as a person that watched a lot of practice, it's like this portion of the drill, this portion of practice seems to matter a lot more than this stuff where it's just like we're just trying to get it on film. People go through it, experience it a little bit. This is like, hey, game matchup needed to happen. So I'm assuming you and Corey Peters knew when was when.
100%. Yeah, there was times to compete.
How about these dudes? 9 years.
We did. I'm sure we. Honestly, I'm sure we naturally figured it out without speaking.
Doesn't sound like it.
It's unbelievable, AJ. That's unfucking. Especially with how close they were as friends. Never.
Play golf. Yeah. Oh yeah. Kuhn's awesome.
Not even once. Just
maybe that's why actually. Because AJ knew I'm AJ freaking Hawk. They're not going to cut me. But if we go buddy-buddy, they're going to get rid of my best friend, Sean.
No, I think we both do. Hey, we could be out here at any minute. So I think that's kind of always our mentality.
AJ, that's why you being number 5 overall and having that thought process is why you're the all-time leading tackler.
I watched Brett Favre get traded, man. Like I told you that before. Like no one's untouchable. Like no one. I definitely never felt safe.
I watched Peyton Manning get cut.
Yeah.
Vinatieri.
I think it's good. It's good to see that as a young player.
Hell, it is. Vinatieri, by the way, acted like that since day one. Like, there would be something that needed to be said to special teams coordinator or somebody else coming from the room. And it's like, all right, Vinny, go tell him. And Vinny's like, no way, I'm not saying that. I'm like, Adam, you're the one that's supposed to say. Adam's like, I don't need to cause a stir with it. Like, listen, I'm like, what? Dude, you're Adam Vinatieri. He's like, I'm old. Yeah, I've been around.
Came from the Patriots too, though.
I'm expensive. Yeah. He said I'm expensive. I mean, I'm like, what is your fucking deal? You're Adam. He said some very nice things about me last night on the Manning Cast, so I appreciate you, Vinny. He's gone off the grid. He was on the Manning Cast last night talking about a lot of things. He's an incredibly fascinating human being who lived like every single day he could get cut. Like his entire career, he was like that. He's just that dude that had to go play in the World League. He's that dude that Parcells basically said, like, you miss a kick, you're out. You got the job. You took out, but you miss a kick, you're out of here and make your life miserable. Like, that's why Vinny was Vinny, I think. And that mentality you just talked about, and obviously 7th round pick punter who was loud. I can't have any bad days. I'm going to have good days in practice and on Sundays, Mondays, or Thursdays or whatever. I think that's a big piece of it all. I think having that, it's almost like accountability to yourself. Like, this isn't just automatically a right for me. Like, this is something I got to earn.
No, you got to go.
Yeah.
And there's time. I mean, you got to go when you got to go, and you know it. There's other times too where it's like it's week 4 training camp. Fucking shoulder hurts.
Hey, you guys ever do half line? You ever do half line when you run?
Half line's the worst. They've gotten rid of it, AJ. You know that? They've gotten rid of it.
Did they get rid of it? That's the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, they consider that like a one-on-one now. So they've gotten rid of it.
Good.
It's like
center?
It's like, what is it? Center guard versus D tackle linebacker. Or
we're taking away the backside. We're taking away the backside, so there's no more. Take away injuries. Yeah, right. No,
it's like 2-on-2 Oklahomas.
So there's leverage happening now, as opposed to just one-on-ones where you see the person.
And the back cuts back. The back will take the ball and cut back to where nobody is. I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we here?
Well, that's like when one-on-ones passing, which I guess we've seen a lot of plays on everything DB where it happens. But when a wide receiver runs like a 6-second route or whatever in one-on-ones, you always hear DB, that's sack, not doing it. Like, you hear that, not realistic. But then it has been showing up this year.
Yeah,
it feels like there's been long routes that are done. If they were done in one-on-ones, we'll ask D Bud about it, the entire defensive side would be like, hey, that's not one-on-ones. We're not running from this side all the way to that side over there, just unattended to, quarterback with no route. Like, that's not real life. Feels like it's happening more often than it ever has, and maybe we're just paying attention to it more. But the big dudes who ran their heads into each other, especially in that helmet-to-helmet era, I got nothing but respect for you, sir, honestly.
Thank you, guys.
That's why Connor's so alarmed
exactly
about you trying to change rules to make it a little bit more new school and a little bit safer. But nonetheless, you're an old school guy with a progressive mindset, and we appreciate that, AJ.
Go, AJ.
Toxic Table, great work. Appreciate you. Hammer Dahn starts at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. All the boys in the back, great work. Thank you to everybody. Had our holiday party yesterday. Christmas party over here. Have a holiday party later. It was nice to see everybody and their families and everything. It was cool. Last time was fun. We wish you could have made it.
Gifts?
Yeah, we did White Elephant or whatever. Got active late.
Where you trade? Can you steal and all that stuff?
Product gift can only be stolen 3 times. There was a couple. We had a couple max outs. Yeah, Mitt had quite a few. Mitt had quite a roller coaster last night.
Legos.
Dude, he had a drone. He had a Thor hammer. He had $100.
Yep.
And every single time it got stolen from him. Mitt was really he was in the mouse wheel.
Yeah. He was.
In that whole thing.
He's in the trenches. Thank you.
He was. He was in there in the middle of the White House. It was great to see everybody. We're very lucky to do what we do. The reason why we get to do this is because people choose to spend their afternoons with us, and we thank you for that. And we always try to give back with incredible giveaways. Hopefully people think they're incredible. We give away a lot because we're so incredibly thankful and lucky to do what we do. But we can't just give away for nobody. No, not everybody can just win something. No. We got to earn it. And by earning it, we have people accomplish feats that are seemingly impossible. Today, in the Trenches host, AQ Shipley, will attempt to bury. How many you want to make?
I don't know how many. What do you think?
2 out of 5.
Here we go.
2 out of 5 putts.
Here you go, Al.
On this green at the Thunderdome that has been quite a conundrum for many that have picked up the putter.
It's tough yesterday.
If AQ goes 2 of 5 here, we will give 15 people $500 who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody as a reply, and put their cash tag in there so we can pay you easily and efficiently. Before you putt, AJ, anything to say to the gorilla who has a putting green in his backyard?
No, I think AQ needs to trust his instincts. He has a great stroke. He's going to make them all.
He does have a good stroke.
Unbelievable.
This man has missed Fight Club for multiple weeks. Maybe that'll
Those
loosen
feet,
him.
he's got those close feet like Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, yeah.
Some clean Air Force Ones, making him a little bit taller as well.
Tied so tight. They're tied so tight.
Tightest
Triple
Air Forces
knotted.
of all time. That's
That was a good putt.
Did that
the
affect
first of 5 a bit right. Was that a break or a push? We shall see with number 2. AQ Shipley of Moon Township. Joe DiNardo was present at the White Elephant gift exchange last night.
Oh, there it is.
Bam.
Touch.
You said Joe DiNardo. Look what happens.
Great touch.
Joe DiNardo, rest in peace. Obviously, the greatest Doppler reader in the history. Rest in peace. Hey, whoa!
Look at him.
Rest in peace, Joe.
Love you, Joe.
Easy. Easy. Easy.
A little bit too stiff there. Didn't ask Aaron about that.
Yeah.
No.
Should have. Anyways, if he goes 1 of 3 here, we'll give 15 people $500 to retweet his video. Say something nice to somebody and put their hashtag in there.
Oh.
A lipper
Stay in the right lane.
to Heartbreak City.
Burn edges.
Got him the back.
How did that miss?
Has to go 1 of 2 here. Golden ball. Golden shower.
Oh, no.
no.
Here we go.
Must make this putt for 15 people to win $500. Made his first of 5. Will he make his last to make 15 people happier before the holiday?
Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Clean stroke.
Oh, no.
AQ Shipley.
There we go, Joe.
How about that? The wraparound.
Oh, thing takes the tractor. Another
round.
Another
round. Another round.
Thank you, Joe DiNardo, who was obviously very present during that entire
right.
thing.
Yeah.
AQ, great work. In the Trenches today was fantastic. If you missed it, you should go check it out. 15 people who retweet this video, say something nice to somebody, and put their hashtag in the same reply, will win $500 randomly. You'll be announced on Winter Wednesday. We can't thank you enough for joining us every single afternoon. You're the best. Hammer, Dahn in 10 minutes. AJ, have a good one, pal.
You too. See you guys.
See you, everybody. Say something nice to somebody anyways. But today, you do it because you could potentially win. Cheers. Goodbye.